It's night 2 of the Dream Chasers Festival here at Sandown Park in Melbourne with night number 1 of the Melbourne Cup Carnival. Huge night of greyhound racing ahead. Fast dogs left, right and centre. The Shootout is the feature. It's a 4-dog race, 4 fast dogs going head-to-head chasing the riches here in Melbourne town. Big night of greyhound racing ahead. Stick around. Let the show begin.
Blink and you'll miss it. These dogs are fast. Very fast. 4 of the fastest dogs in the country line up in a race that will test the best. Box 1, Big Energy. Will the Greenos go back-to-back in 2023? Box 3, Alpha Zulu, the youngest of the pack with the most to gain. Box 5, Hector Forley. Will the Minister for Magic have some tricks up his sleeve? And Box 7, Transponder. Is the Top Gun champion ready to dominate once more? So join us tonight for the Shootout. It's all part of the Dream Chasers Festival, right here on racing.com.
Hello and welcome to Sandown Park in Melbourne on a massive night of greyhound racing. It is a beautiful day weather-wise, developing into a lovely evening. The Dream Chasers Festival rolls on here at headquarters in Melbourne at Sandown Park as we welcome you to a beautiful day for greyhound racing. 19 degrees the temperature at the moment. The Shootout, cannot wait for this. Race number 9 on the program, 21 past 9. We saw in the intro, Big Energy, Alpha Zulu, Hector Forley, the Hume Cup champ, and Transponder drawn perfectly in box number 7. It shapes up to be one hell of a race to kickstart the Melbourne Cup Festival of Racing here on night number 2 of the Dream Chasers Festival. And when we're talking greyhound racing and needing to find winners on what is going to be so good racing-wise, I'm joined by George Ferrugia, a racing expert, to pull it all apart tonight. Georgie, welcome to you.
What a great night and a really good program tonight. Even apart from the Shootout, we've got some great preludes. I think some greyhounds that want to make a name for themselves tonight, and really looking forward to it.
I had a mate of mine actually text saying that this could be one of the better nights of greyhound racing for the year.
Yeah, it is. It's fantastic. We get to see Scalacci, Morton, these type of greyhounds. Victor Damien emerging again. Can he make a Melbourne Cup final with heats next week? Really looking forward to it.
You mentioned a greyhound by the name of Morton who is rising so quickly through the ranks. It'll be intriguing to see how he handles, I guess, the rising class again as we welcome Sportsbet's Mitchie Abaya, who's here on the panel. And Mitchie, fresh off, 11 boundaries in the cricket. Welcome to you, mate.
Thank you, boys. Yeah, no, had a good day out in cricket today. Hopefully we can find a few winners tonight. But the card, it's an absolute beauty, isn't it? You look at the racing, the depth is phenomenal all throughout. And the Shootout, how good is it going to be? 50,000 the winner? I like the 5.
Cracking field. And they tell me if you're seeing the form guide the same way you're seeing the red ball, we're in for a pretty good night with Sportsbet Mitchie Abaya on track, that's for sure. Let's get out on track because the man who I think has the toughest job, and I'm talking through what happened to me last week and the blisters all over the heels. Corey Smith is on track. He'll be chatting, getting all of the inside info tonight. Smithy, welcome to you, mate, and apologies for you having to pick up the gig last minute here, mate.
Nah, thank you, Jim. I'm very happy to be out here on track. It's perfect weather, not too much wind. The sun is out, as you can probably see behind me. It's outstanding conditions for greyhound racing. The card is just packed full of stars, and I can't wait to get stuck into it. Hopefully we can find you some winners. I'll be talking to connections pre and post race, so we'll talk to the winners. We'll hopefully find you a few winners. And Jim, I just want to get to the bottom of this before as I throw it back to you. Is it true that I had to come in because they were paying you per step last week and they just said, we don't have room in the budget, you did too many steps for us?
No, it's not true, Smithy. They had to pay for the massage bill on Sunday, and let me tell you, there were a couple of zeros on that. So hence I've elevated to being able to stand up here on the desk, which is good. But from Smithy, who'll be getting all of the inside info, to Sportsbet's Kelsey Brown, who's on track tonight at Sandown. Welcome to you, Kels, catching all of the colour here at headquarters.
Hi guys, excited to be a part of the coverage tonight. I am here with Sportsbet. I'm going to be talking to punters in the Sportsbet marquee. I'm going to be getting amongst the atmosphere trackside. But I think what I'm most excited about is the drawing of the prizes for the Chase Your Dreams promotions that Sportsbet are running. You can be in the running to win a chance of 100K worth of prizes across the 5 nights. Tonight we have an AFL corporate suite on offer. We've got 10K in cold hard cash on offer and a Mitsubishi Outlander in there as well. But the catch is you must be trackside. So if you're not on your way down to Sandown Park right now, I suggest you make your way down.
Fair call from Carlson, and have a look at that. That's what the people are potentially having the chance to win by just coming to the track.
How good was that last week? The guy winning the trip to LA, going to go and watch the Lakers, and his mates got around him, hopefully for a free hotel room or something like that. It was absolutely fantastic.
There was plenty going on, and it's only night 2 of 5, so make sure you get right around the Dream Chasers Festival as we roll on to a big night of chasing tonight. Speaking of a big night of greyhound racing, box draws can be everything when it comes to the Melbourne Cup Series. Preludes tonight, the Shootout. Our man Mitchie Abeya has been hard at work when he hasn't been playing cricket, and he's got some interesting stats. Mitchie, take it away.
I do, Jim, and I don't know about being hard at work, but let's have a look at this graphic here, because it's an eye-opener. We know at Sandown Park we draw inside, but 65% of winners come from the inside 4 boxes. If you're having a play tonight, you've got to be taking this into consideration. I think for me, over the 5-15, 92 wins in the calendar year off box 1, a lot more, almost 25 more than any other box here at Sandown Park. So check out these box stats, they're fantastic. The graphic is as good as you'll get. Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call 1-800-858-858 or visit the Gambling Help online website. I think we're going to get my best bets as well, Jim. So we might be blessed with a couple of mine tonight. There we go. Race 1, number 1, Umberto. I think this greyhound was good last week, improving off the draw. It'll lead, it'll be hard to beat. Race 5, number 6, Morton for the Sharps. They'll be excited. This pup is an absolute flying machine. Can he cross from box 6? I think he can. No speed in the race. The value for the night, race 8, number 4, Departed. I think Victor Damien's a tad dicey there off box 1. Wants to push off. I reckon this greyhound will be off and gone, and try and reel it in will be a challenge. And the Shootout, how could we leave this one out? Hector Fawley, race 9, number 5. I'm keen on him. I think he's a great price, around $4.20. Gamble responsibly, of course, but the race maps beautifully for him.
I like what you've done there, just giving a tease with the box draws and how important box 1 is, and then bang, best bet, race 1, number 1, Umberto. I like that.
Yeah, well, he just stood out. He's a class animal. He probably, well, what do we see, won the Dapto Megastar? He's a very fast dog, and I think he can run some serious time tonight. The weather is perfect for it.
Well, last week there were some massive stories, some massive races covered on racing.com from the Meadows. Top Gun night. And how about this? The Hume Cup won by Hector Fawley. And I think we heard in the call from Daniel Hibbert, guys, that he said this was the most deserved Group 1 win nearly of all time.
Yeah, look, he's been such a great middle distance greyhound, and I love how hard he had to work early, James and Mitch. I mean, he didn't have it his own way. This was the key to the race here, because he ducked underneath Raiders' guide and was too good in the run to the line. What a fantastic greyhound he is. They didn't waste their time in nominating for the Shootout too. I think they come in really confident after this terrific victory.
I think they make the right call, Mitchie, because on that run, he potentially doesn't run 700 metres. He's had a go at that. So they decide to come back in distance and have a tilt at the Melbourne Cup, because realistically he's not going to go to the Bold Trees.
No, spot on, and he's a greyhound that is as strong as anything. I don't know if any of these sprinters could run his second section at the Meadows. He's an absolute flying machine. He'll camp on the leaders. He's not going to lead. We know that, and the Cockerels have come out and said that. I think it's a great move, and why wouldn't you have a crack? This is his format, four dog field. Yeah. There's room to move. He doesn't have to worry about all these other greyhounds getting in his way. He'll take a power beating.
I think it's the right format. You are right. What about the Top Gun stayers, lads? The first of 2 upsets in the Top Guns, and Ritzer Piper getting the job done. I don't think too many people saw this one coming. In fact, we'll start with the Top Gun sprint. Transponder it was this time at a double-figure price, and we all thought he was the second stringer from Team Thompson, and that wasn't the case.
He was almost the forgotten dog behind Alpha Zulu, who had come into the race with such great form. But he blew the greyhounds drawn closer to the fence away, and he put 4 or 5 on him, Mitch, pretty quickly, didn't he? And look, we forget sometimes. I mean, he won an Adelaide Cup really impressively, and he comes in racing chock full of confidence.
Yeah, and Jason Thompson came out before the field come out for the Top Gun and said Transponder's next run will be in a Top Gun. He was confident. I think he knew that the greyhound was flying. He'd been competing in some good races, and to go around at double-figure odds was probably silly in the end, but we didn't think he'd step that well. And tonight, how well is he going to get a nice run down the outside here? So he's well in the market.
He's going to get his chance to show his class. Well, Hector Fawley, we spoke of in the Hume Cup, goes around in the Shootout drawn box 5, Transponder into box number 7. So we get to see both of those race tonight. And here's Ritzer Piper winning last week, who no doubt will stay in Melbourne, have a crack at the Bold Trees heats next week. This was a huge win.
massive.
Down to massive field. Currently, we're having a look at the sprint. We'll get that sorted and have a look at the distance race. But the way that Ritzer Piper was able to just find the right run at the right time was really, really impressive.
Yeah, I was surprised on that top turn, kicked off the rail. And you're talking about a greyhound that normally leads, does its best work out in front, and come off the speed and just left some good distance dogs standing. So I was absolutely staggered at the run, and I think Connections would have been absolutely stoked, especially, 20-odd to 1? You almost couldn't leave it go around at that price.
We've just got the vision there of the Top Gun sprint again, which was won by Transponder. I think everybody's just trying to build to what is going to be a huge shootout, Georgie. And obviously the stayers, we're not seeing them in action tonight. It's more about next week for those with the heat of the bold trees. But the shootout. Let's talk about the shootout, the great race that is tonight. And to be fair, this is the race that got me involved in wanting to be a race caller. It's just an enthralling race. And look at the stars in the field tonight. Big Energy 1, Alpha Zulu 3, Hector Fawley goes into box 5 and Transponder into box number 7. And I know that GRV have been trialling in the last couple of weeks preferential box draws. And this is as close as you'll get to a preferential box draw. They've drawn exactly where they need to be, boys.
Absolutely, they have. Transponder wants it out wide. The early speed battle with Big Energy and Alpha Zulu, I think, will go a long way to say who's going to win this race. And if they get into a little bit of a bumping duel, then the likes of Hector Fawley comes right into contention. I think it's a cracking edition of the shootout.
And the shootout itself, it's effectively... It's made for those X-Factor greyhounds. And I remember right back to the days, Mantra Lad and greyhounds like that could win over 700. They'd bounce back into a shootout. And you always get that incredible mix of having sprinting greyhounds taking on strength.
Yeah.
And we've got that again in spades, Mitch. Hector Fawley's the strength. And there's sprint everywhere.
Well, there is, and I think Big Energy's got a little bit of the strength part to his game as well. So where does Alpha Zulu? You expect him to lead. As you said, preferential box draws. This is almost as close as you could possibly get to that. And I think Cole Greeno said that he wanted to draw inside of Transponder. It's worked out an absolute treat, and I think Jace Thompson will be quietly confident out wide off box 7 with Transponder.
I gave a little insight as to the reason for why I got involved in greyhound racing calling. It was the shootout, I think, in about 2002. Thereabouts. Whiskey Assassin. Ronnie Hawkswell's call. Down the back straight, the heavy artillery's out in the shootout. And from that moment on, I just thought it was so amazing. 4-dog field, you probably get a little bit more time as a caller to sort of plan the race and the way that it might go. But it's just a phenomenal race. And we obviously see a lot of speed star racing now, but I'm a huge fan of the shootout. It's sort of etched in the calendar now as just one of the great races.
I think he drew box 8 in that shootout.
Yes.
Pretty sure, and blew them
was.
away. What a great dog Whiskey Assassin was, wasn't he? It was absolutely fantastic. Look, I love the format. Every dog gets their chance, and it's a perfect hit out before the Melbourne Cup. And I think you'll find the greyhounds that have raced in the shootout have gone on to do pretty well in the Melbourne Cup heats.
Well, let's get into race number 1 now. First race of the night, over to Mitchie Abaya with the sports bet odds. It's all about finding a winner here at Sandown Park. What's the money doing in the first, Mitchie?
Oh, the money, as we know, was all with Umberto, and there it is, $1.80 at $1.85 as we speak. Sage Tennille, $4 out to $5 on the drift. Trending Yale, I know you're keen on this one, Jimmy, as a top 4 contender, $9 into $7.50. Rocket Bale, bit of support off the inside draw there, $9, touch as low as $7.50. Out to $8, and Distress. Good win last week at the Meadows, $12 and firm. If you want Andre Bale, Akina Jack or Victor Marley, you're talking $12 or more. But that is your race 1 over the 5.15. Umberto is the best back runner in that race. And don't forget the Dream Chasers, Sandown Park, all races. Run second, get a bonus bet back for free and confidential support. Call the 1-800 number on screen or visit the Gambling Help online website.
I like your work, Mitchie, and I like what the punters are doing there as well. A little bit of money for Trending Yale, who I think is the smoky to run a really big race. Speed map, I feel, is everything in this first race because Umberto, in my opinion, is drawn to lead. We'll bring up this speed map. Is that the way you think it'll go, Georgie? Do you think Umberto's going to get that soft lead?
Oh, absolutely. I think last week in the Silver Bullet, going 5.02, we're going to see there's a little bit of speed drawn closer to the fence here. Look, I think he'll be very hard to beat. I thought his run was good behind Exalted. He's got a great PB, fantastic record of inside draws. We're going to see a replay of Sage Tennille, though, this WA Raider, who's been absolutely fantastic. This is in the National Sprint Championship, guys. Drew box 2 in it. Sat behind a greyhound called Postman Pat, who we all know. And I thought her run home was fantastic. It's not easy for interstate greyhounds to come and do what she did. It'd be very interesting to see how she goes tonight. She gets a free hit because next week she'll be in the Melbourne Cup.
What I really liked about this run, Mitchie, was the fact you look at the greyhound she's run down, and the National Sprint can be a race that doesn't always have a massive array of depth, but I felt like this year almost did. Aussie rocks. Sage Daniil runs down the likes of Postman Pat as well. Like, it was a statement run, and she proved that she can win big races in Melbourne.
It was, and only new into her career as well, racing against some really experienced greyhounds who had been around the meadows. Yes, she trialled well there, but the story, I think, of her story, where she's come from, Cody Charles and the journey, I think that's what added a little bit of extra touch to it. But going to be a massive chance tonight if she can find the fence.
We'll stick around on racing.com tonight because we will be catching up with Cody Charles, the trainer of Sage Daniil. He's coming here on set. We're going to boot you off, Mitchie, a bit later on and bring in Cody Charles. So it's going to be intriguing to have a chat to him, Georgie, because he's won a race in all 3 codes as a trainer, which I find extraordinary. I wake up some mornings and go, gee, I wouldn't mind training a galloper to try and win a picnic race somewhere, but I just don't think you could ever do it. But he's done it. He's extraordinary.
He must be a racing nut, right, to go over all 3 codes. And look, her story, as Mitch alluded to, has been absolutely fantastic. I mean, she didn't look like she wanted to be a race dog early in her career, and now she's a Group 1 winner.
That's the story, isn't it? She wasn't going, and they were really persistent with her, Mitchie, and it's paid dividends. And like I said before, she's proven herself in Melbourne. Do you think the 5 is a good draw for her here? Because I know you said inside draws are really important, but for me, she's probably going to be a get-back run-on type, and the draws maybe don't impact her as much as they would, say, a greyhound like Umberto who needs to lead.
Yeah, well, I don't think she's going to lead, and we know that straight off the top, don't we? That Umberto's probably going to be the greyhound out in front. I think if she can cross trending Yale early and find the spot on the fence, because they're the 2 that are going to be vying for the rail, I think one of those 2 can potentially run down Umberto, but she needs a little bit to go her way off that squeeze box. But if she's close enough, boy, she's good enough.
I'm telling you, I'm getting a little insight here into George Farrugia's life because he's got a little iPad here, ladies and gents, and there is plenty of different quotes, and there's one here with a circle with a V put inside that. I'm not too sure what that means, but Georgie, she had a trial here, an exhibition trial, Sage Daniil, and she went good for a first look at Sandown Park.
Yeah, look, I mean, you've got to have a couple of looks when you're racing against this company, don't you? And obviously she's drawn a little bit awkwardly here, but I'm certainly with the red. I think we all are here. Hopefully it gets us off to a good start.
Hey, have you seen where Cody Charles hails from?
No, wouldn't have a clue.
A little place called Hopeland in WA. And the Dream Chasers is all about the hope of chasing the dream.
Yep.
Wouldn't it be amazing if a trainer from WA with a greyhound who didn't chase it all to start off with, they thought she may not even have a racing career, ends up coming to Melbourne, winning a Melbourne Cup throughout the Dream Chasers Festival, and he comes from Hopeland. I mean, it's fitting. It has to happen, doesn't it?
Yeah, it would be amazing. It would be absolutely amazing. Look, it's a great story. As you said, we'll have him on later, and as I said, this will be a nice little hit out for her and see where she's at next week.
Just on that, George, you say it's a nice little hit out for her. What do you want to see from Sage Daniil if you think she is going to be a genuine contender coming back next week for a Melbourne Cup?
If I was Cody, I just wanted to see her handle the track well, get around safely, manoeuvre around because she's going to be at the back of the pack. And if she's winding up late and runs around the 29:30 mark, which is a good run, even if she's second or third, I think that would be a good result.
I know we spent a lot of time on Sage Daniil, but from your perspective, where does she need to get to if she is going to win the race? From box number 5, does she need to lob within 3 or 4 or 5 lengths of Umberto? How big a start can she give the likely leader and run him down?
Oh, you'd probably say no more than 5. I know she's not blistering early. She's not pedestrian early either. She's okay out the boxes, but Umberto's going to be out in front setting that pace. As we saw with the box stats earlier, 92 wins in the calendar year off box 1. It's so important here. If you can step off box 1, look, as I said, I think if she gets any further back than probably 4th or 5th, there might be a few too many greyhounds in her radar reel in Umberto, but it's going to be an intriguing battle.
I feel like we need some inside word. Let's get out to our man Corey Smith, who is on track catching up with connections prior to him having some really, really bad blisters a little bit later on. Over to you, Smithy.
Hopefully the blisters don't cause me any issues later, Jim, but Umberto's off. He's just run away, so might have to try and chase him down. But I'm with Corey Heinrich, who has trending Yale in this one, dropping back in distance. Corey, do you see that being any sort of issue?
In a field like this, probably a little bit. She's going to need to work her little butt off, but we'll see how she goes.
Box number 4, it's probably not the most ideal box of all time, but in this sort of race, it makes it even more difficult.
Yeah, correct. She's not the best beginner, as everyone knows as well, so it sort of doesn't work in her favour, but fingers crossed today she's feeling good enough and she can do something.
Just a quick word on Andre Bale from box number 8.
I think he'd prefer inside, but he's going good at the minute, and anything could happen, but yeah, who knows? It's a hard field.
Good luck, Corey, with the 2 runners for Team Daly. They're all running off on me, so I might have to get a little bit of a jog on. We might try and grab Jackie Greeno with Victor Marley. First look here at Sandown under race conditions. Jackie, she's been in the kennel for a little while now, but first go under race conditions.
First go under race conditions and first go for a couple of months, so fingers crossed, I hope she goes good.
Box number 7, do you see that being a bit of a hindrance in a race like this? It's probably one of the strongest mixed 4-5s that you'll see.
Definitely should have put her in a prelude, I think. No, box 7's not a real good box, but anyway, she'll do her best.
And just for a quick early word on Big Energy later on in the shootout?
Yeah, he's cool. He's all cool. He's happy to have box 1.
Nice and relaxed and likes box number 1. I might try and quickly grab a word with Luke Thompson with Umberto if we can chase him down. Luke, Umberto, Group 1 winner, comes up in a mix 4-5, box number 1. He looks like likely leader. It's a nice little race setup for him.
Yeah, it does shape up nicely for him. Hopefully he can just get the start right, put himself out behind the bunny and, yeah, just go from there.
He looks in phenomenal condition. He looks ready to go. Is this the perfect sort of setup that he's had leading towards a Melbourne Cup?
Pretty much. Just have a nice hit out tonight. Hopefully find the bunny, run a nice time, run a nice race, and yeah, all heading towards next week.
All right, beautiful. We might throw it back to the panel up there, but there's the word from a few of the trainers. We'll be doing this all night. Hopefully we find you a few winners.
Tell you what, he made me look very lazy last week, getting 3 in the first race. Our man Corey Smith.
Did well.
Sports bet market odds. They're about 90 seconds off a jump in race 1 here. Umberto still all the rage here, Mitchie boy.
More than all the rage, into $1.65 Umberto. So they've absolutely piled in. I don't know if it was your little push there, Jim, or mine, or Georgie's, but absolutely truckloaded into 165. Trending Yale out to $8.50. $9 for Rocket Bale. Had a little bit of support, Rocket Bale. Sage Tennille getting out to a very, very nice price of $9. Andre Bale, Akina Jack and Victor Marley all $11 or more. But chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call the 1-800 number on screen or visit the Gambling Help online website.
Massive, massive drift there for Sage Tennille. It's a surprising drift in a way, boys. We'll get selections as they arrive at the start, starting with you, George.
Yeah, 1 to beat 5, 4 and 8. I think Umberto will lead all the way. He's got a very good PB here, and I think if he runs anywhere close to that PB, I think that'll be enough.
It looks like could be a bit of a party dog, this one. Umberto for you, Mitch.
Yeah, 1, 4, 5 and 3. I think that Trending Yale and Sage Tennille are the two dangers, but Umberto clearly on top here. Best bet on the program.
Yeah, I'm pretty keen too. I'm 1 on top. Umberto from the 4, 5 and 8. I think this is a same race multi-play for mine. We're getting some awesome shots of the drone here just flying above Sandown Park in Melbourne. Crowds starting to roll in. Obviously, the next few weeks will get bigger and bigger as we count down to the Melbourne Cup. But I just feel this is a same race multiplay. The 1 to finish up there somewhere, Umberto, maybe top 2, top 3, and Trending Yale, the 4, to get back and run on and finish somewhere in the top 4. They're about to move in. First race on Shootout night here in Melbourne at Sandown Park. Let's get up to the caller, Daniel Hibbard, for race number 1.
12 of 28, 1 of 3 over this trip. $9 for Trending Yale. Is the winner of 10 of 49 and drops back to the 5.15 tonight. Green light for the first. They're set to run. Good luck here on Shootout night. Ready to run. Racing, Umberto jumped pretty cleanly. Speed also Rocket Bale, and out very deep was Victor Marley, but Umberto's going to lead. Driving through also was Distress. Back in the field was Akina Jack along with Trending Yale. Getting checked was Sage Tennille. Getting past it was Andre Bale. Leader was Umberto. A length in front of Rocket Bale. Trying to run on was Akina Jack with a run, and then came Victor Marley. Favourites gone here, I think. Driving through was Rocket Bale. Out deep was Akina Jack. Rocket Bale, Akina Jack, Akina Jack. Akina Jack won it, beat Rocket Bale. Third, I reckon, Trending Yale. Fourth home was close. Victor Marley out deep, and Umberto was a such disappointing next. Followed home by Andre Bale, and then Trending Yale was further back with Sage Tennille. It's 29.57 the gallop.
All right, here I am. That was a good performance in race number 1 at Sandown Park. Akina Jack getting the job done. I'm with Sam, the handler. That was a really nice performance from back in the field.
It was, yeah. It all depended what happened on the first corner, but he managed to get through, and he's a trier.
He certainly is, and he seems to really appreciate Sandown Park. It seems like it's one of his favourite tracks, and you just keep bringing him back here. And while you saw a pretty strong race here tonight, he's never out of it at Sandown.
Yes, yeah, he does really well, and Dad puts in a lot of effort with him, so it's wonderful to see.
Tell us a little bit about the kennel. How many dogs have you got in work, and is there any that we can look forward to moving forward?
Well, we've had a litter of pups, so that's probably our future. Right now we've got 8 in the kennel. Jack's probably is our best dog, to our slowest dog that goes around and bottoms up. But we have a whole lot of fun. It's a whole family thing, Mum, Dad, myself, my kids and my husband are all involved. So, yeah, it's great.
Well, there's nothing better than that, but go give him a cuddle. Well done, winning the first race on Melbourne Cup Preludes Night, or Shootout Night, as it's probably more commonly known. I'll throw it back to the team out the back.
Well, there we go. Rough start to the night. One race down and one of the rank outsiders to kick off. We'll be back with plenty more here on racing.com. One race down, one roughie home to score. Welcome back to Sandown Park. A little bit of a rough start to the night with a bolter getting home. A Keener Jack at about $24.90 on the local tote. A bit of a hard find, and I know here on the panel we didn't really find it, that's for sure. Keener Jack, Umberto not going to script the way we thought it might have with Umberto. 6, 2, 4 and 7 on the first race of the night. But we are joined by a special guest, and as we see these totes just quickly roll through now, the Quinellas paid $72. So rough start to the night. Exacta at 187, Trifecta 711. You snagged the first 4 race one. It's time to go there for a loan. 4,400 for that first 4 in race 1. So the definition of a tough start, but the good news is we can roll on from race 1, forget that happened, and have a chat with Adrian Scott, the CEO of potentially the best greyhound racing club in the world, they tell me, here at Sandown Park. Welcome to you, mate.
Thanks, James. I was going to invite you up to help out the Punters Club, mate, but after the first, we'll give you the flick,
hey,
I think.
I wasn't the only one. The whole panel were with Umberto. We all went down the same way. But what is it like managing the club here at Sandown Park? You formerly were the manager of Warragul, and you've been here for a few years now. How do you find it? And you must get a little bit excited when it's this time of the year with the Melbourne Cup Carnival fast approaching.
I certainly do, James. It's a wonderful opportunity for us to showcase the best greyhounds in the world, and well, I think we do a pretty good job at it as an industry, so yeah. Well, very excited. One
thing I'm really intrigued about, Adrian, is the Calcutta, which is next week. Now, I've got a little bit of a story about the Calcutta. I've just recently got into to pigeon racing a little bit from a distance. Wow. And I went to this pigeon racing night, and they said, well, we're going to do a Calcutta. And to be honest, I'm 31, 32 years old. Had never done a Calcutta, never been a part of one. Fell in love with it, bought a couple of birds that were going to be in this next race, and as it turned out, I won the race with one of my birds, got $500 sent to the bank account, and now I love Calcuttas. Tell me how they work.
Well, that's an interesting story, James. I could tell a really good one. We've actually got a syndicate here that's got a share in some pigeons that are about to race over in Pattaya. Okay. So wow. For some big prize money over there. So
you're in it too.
We're in it too, James. So, but yeah, we have got a Calcutta here next Saturday night on the Heats night. So we've got Lincoln McKinlay, who's probably one of the most renowned stock auctioneers in Australia. And lucky to get Lincoln here. He was here last year and he adds a fair bit of theatre to the night, and it's a really fun night to come and be a part of.
Adrian, obviously we get to see the best greyhounds in the world race here at Sandown, but tell us a little bit about the community involvement with Sandown Park. I mean, we get to see it with the Grey Chase, with the Meadows, but you guys are at the forefront as well. Explain that a little bit.
Yeah, we do. So as part of the Cups night, we actually have a what we call a community club suite. Yeah. So we've got 8 local clubs. We'll all draw a greyhound in the final night, and they've got a chance to. There's about $13,000 in prize money that'll be spread across those clubs. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. But we do a fair bit of other work too, George, as you know, in other aspects around supporting some local charities, which is it's great for us, and it's great. We have they do some community meals down here at Noble Park every Wednesday, and as part of your tour of duty here as a staff member, you missed out, George, but we run a roster down there. All the staff have got to go down there and work every Wednesday for 2 hours to help out. So
absolutely. Yeah. And I know you follow your dogs closely. I know we're a couple of weeks out from the Melbourne Cup, but is there one that you've got your eye on?
We might see him tonight, George.
Yeah, okay.
I think so, won't we?
Yeah.
I hope so, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit more.
No, I'm pretty keen on Big Energy.
You like him in the shootout?
I'm pretty keen, yeah.
Happy with the draw?
Yeah.
Sounds confident.
He does. He's not. Well, you say he's sounding confident. He's not saying much at all. But
we've seen a fair bit of the dog here in trials and whatnot, and
here we go.
Not too many go much quicker than him.
No, well, he has got a PB. Nice. He's broken 29, hasn't he, George?
28.93. So he's a very fast dog. There we go. So
how much? Get on responsibly, of course. How much effort goes into the Melbourne Cup? Because as a punter, we sit there and we absolutely love the series. We love the race. from a club's perspective, there is so much work that goes on behind the scenes. I've spoke to the guys at the Meadows, and even for the Phoenix, they're working on that in like February or March, which is staggering.
Well, yeah, our planning starts as soon as this is finished, really. We're back into it again, and we're a bit of a spell over Christmas, and then all of a sudden you're starting to think about it again. So, yeah, a lot of work goes into it, James. We're pretty lucky here. We've got a really good staff crew here that are fairly devoted to the industry, and the place looks a picture tonight.
It does.
So, and full credit to them. So the work that goes on upstairs and the work outside, it's fairly relentless too. You know, you're racing twice a week, trialling twice a week, so they don't actually get a break to do the preparation. They're still tippy-toeing around race meeting trial commitments. So.
Well, George gave a little bit of an insight a moment ago that you are a bit of a racing fan. You love your greyhound racing. Has there been a Melbourne Cup, whether or not you've been working at it or whether or not you've just been a punter from afar, that you've fallen in love with?
Well,
is there a greyhound that's
Well, there is, James, and I'm giving away my age here.
Here we go.
I snuck over here as a teenager to back Acclaimed Star. Oh, wow. And I'm not quite sure if we had, there were 3 rounds in, but certainly. Anyway, I backed him in the first round, backed him in the semis, and snuck back over on final night to back him in the finals. So, and that was my introduction to greyhound racing. So.
Well, there you go, mate. Hopefully you've tipped us a winner just like that for this year with Big Energy, maybe to go all of the way in the Melbourne Cup Series. Good luck with everything moving forward, mate. The club, as we said, it looks absolutely stunning here, and we can't wait for the next 3 weeks here.
Good on you. Thanks very much, guys. And thanks to Racing.com for their support, and particularly to Sportsbet for the ongoing support we're getting off them. Great to work with.
Beautiful. Adrian Scott, CEO of the Sandown Greyhound Racing Club. Let's head upstairs now. Kelsey Brown is joined by a couple of furry friends up there, a couple of greyhound adoption greyhounds. Talk to me more, Kelsey. These are beautiful dogs, aren't they?
They are. I'm here with beautiful 9-year-old Tessie and her owner, Evie. Evie, I want to know a little bit about Tessie's background. Can you give us some insight?
Tessie, she had one win here at Sandown. I've had her since she was 3 months old. I trained her and then kept her after she'd finished racing. And we've been coming to Sandown for 9 years.
Awesome. So can you tell me a little bit about Tessie's temperament? They're such fun-loving, beautiful companions. I want to hear a little bit about what you think of these beautiful dogs.
They're very low maintenance. They sleep 23 hours a day. They're good with older people, with young kids. They're good with anybody. They've got a wonderful temperament. She sleeps in the foyer here every race meeting, which not many breeds would do that. She's backing up here. So.
And what do you think about owning a greyhound? What would you say to people who are looking to adopt?
I'd recommend it. Yeah, they wouldn't regret it. They don't need to go to the vet once a year. They go to the vet. They've got no problems with the breed. There's no genetic things or anything that goes wrong with them. So I would recommend that they would never regret it.
That's beautiful. Back to you, Jimmy.
I can say firsthand how well behaved Tessie is. She often sits there when I'm calling races. I'll come down when I'm racing greyhounds here, George, and she just sits there. She's just such a chilled out dog.
Aren't they the noble breed? I mean,
are.
we keep saying it time and time again, but for everyone that's ever owned a greyhound and had it as a pet, they are absolutely beautiful around children, around the elderly. They just bring a spring to your step. They're beautiful animals.
They are wonderful. You can adopt a greyhound now. Just make sure you search for the Greyhound Adoption Program through the GRV website as well. We're going to take a look now at race number 2. Fast approaching, and our man Mitchie Abaya from Sportsbet is now off and in front of the plasma. Take it away, Mitchie boy.
Thanks, Jimmy boy. Yes, race 2 has snuck up very quickly, and one of my better plays of the night, Rock Me Rocco, is $3.60 as we speak. Starline Express, this greyhound's blessed with early speed, $5.50 into $4. The punters are keen. Aussie Rocks, $4.50 out to $4.80. Fred Rose, we know the motor, just the application is the only concern. $5 into $4.80, drawn sticky. Landon Bale is a Sandown favourite, $4.50 out to $5.50. And if you like Lure of Kilkenny, Aston Costello or Oregon Caldwell, you're looking at $11 to 41s. But I'm with Rock Me Rocco here. I think it's a really good each-way play. And as Adrian said before, Big Energy. If you like Big Energy and think it's a chance to win the Melbourne Cup, black book it. Use the Sportsbet function, add all your favourite runners to your black book and get a reminder every time they're in action. How good's that? Even if you've got a forgetful memory like me, you'll get a notification. Imagine what you could be buying instead. For free and confidential support, call the 1-800 number on screen or visit the Gambling Help Online website.
Such a good tool to have, the Black Book. I love the fact that Mitchie Abaya has just set up shop there in the Neil Brown Museum, if you don't mind. He looks quite comfortable in there.
Doesn't he? Yeah.
He does.
I think
I'm that old now, Jim. I might be in one of these little boxes soon.
I'm not sure they're going to honour you at the moment, Mitchie. You've got to do a little bit more work for that, mate. But keep up the good work. You're getting there. Here's the speed map. Let's straighten this up. Race number 2 on the program, and the speed map from Sportsbet. The 2, the 3, the 5, the 8, all on pace runners. Would you say that's the case here, George?
Oh, there's so much early speed in this race, and we want to show one that we want to talk about early speed. Starline Express last week from box 1 went 4.92 early. The record is 4.90 by his sire, Fernando Bale, so not far off that record. The only concern with Starline Express is that last 50 metres, James, isn't it? Because his first split and second splits are absolutely elite.
I love taking on the Sportsbet speed maps. I think he'll lead for sure.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be a line of 4. I think he'll clear them. He just doesn't run out 500 metres, Starline Express. That is his problem. We see that there, the red. He was getting awfully tired, but I do feel like he does handle Sandown Park probably better than a lot of other tracks that he's been to. Yeah. He went 18.58 down the back last week, George. If he runs that, he's going to be 5 or 6 in front. You hope on the fact that the Giel kennel can get him a little bit stronger. He'd be ready to run at his best, I feel, for the Melbourne Cup.
Just probably another 2 or 3 lengths in the run home. Yep. I mean, he's run 29.59, which is still a solid gallop, but once you're starting up into this company, you need to run a little bit quicker.
What do you make of him, Mitchie? Starline Express, as we welcome you back on set here, mate. You're moving around beautifully tonight, especially after hitting 11 boundaries in the cricket.
Wait till later on, I'll start cramping up left, right and centre. I might need a chair to sit on. But,
what do you make of his run last week, though? He got really tired. Do you think he's a greyhound that could improve a lot in a week?
Yeah, I don't know if you're going to improve too much. As you said, you want him to get a bit stronger, but you can't burn the candle at both ends. Blessed with early speed, and that's where it sets his races up. I think if you got a bit stronger, it probably takes away from that 490s or potential to break 5 seconds. So this greyhound will always be in big races based on that blistering early speed. Not many greyhounds can run sub 5 here at Sandown Park. It's who's on his hammer tonight is the big concern, and I'm pretty keen on the one, Rock Me Rocco. I think the map of the race is very crucial to a couple of greyhounds' chances in this.
Well, I feel like Starline Express fits the profile of a greyhound who could win the Melbourne Cup, because in years gone by, you often see they don't have to run 29.05 to win a Melbourne Cup. Yes, we've had greyhounds like Hardstyle Rico who have broken the track record and won a Melbourne Cup, but Ando's Max, a greyhound who springs to mind. He went 29.40 odd and he won a Melbourne Cup, and I feel like Starline Express could get to that in the next couple of weeks, and he's got that early speed to put himself into the race.
Koblenz is another one, isn't he? Because, a lot of early speed, and you run about 29.30 and you get the job done. He just needs to find another couple of lengths. I think David Gill will be rapt to have him in here just to see if he can just improve that extra couple.
I think the thing Jason Thompson highlighted it a long time ago, that to win a Melbourne Cup you want to be blistering for the first 2 sectionals. Forget about if you can run 29.10. He said he would rather a dog that could run 18.60 or 70 off the back and run 29.30 overall instead of a greyhound that can break 29 seconds. You want to be out in front. There's no doubt about it. You don't want to be coming off the speed.
Hey, I'm going to take you behind the scenes. Make-up time at about 5:30 this afternoon. And our lovely make-up artist said to me once Mitch Abaya had been in the chair, "Gee, that boy quotes a lot of people." And I said, selective hearing from Mitchie Abaya. But
I don't listen to anything you say.
You mentioned Jason Thompson, and he's a trainer that when he speaks, we listen.
Yeah, of course. He's an absolute superstar. He's been at the top level for a long, long time. All his greyhounds fly. And if he's saying, I want a greyhound that can run 29.50 around Sandown, but it'll lead and it'll run 18.60 down the back, then that's what I'm after. I want a greyhound that's going to be out in front.
I want to play devil's advocate for a moment. Mitch Abaya, when he wandered in this morning or this afternoon, he said box number 1 is such an advantage. Starline Express George has come up with box number 8. Now, we're all suggesting he will cross and lead. Do you worry that from the pink he's not going to be able to perform to his peak to the first section from that draw?
It's harder, isn't it? It is harder to try to get across, but I think he's got enough early to utilise that, and it doesn't matter what box draw. I mean, if you look at his box stats, in fact, he's won from boxes 3 to 8 and hasn't won a race from box 1 and 2, which is really interesting, isn't it? With a greyhound of his speed. So, no, I think he'll get across. It's just there's a couple of greyhounds I think they're going to be stronger, and they can't be that close behind him.
Talk to me about Landon Bale, a greyhound who probably can go with Starline Express. I'm not too sure if Landon Bale can lead Starline Express, Mitch, but I feel like from box number 3, he could definitely sit leaders back and put some pressure to him coming off the bat.
This greyhound, how underrated is Landon Bale? It's just so consistent, blessed with early speed, always runs around 5 seconds to 5:10 to that first marker and puts itself in the race. I don't know if tonight's going to be a good draw off box 3. I know it sounds silly. We said earlier box stats 1 to 4 is where you want to be. But Lure of Kilkenny at box rise goes hard right. It wants to get off the track and it wants to run to the outside, and it'll probably end up taking out a couple of greyhounds or bumping into them, which will hamper its run into that first turn. But I'm not going to take anything away from Landon Bell's record.
I received a little text message through the week of a greyhound owner of Aussie Rocks who said, just check out the trial ticket of this dog who trialled at Sandown Park last week. Absolutely flying. What do we make of his chances, George? Drawn box number 5. He has staged some incredible races, some incredible battles with greyhounds like Postman Pat. If he can run with them, he can run with these.
I'm glad you got that little text because he's my on-top selection.
Oh.
I like Aussie Rocks. You're right. During that period of the national sprint, he was right up there, wasn't he? His form at the Meadows was fantastic. He's had 8 starts here for 1 win, but he's had some good placings. I just think if he can sit behind or get close enough to Starline Express, I think he's the one to beat.
This is prelude number 11 of the Melbourne Cup. Stir-up taking place. We'll be getting to Corey Smith soon. Talk to me about preludes. Why do greyhounds need to race in a prelude of the Melbourne Cup in order to try and win the Melbourne Cup?
Well, I think it's a really good initiative that they have to race in them to be considered for nomination. And I don't think the trainers mind it at all because it gives them a look against really, really good greyhounds. I think it's a perfect precursor for what's coming in a couple of weeks' time.
And there's a couple of races that if you win a Top Gun, for example, you don't have to come here and race in a prelude in order to get into the Melbourne Cup. Mitchie, what's the go? Do you like prelude racing or would you rather just see heats and final? I think it's great. Like George said, you've got the advantage of being able to see these greyhounds in the lead up to a Melbourne Cup. And the one thing I love about greyhound racing, if you become a fan, like if you watch Hector Fawley run last week, you watch Transponder win on Saturday night, they're racing 5 days, 6 days, 7 days later, so it's very easy to follow.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of them. I think that with the quality of racing, I want to see these greyhounds go around more. And the fields that we get are always quality. The preludes are always good fields. Yes, the old heats and finals are good, but you want to be running at the same track over and over and over in the lead up to running in big races like the Melbourne Cup. So I'm all for them.
Well, let's get down to Corey Smith. I'm setting Corey a goal. I want him to catch up with Starline Express's connections to find out if they're expecting a little bit more strength in the run. Down to you, Smithy. I hope you can do that for me.
Oh, I reckon I can do that for you, but I've got to talk to our great mate, Shawnee Coulson, first. Shawnee, handling duties for Landon Bale tonight. There's a fair bit of pace in this race, and he's a dog that probably needs to lead to win in this sort of calibre.
Yeah, he does. Like his last couple of weeks, he hasn't begun to his best of his ability, but he doesn't mind coming here, and he's just got to begin his inner show. The last 50 metres, could tell the sale if he's out in front far enough. I can't see why he can't be leading, but it's up to the dog what they do.
All right, well, I'll let you go. Hopefully we're talking after the race, but James Vandermart has left me with a tall order because Jeff Gill is all the way back there, so I might just run and grab Jeff Mitchell here. Jeff, Aussie Rocks, he looks absolutely fantastic at the moment. He's a dog that's been in good form. Sandown's probably not his preferred track compared to the Meadows. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, you're right there, but we'll see what happens tonight, see if it changes.
He's looking in fantastic nick. Is everything going well at home and he's ready to go?
Everything's perfect now. Just there he goes.
All right, good luck, Jeff. Speaking of Jeffs, I think there's another Jeff that we might not be able to grab for you, Jim, because he's taking a little while. So I might throw it back to you, and then you can throw it back to me if you'd like, Jim, and we'll try and get Jeff Gill in a second.
Don't you worry, I will be throwing back to Corey Smith with Jeff Gill because I think we all need to know if he is going to find the line. We're seeing some beautiful shots here, some overhead shots of these greyhounds. And the parade, Georgie, it's so important. I always say the parade, the stir-up, it's like when a footballer charges through the banner and the crowd go bananas. This is their moment. They really switch on.
Oh, absolutely. They know where they are. They exactly know where they are. They're ready to rumble. And as we always say, they're just such beautiful animals. They're nice and calm, but when that lure starts, they're ready to rumble.
Mitchell Abaya, your sports bet market here for race number 2, my friend.
Yes, James, and the punters are with you here. The 8 has been heavily supported into $3.50, was $4 earlier in the night. So that we're talking of Starline Express off the wire draw. But yeah, punters are super keen. Here is your market here into favourite as we speak. $5.50 into $3.40, and the money continues to tumble. Rock Me Rocco is $4.20 into $3.80, drifted slightly from $3.60. Aussie Rocks, well, if the trial time was so good, $5 looks a very, very juicy price. Fred Rose is getting out to a backable price, $6 into $5.50, and Landon Bale at $6. For free and confidential support, call the 1-800 number on screen or visit the Gambling Help online website. I'm with the one here, Jim.
Yeah, Corey Smith's obeying orders. He's with Starline Express's connections. Is he going to be stronger this week, Smithy?
Jeff, obviously a few little issues with the muzzle there, but looks all good now. Dog that went 4.92 last start. You'd want to hope you're leading tonight.
Yeah, if he does that again tonight, he could getting stronger. So we just hope for that again. But it's not going to be easy.
There's a few dogs that have been in the Giel kennel that have been able to break 5 seconds early and win big races at Sandown. Can he be another one?
He certainly can. We've just got to find another couple of lengths at the finish, and he's going to be right in there. Catch me if you can.
All right, good luck. Catch me if you can. That's the word from Jeff Giel. My on-top selection in this one would be Rock Me Rocco. Going to be nice and strong at the end of the race. I think Fred Rose can run a place as well for those that want to play some same race multis. But Rock Me Rocco from the inside draw is my on-top selection.
Getting stronger, the word from Jeff Giel in regards to Starline Express. Boys, your numbers here, George?
I went 5, 3, 1 and 8. Terrific race.
Here's a terrific race. Mitchie, your last numbers here?
Yeah, I was 1, 7, 8 and 5. I think Fred Rose can run a race here, but I'm with the one on top.
Yeah, look, I'm in two minds here. I'm going to go with the
Not
5
sitting on
Aussie
the
Rocks.
fence.
I think Aussie Rocks can lead and win, can run down Starline Express, sit leaders back and run him down. 5, 8, 3, 1, my numbers. Let's get to Daniel Hibbard for the call of race number 2.
Bales won 24 of 61, 9 of 21 over this trip. And then Fred Rose, whose fall has been absolutely faultless in recent times. He's been in all the big races behind Alpha Zulu and Exalted. And he's drawn box 7, but at his best could certainly win the 7. Set to go. Prelude 11 of the Melbourne Cup. They're set. Racing, Starline Express began quickly, but there's speed underneath it. Driving through Landon Vale. Also there, Lure of Kilkenny. Getting across Starline Express, got up to second. Third was Lure of Kilkenny. Fourth then was Aston Costello. Fred Rose tries to loop the field from Rock Me Rocco. Well back Oregon Caldwell. Aussie Rocks was last. Landon Vale the leader. Out by a neck on Starline Express. Here comes Aston Costello. Also Lure of Kilkenny. Fred Rose is tacked on. Landon Vale in front. After it was Aston Costello. Aston Costello got up and won and beat home Landon Vale. Fred Rose has been massive to get up and run third nearly on the outside of Lure of Kilkenny in a photo. Next in was Starline Express, who just couldn't get across. Rock Me Rocco, and the last one in was Oregon Caldwell. It's 29 and 65.
All right, what a performance that was. Aston Costello getting the job done. Box number 4 as well, Glenn. It's not the first box that you want, but he managed to do it in what seemed like a relatively messy race.
Yeah, well, he lives in 4, this bloke, so he doesn't get blessed with his inside draws like we'd like. But it's a good night to step up and be going well. But he's trolling really well, and we just need him to be a bit of luck next week and Melbourne Cup heat.
They hit out over 600 last week. Was that an eye to dropping him back, get a little bit of confidence, or you think his future's probably over 600 and further?
I think his future's over 600, but after probably the Melbourne Cup series, we'll sort of step back up. But being a dog like him, he can probably go 500, 600s and just being a city-class dog performer.
Beautiful. Well done on the win there with Aston Costello. There's Glenn Rounds, the handler for that dog. What a performance that was. 29.65 the time. 4, 3, 7 and 2 were your numbers in a race where there was a hell of a lot of early speed.
Some beautiful shots post-race number 2, lads. Interesting race, that one. It was pretty tough through the first corner in the sense that there was 4 or 5 trying to get the lead. Landon Bale got the lead. Starline Express got to him, and at that point it just looked like a race set for a swooper.
Yeah, it did. Aussie Rocks probably just needed another half length, didn't he? He was right there before he got checked. It was a bit rough, and then Aston Costello, another rough result. So we've had 2 roughies to begin the night, Mitch.
Yeah, I know it's not going well for favourite punters, but we'll bounce back in race 3. Hopefully, Rock Me Rocco, my selection, was nowhere to be seen on that first turn.
I'm a little bit worried about the confidence levels of our man Mitch Bayer. He's looking more and more like a deflated balloon as the races go on. I am confident in this team bouncing back throughout the night. We'll head to a quick break. Another roughie home. 2 races down, 2 outsiders, 2 double-figure winners here at Sandown Park. Welcome back to Sandown Park. We are broadcasting live on the steps of the Neil Brown Museum here. Recently opened, and I tell you what, it looks absolutely phenomenal. And we saw Mitch Bayer in there with the sports bet market on the previous as well, tearing it apart. How about this? 2 races down, 2 outsiders. It was Aston Costello taking out race 2. Vicky Wiesner, Glenn Rounds combining with the training effort here with Aston Costello at about $11.50. Landon Bale in for second. Fred Rose, he pays even money a place, and his form over the last 3 months has been outstanding. And again, If you snagged the first 4, it was about 4,400 in race number 1, a little bit less on race number 2 at around about 3,200. There it is, the Neil Brown Museum. And when you talk about the history of greyhound racing, a name that springs to mind is Neil Brown. He is just the encyclopedia of greyhound racing. Speaking of greyhound racing, a trainer who had a runner in tonight looking to head toward the Melbourne Cup is Cody Charles, and he's on the panel for a chat. Cody, welcome, mate.
Yes, thank you, James and George. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, tonight didn't go to script from box number 5, but she hit the line well, and I guess from a trainer's perspective, you would have been happy with the run. She now has another look at Sandown Park, and she can come back for the big one, the Melbourne Cup next week, the heats.
Yeah, that's right. We come over a little bit early because she was first reserve for the Top Gun. We didn't get a run there, so we brought her here last week and gave her the trial. And she went 29.49. I thought she may have trialled a little bit quicker than that. She trialled really nice back home at from Perth since she returned from Sydney. And but she got through the week well, and box 5 tonight, I knew we were up against it a little bit. She's not real quick early. And yeah, she was squeezed up pretty much straight away. The 4 and the 6 pretty much sandwiched her out, and then went through the first turn, the 4 checked off heels and sort of give her a good smack. And I reckon she would have been 8 to 9 off and down the back. And I mean, she's finished at the back, but she'd probably go 8 and 4.5. So she's hit the line all right, and hopefully we can get an inside draw next week. And
encouraging signs, no doubt about that. When I did a little bit of research in regards to you, Cody, I thought we're going to need probably 2 or 3 hours to have a chat with you because you've just been involved in so many different facets of the 3 racing codes. Talk to me about training a winner, they tell me, in all 3 codes. How have you possibly managed that? I dream of it sometimes, and then I think, well, there's no way I'm doing that. How have you actually done that?
Yeah, well, I was raised. My parents are from like the harness background, so I was born into racing. Just got racing through your blood. Love horses, love the dogs, love a punt. More importantly,
we all do that.
Yeah, so I started as a reinsman early on in the early days, and just had a love for the greyhounds. And as I got older, I used to help a guy called Mike Bate that was mixed up with Keith and Jody Harding. So they had some really nice dogs back in the day in Perth, and that's how I sort of learnt me craft. And then once I sort of gave up the harness racing driving, I just switched to basically the dogs, and I had a number of shares in gallopers. Thought that was a bright idea, and then one went on the market, and I thought it'd be another smart idea to actually buy it. So I bought this thing off Luke Oliver in Melbourne, and it come to Perth, realised I didn't have a licence, and we got our licence, and away we went with the gallopers, but it didn't have too many there. I found that was a bit harder because you're always relying on someone else. You're always relying on someone turning up and actually riding the horse and stuff, but we did get a winner at Northern at 50 to 1, and I think I had 7 or 8 starters in the gallopers, and we moved on from that. But yeah, it was a good experience, and nice to say that you've had a winner in all 3 codes.
Now, Cody, I'm betting that you've watched this replay 1,000 times. We showed Sage Tennille earlier winning the National Sprint Championship. Tell us your feelings to win a race like this on interstate soil against the boom greyhound that was Postman Pat, obviously, and Aussie Rocks and Tinker Norm. Tell us about this thrill. I mean, she got to the line so well against some very, very good greyhounds.
It was incredible, George. It was really hard to even imagine the story that this dog come from. Was I've said it 100 times, but we'll say it again, that she broke in Sydney and didn't really break in at all, really. So they sort of said, probably sort of move her on, but we decided to bring her home, and I re-broke her in again, and we got her going. And I mean, the first 20 starts, I think she only won 3 races. And then all of a sudden, the penny just dropped. We went to, I think the night she won at Cannington in 29.69, I already had her nominated for the Monday at Northam, and everyone sort of said, you should be going to Melbourne with that dog. And I thought, she's only won 4 races now, and she's in at Northam on Monday, and we went there, and she absolutely smashed the clock there, and went into the final of that, drew a sticky box 6, and didn't go any good. And then it was just a late-minute decision, really. Come home from the dogs that night from Northam and decided to nominate her for the Nationals. And she drew box 8, and I don't think she'd won from outside box 5 in 14 starts, and she won from the 8 and
run down a good dog in
barbecue,
man.
Yeah, yep. And that was incredible. And then we went on to the final there, and then went to Melbourne, and to come and have your first starter at the Meadows and win was incredible.
Group 1 too.
Yeah.
Tell us how close she was to spending the rest of her time on the couch.
Yeah, she was so close. She was so close. I put an advertisement up on the Greyhound data page, and said,
I'll take her for you now.
Yeah, that's right. Don't worry, I've tried finding that ad to delete it so no one comes back to me. But she was out there for people to take, and no one took her. So we decided, by the time she goes through the gap system, I think it was a longer wait here, so I decided just to bring her home and play with her for a couple of weeks. And her name's Lulu, and I actually had a girl that worked for me, and I said, you can name her because in 2 weeks' time she'll probably be yours. And she named her Lulu, and she still hasn't got her hands on it. She's still there, so and she won't be getting her hands on it.
It's an incredible story, and I think it gives hope to a lot of greyhound racing owners who have one or two that aren't exactly performing. You said just a moment ago you're a reinsman, so a harness racing driver. How do you go sitting behind the boxes without any control of the race? Do you sit there and do you still put the whip in the right hand and try and cheer them home?
I wasn't much good, James, so I probably didn't have any control then. But I've adapted to it pretty well. Yeah, it's really good. But you put the dog in and just hope for the best, really.
Well, as we let you go, mate, do you dare to dream now? You're 2 weeks away from potentially winning a Melbourne Cup, doing the Nationals Melbourne Cup double in the greyhound racing game. Do you dare to dream?
It's free to dream, and we will continue to dream. But obviously left a little bit disheartened tonight. But she's pulled up well. So I had a few little issues before we come over, and we thought we ironed them out, and things were good. And so she trialled 2 times back at home. Obviously, trials don't really count, but she did do 380 track record, come out and did a post-to-post track record. So when you look at that, she is fast. She's just, at these boxes, she's actually going in and putting her head up and looking around a bit. So hopefully next week, third look here, hopefully inside draw and just get a clean run. And she's strong and she should be better for next week again. So we just got to hope for a little bit of luck, but certainly not a hell of a lot of confidence. But we're here now, so we'll continue to press on.
Well, Cody, we love the story. Every part of the story, I think, is absolutely phenomenal. So good luck ahead the next 2 weeks at a crack at a Melbourne Cup here in Melbourne. We wish you well.
No worries. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
Well, there we go. Cody Charles, trainer of Sage to Neil. He's daring to dream with the Melbourne Cup just a fortnight away. Let's get over to Mitchie Abaya as he takes a look now at race number 3.
Thanks, Jim. I tell you what, I've got a couple of greyhounds at home that aren't exactly performing as I'd like. I might have to get Cody's number and get him to work his magic. But let's look at race 3. Crackerjack RT is your favourite, $3 into $2.60. Eula Bale, who won on Top Gun night at the Meadows, $3 on the drift out to $3.50. Stomping, this greyhound is very, very promising. $3 out to $4.20. A nice price there. Quantifiable, the New South Welshman, is $12 into $6.50. And Peaky Joe, can Glennie Rounds get a double early on in the card? $18 into $9.50. If you like Buddy Manelli, Weblet Wolf, or Kanji Uganda, Jimmy Vandermatt was somewhat keen on its run last week, $51. And who doesn't love betting with their mates? There is nothing better. Start a group now. It's the easiest way to bet and banter all in one place on the app. Bet with mates. There's nothing better. Imagine what you could be buying instead. For free and confidential support, call the 1-800 number on screen or visit the Gambling Help Online website.
Nearly as much as Bet with Mates. I love those graphics that Sportsbet are producing with the greyhounds. They look sensational,
George.
Looks
good. I know. Very good. Whoever done that.
Let's talk a little bit about the speed map for this race. Race number 3 on the program. They probably haven't gone to script the first couple, hence we've had some upset results. But this speed map having the 3, the 5, the 7 all expected to be on pace and potentially Crackerjack RT just camping behind the pace. Is that the way you see it?
Yeah, look, it's a top race. And I mean, we've got Ula Bale, who last week went 5.12 and 29.74 at the Meadows, which was fantastic. But we are going to have a look at Crackerjack RT at Horsham. What about this time last week? Nearly breaking the track record, drawing box 2. Very, very, very fast greyhound. Solid record from inside draws, and I think he'll be hard to beat. He's got a very nice PB too here, James.
He does, and he's drawn absolutely perfectly. Mitchie Abaya rejoins. Mitchie, Crackerjack RT, what do we make of him? This Horsham win, look at him stretch the last 50, just explodes up the straight, and he gets an extra 40-odd metres here, which I think is only going to suit him. Yeah,
great, very fast greyhound on his day. Don't forget how good the greyhound can be, but I think the track was slightly quick then. I reckon we might be sucked in a little bit, 26.72. Kanji Waco was 6 lengths behind, and it's probably normally a 27.20 to 30 sort of greyhound. So drawn well, the punters like it, but I think that there is a couple other greyhounds that are value and can take it on.
Box number 1 though, I reckon that brings him right into contention. I think if you put him in 6, 7 or 8, he goes around at $5 plus, George.
Yeah.
Box number 1 with a bit of speed on his outside with Stomping staying off the fence a little bit.
Yeah.
He potentially gets a beautiful run again.
Yeah, there's probably no excuses for him tonight, is there? Because, I mean, some of his provincial runs, I hear what you're saying, Mitch. He also went really, really quick at Bendigo, like, breaking 28 seconds easily. He's a very, very fast dog. But it's such a top race, isn't it? I mean, Eula Bale's win last week was fantastic at the Meadows.
Yeah, it's a quality race, and all these will be. That's the big thing, that you're going around at $2.60. I wouldn't say that the field, that the depth in it, every greyhound can run. Kanji Uganda's at $51, and Jimmy Blackbook, did he put in his Sportsbet Blackbook last week? So it is a deep race. I do like the two stomping here. If he can sit with Crackerjack RT, this could be one heck of a race.
I agree. Kanji Uganda, I thought, was bigger than the winner in defeat last week. Definitely won at a big price here. Corey, who have you got ahead of race number 3?
With Chris O'Brien down from New South Wales with the first of his chances tonight, Quantifiable. Been in really, really nice form, and this litter is just firing for you.
Yeah, they've been really good, mate. I'm blessed, really. They've been superb. Can't be happier than what they're going. Yes, very good.
We were nice and kind to you to give you the visitors draw from box number 5.
I noticed that. Thank you.
How do you think that she's going to go from here?
Mate, she generally begins pretty well, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem, I hope. Yeah.
And of the two, you obviously got box number 6 later with Mortified, one of my favourite greyhounds. Box 7, sorry, one of my favourite greyhounds. Yeah. Another visitors draw. How do you think she's going to go?
Mate, they're both on their toes. They've travelled really well, so as long as they begin, that's where it's all won, isn't it? So, but they feel good. They look good, and yeah, they've actually put a little bit of weight on. So
that's always a positive. Can you talk us through how long it takes you to come down here to travel down with the dogs?
It's about, to be honest, it's about 11 hours, and that's stopping 3 times, give them a little bit of a feed and hydration and all that sort of thing,
And they've taken it in their stride?
Yeah, they're getting better all the time. So they just lay down all the way, so they're happy. They come down better than what I did. Yeah.
There you go. They've come down better than Chris O'Brien. Good luck with Quantifiable and good luck later on with Mortified. I might see who else I can grab. Might go up to Craig Solkin here, the handler for Webleck Wolf. Box number 4 in this sort of race. It's going to be a bit of a tall ask.
Yeah, it's always a hard ask in these sorts of races, but you've got to be in it, so...
Is there any sort of confidence that you can provide us? I know you like to rip apart the form and have a bit of a look. Is there a push that you can give us from the camp?
Oh, look, he ran a great race last start at Meadows and that. So if he can perform something like that, then he should be in with a chance.
All right, I'll throw it back to the panel there. There's a couple of interviews for you. I'm always intrigued by the way they travel down, and 11 hours in the car, a few stops for Chris O'Brien and the team, but they've done it a few times now, Quantifiable and Mortified, so they should be old hands at it.
Well, Corey Smith suggesting that putting on weight's a positive. Nobody's ever told me that, boys. The pricing here, Mitchie, what have we got?
Yeah, I tell you, I've put on a bit over the off-season as well, but Crackerjack RT is your best supported runner into $2.60. Eula Bale, a bit of late support, $4.20 into $4. Stomping, drifting slightly out to $4.20. I think a really nice backable price now. Quantifiable, $8 into $7.50. And Peaky Joe, touch as low as $10. Can Glennie Rounds do the double? If you like Buddy Manali, Webleck Wolf or Kanji Uganda, you're getting $16 or more. Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call the 1-800 number on screen or visit the Gambling Help Online website.
Tip time now for race number 3. I'm 1, 2, 3, 4 race book order here, George, for me. I think Crackerjack RT wins.
Yeah, I'm with you. I went 1, 7, 3 and 2. Really nice value for Buddy Manali. I think at that price, certainly worth a play.
Mitchie?
I'm 2, 1, 5 and 8 here. I think that the 2 stomping is a Melbourne Cup Futures play. I will be having a little play there.
All in play for stomping for Mitchie Abaya to try and win the Melbourne Cup. They're at the start for race number 3. Crackerjack RT is the favourite. He's drawn perfectly off the inside. A very classy race. This is prelude number 12 of the Sportsbet Melbourne Cup. The Melbourne Cup just 2 weeks away. The countdown is on. Up to Daniel Hibbard for the call of race number 3.
Of its 40 starts. Getting set. Race number 3, prelude number 12 of the Sportsbet Melbourne Cup. And we're just about set to go. Favourite is the red, Crackerjack RT. Set to run. Race 3, ready. Racing Crackerjack RT, fair speed, Quantifiable and Webleck Wolf pushing hard. Eula Bale getting squeezed was Crackerjack RT as last. Webleck Wolf found the front from Quantifiable. Railing through was running through Eula Bale. Out deep then was Peaky Joe from Stomping. Well back to Kanji Uganda, Crackerjack RT and Buddy Manelli, but it's Webleck Wolf in front. Eula Bale's a big threat. They've raced clear on Quantifiable. Webleck Wolf in front. Eula Bale's coming, but the Wolf won again. Red Black Wolf won it and beat home Eula Bale. They were a mile in front of Buddy Manelli, who's roared home and got third ahead of Quantifiable. Next in was Cracker Jack RT, No Luck, Kenji Uganda, Peaky Joe and Stomping, and the time is 29:57.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm getting not too bad at these pre-race interviews because I picked out the right one. He's run an absolute cracker there, Web Black Wolf.
Yeah, no, he came away good in that, so yeah, I was happy with how he went.
You're a little bit subdued pre-race, but then you had a little bit of a smirk as you walked over to me knowing that you were getting interviewed. It's nice to win a race, particularly a Melbourne Cup prelude on a night like tonight.
Yeah, especially Melbourne Cup prelude. You know, it's great for the owners, Neville and Jeffrey Webber. They'll be over the moon, so it's great for them.
And have you got another little push for us that you can throw in for later in the card?
Oh, no. Nah, no chance.
No, absolutely no chance, says Craig, but that was a good performance. Web Black Wolf winning in 29:57 the time.
Well, we heard last week on this particular program, Nick Britton, the handler from last week's meeting at the Meadows, that this is a greyhound who is underrated. 3 races down tonight, 3 roughies. Akina Jack, 25-1, won race number 1. Aston Costello, race number 2 at $11.50, and now Weblek Wolf at 20-1. The roughies are rolling in on racing.com. 3 down, 9 to go here at Sandown Park on the Shootout night. I do feel a little bit like I'm on repeat at the moment here as we welcome you back on racing.com to the coverage of Shootout Night in Melbourne. It has just been a night for the outsiders. Here's another one. Weblek Wolf defying Eula Bale and getting the job done. Crackerjack RT, no luck.
No, and big prices, $20. If you had a piece of that, well done to you. The Sportsbet Blue, it's going off 2 out of the 3 races. If you were just following the Sportsbet Blue all night, you'd be having an absolute fill-up. But there are your numbers 4, 3, 7 and 5, and the exotics pay juicy.
How about that first 4? Race 1, I think it was 4,400. Race 2 was 3,200. And now 6,600, if you don't mind. Like, it has just been such a tough night for the punters, but we are resilient. And we will fight on, George.
Absolutely, absolutely. We'll get a winner soon. It's just been a rough result. But that Weblek Wolf, as you mentioned, he's a little bit underrated. He's had a really good 4 to 6 weeks. He raced against Galachi in Adelaide, and his last 2 wins have been fantastic.
Yeah, and he's shown some early speed as well. He loves it here at Sandown. I think his form prior had probably been masked a little bit by a couple of just okay runs, but he'd been in some really good touch.
Well, earlier in the night, Mitchie, you came to us and you said the inside draws are the way to go. Now, I know there can be outliers, and you're saying that the average is for the inside
for a reason.
to be it can happen. But the first 3 races, number 6 won race 1, number 4 won race number 2, number 4 won race number 3.
Looks a bit like the scorecard today.
From you. No. You said no 6s, Mitchie.
It's fine.
Only 4s, only boundaries. There is a little bit of a headwind up the home straight. Does that impact at all the way you look at that, or is it as simple as Crackerjack RT was unlucky, forget and move on to a new race?
Yeah, I think forget. I think you've looked at the past 3 races, the inside boxes have missed the kick and they haven't had a clean run at them. I know Umberto led and was pressured, but the last couple, I had Rock Me Rocco box 1, it walked out off box 1, and then Crackerjack RT missed the kick a little bit, and those middle boxes have seemed to absolutely ping the lids tonight and get to the front. So I don't think we read too much into it.
Well, last week, Hector Fawley was the only one of the favourites to win one of the Group 1s. Yeah. Tonight, we look toward the shootout. 9:21, the race will be ran. $50,000 to the winner, Group 3 race. Transponder's the outsider now. He won the Top Gun last week. It's a night for outsiders. Do we read into that a little bit and think maybe the $6 on offer for Transponder's worth having a responsible bet on?
I think people that want Transponder would have been on anyway, but... yeah, look, it was a rough result last week, wasn't it, in those 2 big races? Transponder doesn't care what odds he starts. He's outstanding. But look, I think we just need to straighten the ship up, and we probably can in the next race.
Well, race number 4, we've got about 11 minutes to that. There is going to be a favourite going around Scalacci. I actually think he's a little bit of a risk.
Yeah, I'm taking him on.
You like him, do you, George, without giving too much away?
I just think that again, there's probably no excuses for him. You really want to go into winning a Melbourne Cup heat. You want to be winning this race. So there's a little bit of speed underneath him. He's got a slow beginner on his outside. I just think he gets his chance.
I thought that was the risk. Here comes Millie in box number 2 with enough speed to hold him off, and then it puts pressure on Scalacci. How much do you read into speed maps and where they're going to be at the first corner, Mitchie? Is it something that you'd like them to be solo in front so you know they're going to get every chance, or are you happy generally to take on a greyhound like Scalacci if you think something's going to be there with him at the first corner and there could be pressure on?
Yeah, I read massive into the speed maps and racing patterns. As I said earlier, there was a greyhound that's a wide runner. It could hamper them at box rise. I think the same in this situation. Here comes Millie, the 2, likes to push off early, which get towards the outs or middle of the track, and then we'll target that rail on that first turn. So I think he's a risk. I think Tinker Norm is the greyhound that is drawn to absolute perfection. A middle draw doesn't bother him. He's a class act. We're talking about racing in features. He was in the Nationals, and he's $8 tonight.
I'm going to put you both on the spot.
Haven't done that before.
Question without notice. I want your tip, both of you, to win the Melbourne Cup right now.
Gee.
Tough question. The reason I ask, I'll continue my question and then come back with your answer. Scalacci, neither of you are probably going to tip him to win the Melbourne Cup.
No.
What does he need to do tonight to elevate your opinion of him as the Melbourne Cup greyhound to beat?
Run 28.60. No.
This is like Amron Boy all over again.
No. I'd like to see him go straight to the front, run low 5s, 18.50s down the back and get home quite strong. If he could run 29.20, he's probably your greyhound in contention for the Melbourne Cup. But, yeah, I'm not 100% sold on him at the moment. He's a young pup. Still got a lot of work to do.
5:02, 18.55, 29.15. Are you sold on him, George?
Yeah, look, he ran 29.25 here and went 5 seconds flat to the mark. So we spoke earlier about needing those type of greyhounds to win a Melbourne Cup. But, again, Yachi Bale blew that theory up last year. It was an unbelievable run. Can't wait to see what Kane Bale does tonight too, because he almost is a mirror image of Yachi Bale, the way he races.
He is. He gets back. He runs on hard. Well, the market could tell us a little bit more about Scalacci and whether or not he is going to romp his way into the Melbourne Cup heats next week, Mitchie. Is he the favourite? I guess he would be.
Yes, he is your favourite. 250, touch as low as 225, out to 230. This is the one that surprises me. Kane Bale, 480 into 330. Here comes Millie on the drift, 340 out to 440. Tinker Norm. This is a price and a half. $7 out to $8.50, back into $8. Crackerjack Boom, $7.50 out to 10s. Mapunga Robin at $16. Oregon Durant, 26s. And Willabale at $81. But Scalacci is all the rage. Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call the 1-800 number on screen or visit the Gambling Help online website. There it is right there. Take a sec before you bet. Set a deposit limit.
So 250 into 230 Scalacci. He is the outright favourite for the race, George. He's clearly the greyhound to beat. But as I said a moment ago, I think the speed map is imperative to his chances here. He has to cross the 2 early.
Yeah, look, I think he's got more class than the 2, but we're seeing the speed map here. And where I think he can take advantage is the slow beginner in 4. Tinker Norm does like to use a bit of the track, so that's why I thought he had every chance. But we are going to watch a replay of Kane Bale here, guys. This is his 3rd race start from box 5. Have a look at him here, going up with the lids and being last on that first corner. And for a young greyhound to show this type of track sense as well, he got into a really nice position and powered to the line. He just excites me, this stuff.
He's fast, and you reminded me of a school kid at lunchtime who's just snuck into the lolly jar then when you opened up the replay of Kane Bale. It excites you, doesn't it, what he was able to do here?
Oh, absolutely, and I think the added value is he's by a former champion in Fana Bale, who was an absolute star, Group 1 performer, over 500, 600, 700 metres. She was brilliant, so really looking forward to see what he does tonight.
Well, you mentioned just then that he mirrors a greyhound by the name of Yachi Bale. Do you think he could be as good as Yachi Bale? Do you think he could do what Yachi Bale did last year? Because Yachi had a lot of people, not haters, but a lot of people saying he's not going to win a Melbourne Cup, and he did.
Yeah, look, I think it was a surprise the way he won it, especially early in his career. To win a Melbourne Cup, look, it's very hard to do. I think he's as fast as Yachi Bale, though. I think he could probably be even faster. He ran 29.81 on debut at the Meadows, which I thought was extraordinary, but he just needs to clear up those box manners.
Yeah, I'd have him at hundreds to win the Melbourne Cup. Even tonight, I just don't think that his racing pattern suits itself to the top grade of racing. Yes, he's similar to Yarchie Bale in a sense, but I think the thing with Yarchie Bale is that he hooked wide off the track and he stayed away from any trouble down on the fence, whereas Kane Bale wants to get on the fence. And when you're trying to chase down greyhounds that have got good early speed, you're not going to be able to find a path through them against the very, very top liners.
If Scalacci can replicate what he did here a couple of weeks ago, he went 5 flat, 29.25. Kane Bale is going to be all out trying to run that down.
He's not running him down.
Yeah, but last week Kane Bale was outstanding behind Flying Zulu. He ran 29.34 himself. I just think, for such a young greyhound, only had the 7 starts, Kane Bale. He's got a huge future, but Scalacci certainly gets his chance.
Do we give any of these other roughies a bit of a chance as the stir-up takes place? Crackerjack Boom, who the Sportsbet speed map had as potentially leading. He can be a little bit hit or miss, but when he gets it right, he's got a huge engine too. Yeah,
I think 29.80 or 70 odd around the Meadows. He's a very, very fast animal. Should get a nice run in the race. No speed in 4. Tinker Normal card him into that first turn, and just depends on how well he can step. But yeah, I'll give it some chance. How is Tinker Norm $8? I'm staggered.
Well, I know.
There's only one reason. He's had 4 starts here without any placings at all. But I agree with you. He's a talented greyhound.
He's the best dog. He's the best dog in this field. At their best, at their absolute best.
My reasoning wasn't as well based as George's. It was quite simply Mitchie Abaya hasn't opened his wallet as yet. That's why he's $8.
Right. Oh, wallet's inside, mate. That's not happening.
I tell you one thing, lads. This Sandown Park venue has been around for a long time. Have a look at it. It is just stunning to look at.
It is.
And I remember speaking to people who had never been to greyhound racing before, and they quite simply couldn't believe how big and how impressive these venues are. And Sandown Park is one of those. And the countdown to the Melbourne Cup. Melbourne Cup night, this place will be absolutely alight. No doubt about that. Speaking of a greyhound who could be alight on Melbourne Cup night, it is Jihad Talji with his superstar, Scalacci Smithy. Can he do it tonight?
Well, I reckon there's a few people that will be hoping he can do it tonight. I'm with Jihad Talji. Talji, not everything went right, Top Gun night, but hopefully back at his home deck he can get the chockies.
Yeah, hopefully, mate. Just needs to step, and hopefully he can do the rest.
How's he been in the wash-up after that? It's been a week, and I'm sure you've had to do a few things to get him right to race tonight. But how's that all gone this week?
Yeah, gone good. He's just had a sleep. That's all he's had. And he's been down the beach a couple of times. It's just unfortunate last week. He hit the boxes before he came out and he anticipated the start before he should have come out. But hopefully tonight he gets it right.
All right, well, good luck and good luck for the races moving forward. I might grab our man Shawnee Coulson again because he's got a very, very intriguing dog. A dog that's full of X factor. Kane Bale. He doesn't exactly always nail the start. But from box number 4, can he do it this week?
Yeah, well, that's a funny question. We were thinking about that the other day, and I've never handled him, so this could be a thing. Maybe he'll come out. But this dog, he's got a world of talent. If he doesn't make it this year, he'll go further, this dog, to 600 maybe later in his career, but this dog's got a lot of talent.
Well, you see the breeding, Feral Frankie, Fanta Bale, and that jumps out at you immediately. And then you see the way this dog has been racing, where he gets back in the field. He's a bit of a crowd favourite, a bit of a cult hero already. He looks like he's got a dog inside him that'll go to the rail and a dog outside him that might use a little bit of the track. Can he jump a bit better and be a force in this?
We hope he can. If not, he can get. Hopefully, if not, he can get to the fence and they all shuffle up. He'll be railing. If he's down, down the back running second, and he might run home. If he runs a place, it's a bonus tonight.
Well, there you go. Sean Coulson's hoping that he is the one with the honey hands when it comes to handling Kane Bale, and hopefully he can jump out a little bit better. Craig, you had the winner in the last, so I've got to interview you again just in case that happens again. Can it?
You might be a good luck charm. It might just happen.
That's the nicest thing you've ever said to me. But Inside Box hasn't raced for a while. Realistically, do you see much of a chance?
Oh, she's been trialling well. I know she's been off for a while, but we're giving her a fair few trials. Box 1 always helps, so yeah, you've got to try and get every little bit of help that we can.
That's it. Well, good luck, and hopefully I am the good luck charm for you. There's a few people that I'm hoping that I'm the good luck charm for them in the pre-race interviews, but my on-top selection's Kane Bale. I think Scalacci will head to the rail. Tinker Norm will use a little bit of the track, and he can overcome that slow box manners that we've seen in most of his races so far.
I can tell you now, punters, Corey Smith would not be the reason for the good luck charm. He does a punters punting club on my podcast, and generally what he tips, we put in the bin. So I doubt he's a good luck charm out there, but we need something to read into, don't we, boys? Just quickly, market-wise, still Scalacci as favourite there, Mitchie boy?
Yeah, but on the drift, out to $2.70. Kane Bale into $3.50. Here comes Millie into $4 or out to $4.80. Sorry, Tinker Norm. This is an interesting one, right? $7, touch as low as $6 on there. Actually, touch as low as $4.60. Someone truckloaded Tinker Norm and back out the gate to $6.50. It wasn't me, Jim. I'll tell you that it wasn't me. Crackerjack Boom, $7.50 out to 12s. Mapunga Robin, $16, and Oregon Durant and Willa Bale at $23 or more. Chance they're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call the 1-800 number on screen or visit the Gambling Help online website.
Selections, Georgie?
Yeah, look, I think it's Scalacci's race to win here. If he begins cleanly, like we mentioned, 3, 4, 5, and 2, another great race.
Mitchell?
5, 4, 3, 1. I'm with Tinker Norm on top. I think Cane Bale will charge home late, and Scalacci, if he gets out in front, he might take a bit of running down.
I'm with Scalacci on top. I think he could make a real Melbourne Cup statement here. My number's 3, 2, 5, and 4. Let's get to Daniel for the call of race number 4.
Getting set. Race number 4. The 4th of the evening, the 13th prelude of the Melbourne Cup. Good race, Scalacci back from the top gun. Cane Bale, you'll know your fate early. If he jumps, he's a big chance. He can probably still win if he misses the kick. They're set to go race 4. Ready. Racing. Scalacci was slow with Cane Bale. Winning the start was Here Comes Millie from Mapunga Robin. Driving through and across to third was Crackerjack Boom. Scalacci's hugging the rail. Next in was Tinker Norm getting through. Well backed into Cane Bale. Railing Willa Bale. And last of all was Oregon Durant. The leader was Here Comes Millie. Scalacci's 2 lengths away. On the outside was Tinker Norm. Here Comes Millie's going well. Tinker Norm ran the second past Scalacci. Here comes Millie's all out, but she's home. Millie wins it. Here comes Millie a length. On second, Tinker Norm. Third across the line, close. Scalacci or diving Crackerjack Boom. Next in was Mapunga Robin from Oregon Durant. Cane Bale never in it. Willa Bale last. Time is good, 29.47.
I'm here with Des Doush, the winning trainer of race number 4. Here Comes Millie. The camp's been going really well. This dog's been going really well. A few sub 29.50 wins, and she's done it again.
Yeah, it just keeps on improving, mate. No, she's doing a good job. Very happy.
It was obviously a tough race with Scalacci on your outside, Cane Bale, Tinker Norm. It's full of class. Did you come into this race expecting her to run a really nice one?
Oh, with her pace, I thought she gets to the front. She's hard to get past, and she proved that again tonight. So things are going good, buddy.
All on towards the Melbourne Cup next week?
Yeah, she'll be there, hopefully.
All right, well, good luck, Des Doush there, the winning trainer with race number 4. Here Comes Millie, gets the job done. 2, 5, 6 and 3, your numbers.
Very, very good trainer, our man Desi Douch. He's another greyhound trainer who was originally a thoroughbred trainer, made the transition, and, well, you could fair say it's working for him.
Absolutely. What a great run. She just keeps improving, and she's by Bernardo at a Brugalino, who is a fantastic chaser as well. So a lot of confidence going into the Melbourne Cup.
Well, that kind of speed, Mitchie, 5:04, 18:79, it's fast, and it does put her in a position where she could be on speed in a Melbourne Cup heat next week.
Yeah, definitely, and young as well, improving, as Desi Douch said. So 18:79 off the back is where you want to be. 29:40s, there's no slouch. It's a very fast time.
Yeah.
It's not in your probably 29:10s or thereabouts, but Tinker Norm, how was he just charging home there and gave the each-way players a little collect.
Yeah, it was a nice run from Tinker Norm. Few big runs in the race. Here Comes Millie, brings up win number 8 at start number 15. Some beautiful scenes as we throw to the break. The countdown is on to the shootout. 4 races down, 8 to go here at Sandown Park. Welcome back now to Sandown Park. The countdown is on to the shootout. Some awesome scenes of what's going on here. The Dream Chasers Festival absolutely delivering in spades. There's the winner of the first race, Akina Jack. That's where it started poorly for punters. And I think fair to say it's continued on that way up until Here Comes Millie won the previous at about $4 or $5. $4.30 to be precise. Tinker Norm, a good run second as Mitchell Bay stayed at $1.30. Crackerjack Boom worked home well, and Eyecatcher for third, $2.50. If you snag the Quinella, you'll get yourself $12.90. Exacta $33, Trifecta $169. Finally, a first 4 under $1,000. In fact, under about $3,500. That's paid $522, and the double at about $212. So The roughies have been rolling in. Maybe that's a sign of something to come, with something at about $4 or $5 getting home, and things might start to turn. The tides might turn the punters' way, but right now, speaking of the tides turning, it did in 2021 for this greyhound owner. Jeff Geels on the area here to have a chat about Koblenz and the Melbourne Cup. Welcome, Jeff.
Thank you, gents.
Couldn't remember where we were standing here, on the dais, on the set, whatever you want to go with, but you've had some amazing memories right here behind us at Sandown Park. I'd say none better than that Melbourne Cup in 2021 with Koblenz. Talk us through that night.
Yeah, that was an amazing night. I know I was up in the grandstand. The majority of Team Gill and family and friends were down by the winning post. But when he did come out and he got to the front on that first corner, ran an early good split, that's when the adrenaline started pumping. And watching it down there again for the 40th time now. But, yeah, he was just amazing on the night. His sectionals, that's what it is in the Melbourne Cup. If you can get out, you can get on the bunny like he does. His father was famous for doing it as well. And that night he did an amazing job.
We've spoke a little bit about that tonight, how important early speed is. It's not necessarily what you run overall. You still have to be high quality overall, but if you can set it up like Koblenz, you go a long way to winning. Now, a greyhound that you raced tonight, the Gill Operation race tonight, Starline Express,
yes.
Such a similar profile to Koblenz. Do you think he could be a greyhound that we could look at maybe having an all-in play on? Gamble responsibly, of course, Jeff, to win the Melbourne Cup, because he does fit that profile.
He will be back next week. That's what he come from Dave, no matter what happens tonight. He's got to repeat last week to do a 492. That very rarely happens at this track. I think his dad, Fernando Bale, did it a little bit quicker. And to run 18.58, he's got to come with that next week to be a chance to get through to the Melbourne Cup. He's certainly, we feel, getting stronger. Tonight he just sort of did balk the start a bit, couldn't quite get over to where he needs to be. Next week, let's hope that he can do that.
We were just seeing some scenes of your brother David with Koblenz. Tell us a little bit about the dog. I remember vividly that we interviewed David after the Melbourne Cup, and the dog just looks so relaxed. Is he always been that type of animal?
He is. He is an amazing dog. He's what we call like a professional. He's great at home, always travelled well, and come to the track, he'd just switch on. He was an amazing dog like that. And even on the night, talking about being relaxed, I think Dave, from memory, did take him upstairs. And the patronage up there got to enjoy. Well, he was eating hamburgers, and I think he had a lap of beer out of the cup too. So, yeah, he's a very relaxed dog.
Tell us a little bit now, because when you win a Melbourne Cup, it means a lot in terms of having a stud career. Tell us a little bit about Koblenz's progeny, how old they are. Are we getting closer to seeing them on the track?
Yes, it'll be after Christmas, but there is some really good signs already from what we've heard from breeders. We have two at home, and very exciting, the bitch that we do have. She's already running fantastic splits. The reports we do here coming in from other breeders, exciting. And we've been asked not to mention one of the dogs that Joe Borg has, but it's been named. It was named at 14 months old, so look out for that one.
Yep.
And but yeah, got a lot of pups on the ground already, even before one races.
Yep.
So that's pretty exciting for a stud dog who won the Melbourne Cup. Yes.
Well, I'm just going old school here. I don't have a black book.
You
I've got a
black book
pen.
enough?
I'm Joe Borg, first started by Koblenz. I'm jotting that down. No two ways about it.
We'll get that dog's name.
100%. And I tell you now, I've had a few people reporting on Koblenz pups, and I honestly have heard nothing but positivity.
Yeah.
And that must make you proud.
Absolutely, and that's the feedback we get back, Jason, and Dave's very excited about that, and we are, of course. But yeah, when you do hear that stud masters, it really puts a spring in their step. When you hear the progenies doing everything you want them to, keen, look good, all trialling, breaking in good. When all those feedback come back to us, yeah, it is exciting. So we're looking forward to 2024 from that perspective.
For sure.
Absolutely.
And I suppose the other good thing too, I mean, without getting delving too deep into his pedigree, I mean, he's out of Uphill Jill, who was an unbelievable chaser herself. She won group races herself, out of Fernando Bale, who many say is the greatest sire of all time. So he's got a lot going for him.
Yes, yeah. Well, the dream nearly started here 2017 with Uphill Jill. Yeah. But it was a shattering night for us because we felt that with a little bit of luck go our way, she could have got to the front, but a dog by the name of Raw Ability took us out. But in doing that, he took himself out, and I think we handed the race to the red runner that night. Aston DB, good memory. So that was bitterly disappointing. Now to come back the next year, it was unbelievable. Like Dave thought that was the opportunity gone and lost, but then my Redeemer stepped up. He was an amazing dog, also by Fernando Bale. And so now he's gone to stud as well. He's done really well, probably underestimated at stud. He's done more than what people realise, and so he's still out there, and he's still standing at stud. So to have both those dogs winners of Melbourne Cups, couldn't be better. We've been very fortunate.
As a family, you must be so proud of what the Gill name has been able to do in the world's greatest greyhound race, in my opinion, the Melbourne Cup. To have come back and won it with Koblenz on the back of winning it with My Redeemer, as you say, after losing the race with Uphill Jill, it's just an extraordinary strike rate the kennel have had in a race that is so hard to get into, let alone win.
Wow. Well, and let's mention Fernando Mick last year. I was on the home turn, right just where we're being interviewed here. I thought he may have even got it from the angle that I was on, and people around me saying he might have got it, but we didn't get it. And it was great that the Dobridges notched up a win, because he was a fantastic dog, Yarchi Bale.
Yep.
But it's hard to write the story. It is a dream, and we're still chasing it. And we'll be doing our best this year with Starline Express for I think it's a syndicate of 8 people up in New South Wales.
Yep.
Spooky 8 they call themselves, syndicate. So. It'd be an absolute dream if he saluted for them.
Well, mate, we wish you well moving forward into the Melbourne Cup. And as we've said, the Gill name synonymous with performing well with an amazing strike rate in the Melbourne Cup. And Starline Express, the one-pronged attack, we're expecting big things from. Good luck in the next few weeks.
Thanks so much, gents. Appreciate it.
There we go. Jeff Gill with Starline Express heading toward the Melbourne Cup. Let's turn our attention now to the next race, because Mitchie Abaya is chomping at the bit in front of the plasma with the market.
I am, Jimmy, and tell you what, I reckon I could tell you who whelped that very smart pup of Koblenz. It's 14 months old. I might tell you that in the ad break, because it's a bit close to home. But let's have a look at this race here. Morton, one of the better bets on the program, has been absolutely moosed. $2.20 into $1.80. Rocket Riot, $3.50. Has its support into $3.30. Crackerjack Bull, a very fast dog, but held firm. $5 out to $5.50. Kai Bale, as strong as anything on its day, $10 out to $14. Loose Zeus, $9 out to $15s also. Zippy Tesla, Hello Pa, and Internal Affairs, $15 or 91s for Internal Affairs. Let's have a look at this same race multi. If you don't know about it, you must have been living under a rock, because this is one of the greatest inventions in greyhound racing. Combine runners in the same race for bigger odds. So you can have Morton to win, you can have Zippy Tesla top 4. Pick multiple greyhounds to finish anywhere in the top 4 and get a fixed odds price before the jump. Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call the 1-800 number on screen or visit the Gambling Help online website.
I am a huge fan of same race multis. I think when we're sort of ducking and weaving and trying to better the industry, as a racing code, you need to invent the wheel. You need to do new races. You do need to do new bet types, Georgie. And the same race multi's fantastic. But let's talk speed maps. And I think speed maps intertwine with same race multis, because if you speed map it well, you often get 1 or 2 or 3 runners that follow each other and give each other a chance.
Absolutely. Speed maps and box draws for what you're talking about. Look, we haven't had much luck in terms of tipping yet, but again, we've got to stick to our values here, and I just think that Morton should get the clear run that he needs to do what he needs to do and show his best. We're actually showing a replay of Morton here from box 7, Mitch and Jim. 29.55, which is nearly the track record at the Meadows. This from a greyhound who's only had the 10 starts. And you can just tell he doesn't begin all that well, but then the acceleration is very explosive.
Yeah, this is your Melbourne Cup type. This is the one I think that you'd really be after for the Black Book. He's a greyhound that's on the up. He's chasing through a brick wall, and he's got good early speed, got good splits all across the board. So any greyhound that can run 29.55 is seriously fast, but it's those first couple of sections that he just needs a little bit of time and space, and once he does, he absolutely explodes. I'm keen to see what he does tonight.
Yep. Interesting draw for him. We're going to catch up with Corey Smith, who is with Jason Thompson Connections. In fact, Holly Thompson with Rocket Riot. Interesting New South Wales greyhound.
Yes, interesting runner, Jim. I'm with Holly Thompson here with Rocket Riot. We haven't seen him down in Victoria as of yet. How's he settled into the kennel?
Yeah, we've had him for about 10 days. We were lucky enough for Peter to trust us with the dog, and he settled in perfectly. He's fit right in to our kennel, and hopefully we can do Peter proud tonight.
Did you manage to have enough time to give him a look at Sandown?
Yeah, he had a trial here on Sunday, and he did everything right, so hopefully he can execute it.
Right, thank you very much, Holly Thompson. I might just hold back, and I might try and get a greyhound and the connections of Morton, who is the greyhound, the name on everyone's lips at the moment. Jason Sharp, you just told the rest of the family, get out of the way, I've got this, I'm handling the boy tonight.
I've been doing it for the last few weeks. I suppose I'll do all the work with him, so that's fair enough.
He looks very keen. He just wants to get out there and get the job done. He's a greyhound that everyone's talking about in the industry. He just has so much upside. Box number 6 up in class is going to be a little bit difficult, but he can certainly run the times to win a race like this.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky. There's not a lot of speed around him, so let's just hope he gets a good jump out, and we'll go from there. But he's ready to go, I think.
Where's he rank in terms of greyhounds that you've had in your kennel?
He's the best by far, mate.
I like it. Well, good luck tonight. Hopefully you can get the job done. Moving forward to a Melbourne Cup, and then who knows, maybe a Phoenix as well. I might try and grab Samantha Grenfell as well. Sam, Kai Bale here. He's a greyhound that probably goes under the radar a little bit, but he's managed to win 200,000 and keeps popping up in these big races.
Yeah. Box 8, I don't like him from box 8, but he's a good dog, so.
He'll give himself every opportunity. Thank you, Sam, and thank you to all the connections that we're interviewing tonight. It's wonderful to get their insights. I'm going to throw it back to you with a tip. I'm with Morton. I reckon he's the best dog in this race, and he's on an upward trajectory, and I think Morton gets the chockies in this one.
A brilliant job from you, Smithy. And how interesting is that? Jason Sharp suggesting Morton is by far the best dog he's ever had, and he has run a place in a Melbourne Cup.
Yes, and I think he will admit that he's learnt a lot from that Melbourne Cup, because they did a few things differently leading up to the week. And the greyhound, I'm trying to think of the name of it now.
Good Mayhem.
That's the one. It was a genuine lid pinger. And I think they changed their training up slightly for that week, and he bombed the start and was an enormous run. So if Morton is far and above the best dog in their kennel, huge raps. Sharpie actually contacted me about this dog for the Phoenix. He said, hey, do you know anyone with a slot? Because I reckon he could be right up there.
It's a big call. He's a fast dog, and we saw that at the Meadows on that replay a moment ago. Mitchie, the market. Is Morton the clear favourite? Is there money there?
Yeah, $1.90 as we speak. Slightly on the drift, $1.80 out to $1.90. Rocket Riot, $3.30. Crackerjack Bulls out to $6. There hasn't been a stack of money for anything, to be fair here, Jim. $14 Kai Bale, Lose Zeus 19, Zippy Tesla 23, Hello Par 26, and Internal Affairs $101. I think there was a $101 winner at Sandown Park last week. So Morton is your favourite, but on the drift out to $1.95. Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call the 1-800 number on screen or visit the Gambling Help online website.
Selection time, boys. Who are we with, Georgie? Morton on top?
Yeah, I think he's one of the best. Interesting insight from Holly Thompson that they've had Rocket Ride for 10 days, but his record is very good. 11 from 18, 6 to beat, 2, 4 and 1 for me.
Mitchie?
I am 6 to beat, 2, 4 and 7.
I am 4 Crackerjack Bull. Point of difference on top. I just think he's got a lot of X factor, and if he gets lucky early in the sports bet Blue Rug, I think he can run well. 4, 2, 6 and 1.
Your nickname, isn't it?
Hey?
That's your nickname, Bull.
The Bull?
Is it?
I don't think so. Far from it.
Wrong, James.
I will say, though, I just spotted Liam Sharp in the crowd.
Yes, he's over there somewhere.
Son of Jess and Jason Sharp, who actually moved interstate to chase the dream of being a pilot.
I think he landed his plane in the middle of the track over there.
He might
That's
have.
how he got here.
But him coming down from interstate, I think, is a pretty good push for how good they believe this greyhound can be. So good luck to Team Sharp here with Morton, one of the real stars, I think, up-and-coming stars of the sport.
I'll go with a time prediction.
Okay, yep. What have you got for
5:05, 18:60, 29:11.
You adding anything, George, as you warm your hands up?
They just don't seem to be going massively quick, don't they? But, yeah, look, I think if he runs 29:11, mate, they'll tear the house down here.
Well, here we go. Starting signal. Let's get up to Daniel Hibbard for the call of leg number 1 of the quaddie.
And out to double figures for the rest, and headed by the pink Kai Bale, who's been racing really well and was 5th at the Meadows last time out behind Hector Fawley in the Hume Cup. Drops back in trip tonight. All eyes on the green drop draw here. Morton, number 6, the reserve for the shootout. And he comes into this race as the favourite, trying to make his way through to the heats of the Melbourne Cup. Set to run race 5. Racing, Morton began beautifully out wide. He's got plenty of clear air, but Rocket Riot's going to lead. Crackerjack Bull second. Morton's up to third. They get clear on Hello Par. Next in the field was Loose Seuss. Further back to Internal Affairs. Next was Zippy Tesla. Last Kai Bale. Leader Rocket Riot out by a length. Crackerjack Bull closes in. Morton stalks them. They're well clear on Hello Par. Rocket Riot. Crackerjack Bull. Morton's not there at the moment. Crackerjack Bull goes up to take the lead, and the Bull. The Bull, I think, got up Crackerjack Bull and beat Rocket Riot and Morton, but it's a photo finish. Fourth across the line was Hello Par ahead of next in Zippy Tesla making ground. Loose Seuss, Internal Affairs and Kai Bale 29 and 30.
All right, 29 and 30. That was some performance from Crackerjack Boom, Jordan Cooper.
Yeah, it was. It was nice to see him actually jump for once. He's a bit of a nightmare when it comes to box work, so he's finally put it together tonight, so that's where it's helped him.
Didn't all go to plan with Crackerjack RT earlier, but to get a win on Melbourne Cup Prelude night, it's going to be a nice little feeling.
Yeah, beautiful. It's real nice, and hopefully next week we can do the same. It'll be really good.
Well, that'll be good. Good luck, Jordan. Go and give him a pat. But Jordan Cooper there with Crackerjack Bull, getting the job done. From box number 4, there was nice and hot early. 5:02 was the first sectional, 29:30 the overall time. That was a good performance.
Well, they didn't call me Crackerjack Bull or the Bull before that race, but after tipping the first winner of the night on the panel at about 5-1, you can call me whatever you want, boys. That was a good win.
It was a very good win, and you were very confident down the back. We just sat on the 2. He's a strong type, Crackerjack Bull. Doesn't always get the start right. He can bomb the start at times, but he's got up by an absolute pimple there.
I think all 3 place getters will be happy with the performances.
Sure.
And look, Team Thompson, not that they needed another Melbourne Cup chance, but Rocket Riot at his first go at Sandown, splits were outstanding and was just narrowly beaten in the fastest time of the night so far. And take nothing away from Morton, I thought his run was good.
I agree. I think Rocket Riot could be the all-in greyhound for the Melbourne Cup on that performance. First up at Sandown goes 5:02.18.60. Fits the profile of a Melbourne Cup dog, and I reckon you'll see a massive rise for it in the all-in markets.
Yeah, I think you're right, and it's a greyhound that's won off every draw bar the red. This greyhound Rocket Riot, so blessed with early speed. It could be your Melbourne Cup type, and 29:30 tonight first look. Hopefully improves on that. It'll run low 29s.
Well, hey, I'm steering the ship in the right direction. Finally booting home a winner here on the racing.com coverage. I'll start. You boys will follow in the next couple of hours. That's race 5 done and dusted. Leg 1 of the quaddie to Crackerjack Bull. The next race about 21 minutes away as we count down to the shootout at 9:21. Maybe, just maybe, the tides are starting to turn and the punters are starting to find a little bit of form. At least I have. Crackerjack Bull getting home in the previous, and there are some beautiful scenes of a striking-looking greyhound too for Jordan Cooper, taking out Prelude 14 of the Melbourne Cup, $6.10 and $1.70 from Rocket Riot 150. I'd love for Sportsbet's Mitzi Ubea to try and do a little bit of research as to the all-in price prior to tonight and at the end of tonight for Rocket Riot. I think it will firm. Morton $1.10, as you can see the exotics on the screen. Quinella about $10, right down to the first 4 at $402. But these Crackerjack dogs, when they get it right at the start like he did tonight, they're as quick as any, and he proved that tonight.
Yeah, I think Jordan Cooper summed it up. Thank God he began for once. I mean, he's just one of those greyhounds that's pretty hit or miss, and Rocket Riot at his first start here, been in the kennel for 10 days, going 5:02 early, so looks like Team Thompson have a really good hand next week.
For sure, and Mitchie, you're pretty keen on Morton going in. I don't reckon you lose any admiration on that run. He got caught 3 wide around the first corner, had to work, and he battled away strongly.
Yeah, I think that comes down to race experience. We saw Crackerjack Bull has been here on the big stage a fair few times now, contested a Geelong Cup. I think we were one out in the quaddie and the Punters Club with him that night. He bombed the start. Tonight he got the start right, but Morton's got a lot to learn. There's still racing against some of the top liners. There's no doubt about his ability and top speed, but he could run quicker than that. I know he didn't run him down tonight, but I reckon on the right night, he can absolutely tear him apart.
What you notice with him too is he doesn't mind using a bit of the track.
He did tonight, didn't he?
So if he does draw out wide, it's, you know, some greyhounds like to be in 1, 2, 3, and I'm sure if Team Sharp had their choice, they would pick that. But look, if he has a draw like that, he's still a chance.
Well, this is night 2 of 5 of the Dream Chasers Festival, gents. The Phoenix is where it all culminates in December at the Meadows. And I've got a sneaky suspicion Rocket Riot has just been a greyhound that may well have just announced himself in defeat as a genuine Phoenix dog. Because people are talking about Morton. Well, he's beaten him first up at a track he's never been to.
Will he feature in the JVDM power rankings for the Phoenix? Or?
Quite possibly. Green Light on Premier Racing podcast, or Green Light on Racing and Sport podcast for that. Make sure we give that a plug. But there's the replay. Beautiful shots to the drone shooting Crackerjack Bull, just getting the better of Rocket Riot. And I did notice something a little bit humorous when that race was being ran. The drone was up in the sky and there was a little seagull.
It's a plover.
A plover, is it?
Yeah,
it was going
plover.
right after
They
the
used
drone.
to attack us at school, those things. I hope so. Pests.
The old drone driver had no idea what to do. He's swinging left and right to try and get away.
Steering the ship. But you're right about Rocket Riot. We made the point pre-race, didn't we? He comes here with good form, 11 wins from 18 starts, run as quick as 29.60 at Wentworth Park, so certainly got ability.
Definitely a dog to follow. Let's get down to Kelsey Brown, who's hopefully got a few punters who might be doing a little bit better than we are here on the desk.
I do. I have Bruce, Debbie and Talia. They're definitely a greyhound racing family. Now, Bruce, tell me how often you get down to the races.
Chelsea, we come probably every second week.
Oh, that's impressive. That's impressive. And how are you going tonight? You've told me about your quadrellas. How are you going?
I'm still alive, so while we're alive,
love it?
I love it. Yeah.
You haven't looked up from the race book. I want you to tell me. I'm not much of a punter myself, but I want to know from you, how am I picking it? What do I need to look for in the greyhound racing? How do I pick a winner?
You got to look at speed maps,
Yep.
box draws, and trainers' names.
Okay, trainers' names. Talk me through that one.
Jason Thompson's the best trainer on the planet.
You've heard it here first, guys. That's a scoop. Yeah.
He's got the best dog on the planet in the next race.
In the next race. Now, I asked you off air, thoroughbreds and greyhound racing, do they go hand in hand? You've got a Winx cap on at the moment. Do you reckon they go hand in hand? I want to know who your Winx is of greyhound racing.
It's Postman Pat, which is in the next race.
All right, and so it's fair to say you've got some money on him?
Fair to say, yeah. You're the house riding on it, Chelsea.
Oh, no, don't say that. No, don't say that. Now, the last thing I want to ask Debbie is she's been trying to convince Bruce to adopt a greyhound. You've got 10 seconds, Debbie. This is your chance to convince him. What do you have to say?
I really, really want a greyhound. Seriously, don't need to do much. They lay on the couch. Don't need a big backyard. That's good. Can we have one, please?
What do you reckon?
Hasn't sold me, Chelsea.
There you go, guys. You've heard it here first. We're going to try and convince Debbie on the ground.
I can tell you now, if we can get Bruce a share in Postman Pat, I reckon he'd be more than happy to have Postman Pat sitting in the backyard. I think also we might be able to get Bruce a job on the panel because he gave a nice little segue into the fact that Postman Pat was in the next race, boys.
Yep. Looking forward to seeing him back after a small fibula injury, getting a run in before the Melbourne Cup heats, and he's been pre-post favourite for just about everything leading into this. So interesting to see how he goes tonight.
Speaking of, I'm just looking on the laptop here. Melbourne Cup market, Alpha Zulu favourite $5.50, Postman Pat $7, Flying Zulu $7.50, Morton's there as well at 11s. Who was the greyhound you asked me about? Rocket Riot.
Rocket Riot.
$31 into 26.
Is that all?
Into $26, Rocket Riot at $26 currently.
I think the 26 is a very, very fair price. And I would suggest on that run, if you were betting at 31s, you'd be happy to take 10s, 15s now on that run.
Yeah, I try and explain it to a lot of people that the way the all-in market, you want, like, personally, I'm not going to be taking a $7 pop in an all-in market. I'd rather back them in the heats and then in the final because it depends what price. If Rocket Riot is going to come out and blitz them in a heat and then be a $2 favourite in the final, well then your $26 is well overs. But what price is Rocket Riot going to be in the heat? And then what price do you think Rocket Riot would be in the final? Let's say some of these big guns make it, probably goes around 4, 5, 6, 7 to 1.
And you'd be more inclined to, I think, pre-post greyhounds that have got that early speed. So if the box draw doesn't work in your favour, you're still a live chance.
Still a chance to overcome it, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Although Yachi Bale went against that trend last year,
He
didn't he,
did,
coming
he
from
did.
behind. Hey, check this out, team. We've got the Shootout trophy, which I reckon is one of the coolest trophies in the game. 4 greyhounds under, what would you call that, like an old style weapon of some sort.
Yeah. That looks like a gun, James.
It does. I was a little bit worried, to be honest, when it came out of that. Someone popped it on the desk before, but it is. It's all about that traditional bang, they're away in the shootout. And I remember callers back in the day, bang, and they're away in the shootout. Dan Hibbard might have to go with something like that tonight. But I
think he's up
from one race caller to another.
I'd be going there, set for the shootout. Bang and racing, and Big Energies began beautifully from the inside. I honestly think, boys, as we count down to the shootout, we're about an hour and 9 minutes away to be precise. Big Energy still the second favourite, $3 behind Alpha Zulu. Without giving too much away right now before we analyse the race, I think the price of Big Energy is overs. I just thought the 5th in the Top Gun, he had absolutely no luck at all. You could forgive the run.
Yep.
And his form here at Sandown has been extraordinary, and it's been better than the Meadows.
Big Energy, as you speak, $2.90 out to $3. Alpha Zulu's into $2.40, so very short for Alpha Zulu. Hector Fawley out to $4.50 and $6 for Transponder. But I agree with you. I think Big Energy, this is where he has trialled quick. We heard it earlier. Adrian Scott said, but this greyhound is a flying machine on his day. Not saying that the others aren't, but he's finally got a draw that he can show what he's made of tonight, and I think he'll have a good lead into the race with the
I think just quietly the CEO had some tickets on. I
think he did.
On Big Energy.
Couldn't spit out the English.
Yeah,
I think he was speak for a moment, could he?
He got on before the shorteners come.
Fair call. Hey, let's just have a look at this trophy here. There's 4 greyhounds on it. Talk me through the finishing order. Big Energy, number 1?
No, Hector Fawley. Hector Fawley here. That'll be, is that second there? Big Energy, or Transponder, Big Energy, Alpha Zulu last.
Magnificent TV, that is, I can tell you that. Take it away, Mitchie,
and that's a gun as well.
Race number 6 market. Mitchie, take it away, mate.
Yeah, let's have a look at this market for race 6. And Postman Pat is all the rage, $1.85 into $1.40. Might be looking at a same race multi or exotics play there. Yachi Bale. Well, he reinvigorated his career last week at the Meadows, running down Magic Muffin in 29.69, $4.50 out to $4.80. He's drawn well though. Trooper Tears $6.50 out to $7. Winburn Ruby $7 out to $9. Storm Stroller could lead this race, could well find a spot on the fence and be there for the pointy end, 14 out to 17. To Dallas Diggle 51s, Heffernan Bale $67. Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call the 1-800 number on screen or visit the Gambling Help online website. And there we are, Dream Chasers, Sandown Park. All races, run second, get a bonus bet back.
Here is the chance for Postman Pat to just announce himself as the outright selection for the Melbourne Cup. He's had a little freshen up, time away from the track, a little injury, I believe, a fibular injury. He's got through that. Team Thompson would have had him prep for tonight. Speed map is everything. If he can step to the front, which I think he will in this race, boys, he's going to take so much beating. There's the map there, straight to the lead. Storm Stroller's probably his biggest concern early, George, getting past him.
Yeah, because you don't think Trooper Tears will give him much trouble, and he does like to use a little bit of the track. So again, another favourite that's drawn quite well. And with the greyhound in box 7 that's scratched now, Shimmer Shadow, I think Yachi Bale comes into the race a little bit more. I think we do have video or some footage of Yachi. What a run last week in 29.69.
I don't know if we want to pull it up.
I know Magic Muffin was your tip last week.
And mine.
Here it is here. Just incredible. This was his best performance at the Meadows. He'd always shown his best form here at Sandown. But to run down a greyhound in quicker than what they ran in the Top Gun, mind you, was just incredible.
From there, it's an extraordinary
see
vision.
This vision here. It's fantastic, right? The head-on vision. He's running not in the middle of the track, but at least a few lengths off the arm. Right, this is why he's totally different to Kane Bale. He doesn't have to worry about greyhounds in his way. He's got a massive engine, and he just scouts wide. It's fantastic. I know he doesn't go as well off an inside draw, but boy, his racing pattern is so different.
We could hear in the background the call of Daniel Hibbard with Yachi Bale storming home, and he's a favourite of his.
I had mine turned off.
I reckon he could end the Yachi Bale call the same way he starts the shootout tonight, our man Daniel Hibbard, because he was that up and about with Yachi Bale. And I've got no doubt our caller tonight, Dan Hibbard, has his favourites. Yachi Bale is one of them.
Fast.
Wow, She's Fast is another. Hector Fawley's the other. He loves Hector Fawley, our
Likes
man Daniel
fast
Hibbert.
dogs.
He loved Amron Boy too, but now he's off to stud, so he needs to.
James is giving me the death stare.
Speaking of a man who does not love Amron Boy,
I didn't say I don't
said he
love
was
him.
no good, couldn't win a Tier 3. Mitchie Abaya, what do you make now of Amron Boy in retirement? We all look back and we've had a bit of a laugh, and it's been great to have that little stir and that little bit of banter throughout his career. But I think when we sit back, we look and say, what a career he had, Amron Boy. He was an absolute superstar.
Yeah, he won over, 500,000 run time wherever he went. He was a very versatile greyhound. I wish I saw more of him over 600 metres because I really think he would have relished a 600. He's got good speed over 500. And I know you'll get back to my comment when I said I thought he was a bit overrated. I tell you what, I reckon I'd flicked a little switch there. After that, he came out and went boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
And just absolutely turned into a beast. So hopefully he goes well.
I like what you did that night, though, Mitchie. I think in greyhound racing and in a lot of sporting codes, we're sometimes a little bit concerned about what the response might be if we actually speak the truth. But I think it's so important. If you believe in something, put it out there. You can be proven wrong, you can be proven right, but put your opinion out there. We all have a right to an opinion, and we all have thoughts about each and every greyhound that races, and some of them are incorrect. Some of them are right.
Mitch wasn't disrespectful or anything. He said what he said, and every time I think about Amron Boy, the one race I come back to is the race he got beaten in, which was the Phoenix, which was just unbelievable, that run that day. He had no right to finish second in that race.
No, he didn't. And he chases so hard. He loves the rail. He was a fantastic greyhound on the track. But I would love to see what his pups are like, because if they chase as hard as he does and rail as hard as he does, could really open him up to bigger and better things.
And run the time that he could. That would be the key, wouldn't it? Getting a couple of Amron Boy pups out there. We'll take a look runner by runner of the upcoming race, which is race number 6, Prelude 15 now of the Melbourne Cup. Winburn Ruby, box number 1, really interesting runner in the care of the Greeno kennel now. The owners have been sort of having a crack at developing her into a stayer. Now they bring her back to the sprint to try and have a go at a Melbourne Cup. Is it a successful, smart idea, George?
Yeah, I think so. Based on her runs at Launceston over 500, she's very, very fast. But I suppose it's tough because she's had 500, and before that she'd run over 600 and 700 metres, and all of a sudden you're looped against the best greyhounds in the country. So it's a tough ask, but she's certainly got a good winning strike rate.
Storm Stroller, drawn box number 2, runners up in the Geelong Cup to Kelsey Bale, and he can get out, get on his bike and set some fast sections, Mitchie.
Yeah, 152,000 in prize money for this dog. So underrated. As is Paul Bartolo. He's one of the absolute great trainers that's been around for a long time. But Storm Stroller makes the race, in my opinion, for Postman Pat tonight, and he ruins any chance of Winburn Ruby featuring.
Postman Pat, where does he need to be early to win? There's a big chance Storm Stroller will lead him to the first peg, but can he just sit up on the outside of Storm Stroller and then run him down the back?
Yeah, I think so. Or he could just lead outright. He has gone 4.98 to the mark here. But look, his record here is amazing. 3 out of 3, 29.06 PB. And those runs, I remember that 29.06 run. I think the next best on the night was like 29.50. So sometimes, as you alluded to earlier, you get a track that plays a bit fast and greyhounds are running fast. But that day, he was that far and above better than anyone else. Can't wait to see him.
You mentioned 4.98 early. That is so far above average to the first mark.
It is.
If he reproduces that, he probably does cross.
You'd go 460, I reckon, Jim.
Highly unlikely. I've actually got a bit of a sore right foot. We'll get back through the last 3 or 4. I've still got a couple of injuries, I think, sort of lingering from last week. Smithy, I think you're with Jackie Greeno, the handler, trainer of Winburn Ruby. Is that right?
You would be correct. And I'll tell you what, it's Death Taxes and James Vandermark whinging about something that's happening. But Jackie, Winburn Ruby, an intriguing runner here. We've seen her over further interstate. She's come to your kennel over 500 metres. Do you have a strong opinion?
Well, she is a better 600-metre dog, but she's not ready for 600 metres, so we just thought we'd put her in here and cross our fingers because she actually drew the red box, so hopefully she goes well.
Inside draw, does that bring her into it?
It certainly helps her, yes. Keeps her out of trouble, I think.
Well, good luck, Jackie Greeno. I might grab Paul Bartolo, who's on my left here. I'll tell you what, Storm Stroller, you keep walking with me if you can, Paul. He's... You say he's out of his league, but I tell you what, he's nice and switched on tonight.
He's always like that. He's always just crazy. He might upset the one in the free, though, because he barks as soon as you put him in the kennel.
Barks as he comes out of the boxes?
No, as soon as you put him in, he just starts barking.
All right, well, there you go. The
Okay,
Greyhound
so we've
10
just got a
bar.
little bit of an issue there with Smithy's mic. He was about to get to Postman Pat too, which I think would have been interesting. But Postman Pat is the $1.40 favourite, and I've just taken my shoes off, boy, and I'm getting
It's sore.
I'm getting a little bit of a cramp under the heel.
I wonder what that smell was. No, I'm only joking.
Come on,
Only
Mitchie.
joking.
Hey, let's get back to our runner by runner. Trooper Tears number 4. X Factor aplenty and can run times quick enough to win a Melbourne Cup.
Got a faster PB here than Postman Pat. He's run 29.01. Never missed a top 2 finish from 9 starts. Look, he's been a little bit injury prone of late, but a very talented greyhound.
Have we forgot about him a little bit?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, possibly. Very, very good litter. Been a terrific greyhound. A group winner here. Certainly an each way play.
He's a good price, there's no doubt about that. Corey Smith is now with Luke Thompson, Postman Pat. What question can we get you to ask him? Is he ready to win?
Anamart has given me a question to ask you, and it's simple. Is he ready to win?
We'll find out in about when they load from the boxes, hopefully in about 29 seconds after that. So, bit of a freshen up after. We could have gone for the Top Gun, but just wanted to have him cherry right for the Melbourne Cup series in the Phoenix. So, just hopefully have a nice hit out tonight leading into those races.
He's obviously locked in for the Phoenix later in this year, in December 16th. Is it possible to have multiple grand finals for this dog?
Yeah, it is. He's been the top dog in pretty much all the group races he's gone in. So, he's deserving of a big feature, and if he can knock off one of those, we'll be absolutely stoked.
All right, well, good luck to Luke Thompson. I just feel a little bit of confidence there with Luke and Postman Pat. He seems to be in really good order, and I know he didn't go towards the Top Gun, but he could win a Melbourne Cup and then a Phoenix, and then you're talking about him as one of the best of all time. But he's got to win tonight, the Melbourne Cup prelude from box number 3. He's my on-top selection. He's going to be really hard to beat, but could Yachi Bale, the reigning Melbourne Cup champ, show what he showed at the Meadows last week, and from box number 8, anything can happen.
Beautifully done, and Corey was right. I'm always whinging about something. Postman Pat, am I whinging about the price, Mitchie?
$1.45 as we speak, Jim. He's been heavily supported. Yachi Bale at $5, I think, is a massive play in this race. Trooper Tears out to $7 from $6. Winburn Ruby, $9 out to $10s. Storm Stroller is getting out to a crazy price, almost backable, because it probably could lead this race. 19 out to 21. Heffernan Bale, 51 to Dallas Diggle, $81. As we speak, Postman Pat out to $1.50. Are you happy to take it, Jim?
I'm happy to jump in. 3841. I'm going market order.
Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call the number on screen or visit the Gambling Help online website.
Exact same numbers, 3841 for me.
I am 3842.
We're all going the 3, the 8 and the 4 to be up there. Let's get to Daniel Hibbert for the call. The return of Postman Pat.
Meadows. He draws the same again in box 8. He's won 13 of 54. 4 of 11 over this trip. Green light on for race number 6. Set to go. Ready. Racing. Postman Pat fair. Beginning well was Storm Stroller. Postman Pat chases hard to second. Winburn Ruby the rail. Just getting a bump there was Yachi Bale because Trooper Tears ran into it, put them out of play. They head to the back. Storm Stroller leads a length, but Postman Pat closes in strongly. They're 4 in front of Winburn Ruby and Heffernan Bale. Next was Dallas Diggle. Further back then to Yachi Bale making ground. Postman Pat's got a great fight here. Storm Stroller's really making him work. They reach the line and Storm Stroller's won it. Storm Stroller wins it and beats Postman Pat. Third across the line was Winburn Ruby. How the hell did Yachi Bale get so close? Heffernan Bale was next, followed behind them by Dallas Diggle and Trooper Tears, and a time 29.56.
Paul Bartolo, you said pre-race that you didn't think there was much chance, and then you said as soon as the race was finished, I cannot believe it, but I could hear him barking, and I'll tell you what, he had his box, he went straight to the front, and it was a good performance.
He loves the inside, but I thought he was out of his league tonight. But yeah, so I was hoping, thought I'd run an out and a couple of more outs and he drops back.
Well, obviously onwards and upwards towards the Melbourne Cup. He's going to be in the heats. I'm imagining that you want him to draw down near the inside, and a repeat of that it'd be bloody nice.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah. Trouble is, he's an early race dog, so he'll probably be an automatic scratching. So.
All right, well, we'll find out. He plays up in the kennels. He barks when he gets into the boxes. A few little quirks, but he goes straight to the front when it matters. Well done, Paul. Well done, Storm Stroller.
Big win, big statement win, holding off Postman Pat, and a bit of a surprise for the Bartolos there, Mitchie, but not for you. You said he was a good chance.
No, I said it was a really good backable price at $21, but I'll give you my thoughts now. A bit of an
Here we go.
Postman Pat, flat track bully, right? Cannot go around a dog, has to get on the fence. If he doesn't draw box 1 and 2 and leads, cactus.
What do you make of that, George?
It happens too often.
Yeah, look, I'll tell you what, especially in 29.56, I thought he had him down the back for sure, absolutely. But Storm Stroller, how's the comments from Paul Bartolo saying, oh, look, I just wanted to just get him in these races and then drop him back to a grade 5, and now he's in a heat of a Melbourne Cup. It's
and
incredible.
he's into a heat of a Melbourne Cup in winning form too, which is so good for him. $19.70 the price, $5.60 a place. Mitchy's gone bang on Postman Pat. Disappointing tonight is the word from Mitch Abaya, $1.50. Winburn Ruby, no third, and Yachi Bale, just a nice little Melbourne Cup trial. That was like a horse just going around over 2,000, maybe a Cox Plate in the lead up to a Melbourne Cup.
Yeah, it was. Like the McKinnon into the Melbourne Cup, wasn't it? He's a terrific greyhound. Storm Stroller was a very, very good greyhound about 6 months ago. His form had tapered off a little bit. But Paul Bartolo, who's won this race, who's won a Melbourne Cup before, Quinella won, knows how to get him right.
Things starting to really heat up here as we count down to the Melbourne Cup in a fortnight's time. Storm Stroller locks away a place in the heats next week. We're only a couple of races away from the shootout. Race 7 up next at around about 17 to 9. As we count down to the Melbourne Cup, the outsiders just keep on winning here as we count down as well to the shootout tonight, in which I'm pretty keen on Big Energy, who I'm hoping might end up being a bit of an outsider, but not near the price of Storm Stroller. $19.70 for the win, $5.60. Postman Pat, $1.50. Winburn Ruby, no third. Yachi Bale, as we said prior to the break, a nice little trial run from him. Quinella, 880, Exacta was 79, trifecta around 142. So you can just feel the crowd and the atmosphere starting to buzz up a little bit as we count down to the shootout. And speaking of atmosphere, crowd buzzing up, a man who is buzzing up for his greyhound, which will be racing in race 11, Scotty Brandon, has been good enough to join us here on the desk for a bit of a chat. Brando, welcome to you.
How are we, boys?
I'm going well. Mitchy, not so well. He hasn't tipped any winners. Postman Pat let him
just
down.
given that a push at 20s.
You did. Hey, talk to me, Brando. You've got a greyhound racing tonight on shootout night. That must be exciting.
Yes, massive thrill, I must say. When the heats come out, I eyed off the final tonight and was kind of hoping the big boy would get in.
How much planning goes into that? Like you say, you've eyed off the heats, Warragul to Sandown final. How much planning goes into the fact that this is going to fall on shootout night, and you want some me time?
Oh well, there's a bit of that, but no, I usually look a couple of weeks out, and the big boy had dropped back to grade 5, and saw he's racing pretty well at the moment, and I thought I'll have a crack at it and definitely be a good night to race.
You've been involved in greyhound racing as an owner for some time, but you've recently, in sort of the last 12 months, taken up the training, the collar and lead, and you've got this boy and the sister, amazed by you, by Dinah Quota, who was a staying girl you raced, mainly at Mount Gambier and Adelaide and tracks like that.
Yep.
It must be exciting the way it's all sort of come together.
Oh, it is, mate. Like, it really is. To actually own the mum, get the whelping done, do the rearing yourself, the pre-training, the break-in, and then the first race, honestly, to me and the missus, it felt like a Melbourne Cup, to be honest. It was just a dirty little maiden 395 down at Terralgum, but you know what I mean? That's why you do it. Honestly, people don't realise how many dogs don't even make the racetrack, and to do it from scratch, and then, like I said, he's done well for us, the big boy, and yeah, we're having a bit of fun. The missus is down as the trainer.
So you know your position now, don't you?
Yes, I just do what I'm told.
Hey, Tom, I was going to jump in. 395 Terralgan to Sandown here tonight.
Yeah.
Nerves. Are you nervous? Do you get nervous before big races or any race, boxing the dog?
Oh, every race.
Do you have expectations? Do you just put him in and think, well, it's my job's done, it's up to him now? Or
pretty much.
Do you expect him to, do you do the form before the race?
I do the form before the race. I've got a mate that's a professional punter, and every time the field comes out, I tell me which dog does what and where do you reckon I'm going to finish and what odds do you reckon I'm going to be? And he nailed it tonight. He goes, you'll probably run around $6, be third or fourth favourite. And obviously the big fella needs to lead. He's had a couple of runs here and run first 2 splits pretty well, but then he hits a quicksand turning for home. But he hasn't raced here for a while. He had a good win at Terralgan over the 500 not long ago. So he's getting stronger. He's not even 2.5 yet. So hoping he can hit the front.
Well, we're joined here by Scott Brandon, the co-trainer, I'm going to say, of Play the Victim. And I too have a mate who's a pro punter, but it doesn't always mean anything, Brando.
He usually gets it pretty right.
Hey, talk to me about this greyhound. You said 5 starts here at Sandown Park he's had. He's yet to have fired, but I've got no doubt when I go through his form, I delve into the form books, he's getting stronger.
Yes.
He's definitely hitting the line a lot better now than his other runs here.
Yeah, he ran a good third here at Ballarat to Sandown final a little while ago. He ran a good third from the pink, and yeah, I know Terrelgan's a lot easier 500, but he seems to be running. He used to be a sitting duck over the 450 at Terrelgan, and now he seems to be running the 500 out pretty well. Obviously, it's only a 28-second run, so it's not going to be a massive test, but this is where you want to race your dogs, mate. So that's why I put him in at Warrigal, and yeah, hoped I'd be here tonight.
You were saying there's been a bit of a sitting duck over the 400s, 450s. How easy or hard is it? You can drop them back and you can do the easy thing and say, let's just drop them back in distance. Hopefully they'll lead. But when you step them up, they give them a greater chance to lead and hopefully hold on. Was it a big decision to think, well, let's try and stretch him out over 500 and hope that he can lead and hold on?
Yeah, like I did think about it for a while and just thought I'll just get him out in front and hope he can hang on. Get a bit of a scrimmage behind him, which hasn't seemed to happen yet in any of his races.
No, it doesn't happen to mine either.
But no, look, just enjoying the ride, mate. Really, really am. Like, as you know, he's got a sister as well, and she broke in and pre-trained pretty ordinary, but we stuck to our guns with her, and I did want to send her to Gap early, and the missus said I wasn't allowed, and she's ended up winning in 34.50 here and won at the Meadows first look, so she's doing all right.
And when they win, social media, this bloke absolutely gives it a good a go as you'll ever see.
I'll try to light it up.
You do a beautiful job of it, Brando. Hey, mate, we appreciate your time here and we love the story. We can see the passion just in the way you talk about these 2 greyhounds that you train. So good luck tonight with Play the Victim. We'll be cheering him for you here, I think.
Thanks, boys. Thank you.
Well, there we go. Scotty Brandon, the co-trainer of Play the Victim. Mitchie, it's now time for you to get to a market for race number 7 on the program. Who's the top of the tree? Who's the top of the tree race?
Absolutely flying. Yes, that is exactly right. Flying Zulu, $1.80 out to $2.10. No luck so far tonight for Team Thompson. Hopefully they can turn it around here. This greyhound broke the clock a couple of weeks ago. Spot Fox is $6.50 into $4.80. Bit of support there for the Desi Douch trained Spot Fox. Dundee Rebel is on the third line of betting, $7.50 into $4.80. Had support again. Mortified, Drawn Paw, $5 out to $6. Magic Muffin, well, we know what happens if you don't get on again. This will come out and win tonight. So Magic Muffin, $5.50 out to $6.50. And the Peacock. My greyhound goes around at 26s. Power Play Exotics, how good is this? Available on Quinellas, Exactas, Trifectas and First Fours. Power up your racing exotics in the bet slip and watch your odds get even bigger. Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call the 1-800 number on screen or visit the Gambling Help online website.
We've said all night tonight how important speed maps are in the run to the first corner. Flying Zulu here. I feel like the speed map is so extra important in this one because if he gets across, George, he is clearly the best dog in the race. But can he get across? The speed map says, oh, maybe.
Yeah, look, Box 8's been tough, hasn't it, from out here, but he was really good last week in 5:04. And I believe we've got a video, a replay of his win last week from Box 3. He's just a greyhound that's getting better and better. Began okay, and then that acceleration. So like his brother Alpha Zulu, isn't he? Just when he takes off, he's off and gone. 29.02 last week. Some people thought he's stiff not to make the shootout after that unbelievable run last week. Can he do it again from a wide draw and a step up in class too?
Well, I think that's why we're seeing a little bit of a drift price-wise. The 8 in this replay is Spot Fox. He goes around from box number 1 in this race. So they clash again. Spot Fox, Mitchie, having his second look in a row over the 500 metres off a 300-metre Hillsville campaign. So I think he's the greyhound from that heat replay that we see that's going to improve a lot coming into tonight.
Yeah, no doubt. And Spot Fox has trialled the absolute arms off the clock here. I do know that firsthand. Has gone around 18.78. So can light it up. Yes, on the drift. It was a bit weak against Flying Zulu, I thought. Late. It did tire, but should get a bit stronger. But can Flying Zulu cross from the outside? That's the big thing. He doesn't seem to want to crash towards the rail, so he should stay out of trouble.
You suggest that he did get a little bit tired last week. How much of that do you think is the fact he's got no 500-metre racing form over this sort of last couple of weeks, the campaign? He's on the way up where I feel like Flying Zulu was already there.
Yeah, no, to be honest, I don't think Spot Fox is a good 500-metre dog.
all.
A strong 500-metre dog. 29.50 odd. I remember Spot Fox leading at Traralgon over 450 and getting absolutely monstered late by Fred Rose. Spot probably led 8-9 lengths. So this greyhound's going to have to lead comfortably to be able to win tonight. I think there's too many dangers behind to run it down.
Well, let's take a look at the runner by runner. Spot Fox box number 1 we've touched on. Dundee Rebel drawn box number 2. I think this greyhound gets a beautiful run. Can just miss the kick, let Spot Fox go. Not that he always misses the kick, but I think if he misses it enough to let the one go, George, he's going to get a beautiful run.
Yeah, he's got a terrific record here, hasn't he? He's proven at this level. There's a lot of speed drawn out wide, so he might get the run of the race here. And yeah, he's my on-topper, Dundee Rebel. He's been a terrific greyhound. He's almost won $250,000.
Speaking of terrific greyhounds, Mitchie, your boy Peacock, named after you, I would assume.
Yes, you're spot on.
Not too many people go and name a dog after themselves, but Mitchie did that. And you knew at that point he could run, and he's now earned $100,000 in prize money, so he's been a good little money spinner.
He has, and credit to Plummy. Dave Plumridge has done a fantastic job with this dog. He is a co-owner. He was the one that got us into the dog, but the name come about. We weren't sure what to name him, and then he just submitted the name application.
Sure he did.
Would nickname me Peacock. I swear, hand on heart.
Sure, we believe in this? Or?
To win $100,000, he's been a phenomenal dog. Won in town plenty of times, and he went from being a Tier 3 dog we were almost going to advertise to winning races in 29.30 at Sandown. Staggering.
Been an extraordinary turnaround. Quested and Pet Sale Bale drawn 4 and 5. George, any chance?
Oh, look, it's a big step up in class for both of these greyhounds. They're going to be big odds, and I'd suggest place at best.
I think the bottom 3 are all big chances. Magic Muffin, Mortified, and also Flying Zulu. But before we chat and elaborate on those runners, let's get to Corey Smith, who's going to give us the inside word from the trainers.
All right, I'm here with David Plumridge with Peacock. I've just heard the Peacock, the namesake, telling a little bit of a story about how this dog came to be. It's been one hell of a ride, and if you find yourself into a Melbourne Cup heat next week, that'll be a nice little cherry on top.
It will, Corey, and yes, named after Mitchabaya because of his hair.
It's the hair, is it? We were wondering if it was the way that he strutted around or whether it was the hair, but he tells me all these different things, all these different reasons, but I'm glad to get to the bottom of it.
No, it was the hair, yep.
All right, well, good luck tonight. Hopefully you can get the chockies. It'll be a great story. Might go Paul Bartolo, winner of a race already tonight. And you've got another big chance with Magic Muffin. She's a greyhound that possesses a huge amount of early speed, but she probably hasn't been showing it as much lately.
No, she hasn't been jumping as good as she used to. But if she jumps, she's a big chance.
Can she do it tonight?
I hope so.
All right, I hope so is the word from Paul Bartolo. He said he had no chance earlier tonight when Storm Stroller ended up getting the chocky, so hopefully Lightning can strike twice. 4 connections there. I'll tell you what, they're getting me on the jog tonight because they are running away from me. They're nearly going to break 5 to this first peg, I think, at the moment. So we'll keep going, and I'll see who I can grab. I might grab Corey Heinrich, mainly because she's the first one here. Quested Bale, up in class probably, but just seems to always run good races.
Yeah, he's going to need to work a little harder than usual, but he always tries, and that's all he can do.
Looks very happy to be here. The tail's wagging. He's really keen to go out and strut his stuff tonight.
Yeah, he enjoys it, so that's all that matters, I guess, for him.
All right, well, good luck. I might try and grab one more. We'll see if I can get... Might even grab Chris O'Brien here with Mortified, mainly because she's one of my favourite greyhounds, to be perfectly honest with you. Chris O'Brien, Chris, the second of your chances tonight, Mortified. Box number 7, probably not ideal, but if she jumps as well as she can, she might be able to get across.
Yeah, if she can jump, like she can do, and gets across, well, she'll be hard to beat, but she's got to jump.
And how'd she hold up in the kennels? Obviously a long trip down here, bit of time in the kennels, but she's all good?
Yeah, no, perfect. She was in race 11 last week and she come out, hopping around and feeling good, so no, she's used to it now, so... She's good in that regard, so thanks Corey, yeah.
No worries at all. I'll let you get over there and get closer to the boxes for race number 7 with box number 7. We have Mortified there. It's a tough race. I tell you what, the speed in 6 and 7, if they get across, Flying Zulu, who I haven't even got a chance to speak to connections, but he went 29.02 last start. He is a flying machine. If he can get across from box number 8, I reckon he's going to be incredibly hard to beat. But another one that we didn't get a chance to speak to, Dundee Rebel, looks very, very keen. Drawn well. He's my on top selection for Jeff Scott-Smith.
Well, I'm not too sure if Flying Zulu's the alpha male of that litter, because I think that would be Alpha Zulu boys. But what are we doing market-wise here? Is he going to run a really short price favourite, currently on the drift a little bit, the pink?
Yeah, he was on the drift, out to $2.60, so $1.80 out to $2.60. Spot Fox, $4.80 out to $5. Dundee Rebel also on the drift, $4.60 out to $5. And the money's come for the Muffin, Magic Muffin, $7 into $6. Mortified. Now, that was what I was last week after Magic Muffin got resold. $6 and firm. Petzl Bale, Peacock and Quested Bale all at double figures. Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call the 1-800 number on screen or visit the Gambling Help online website.
Runners arriving at the start now for race number 7, Prelude 16 of the Melbourne Cup. Gents, give me your selections. Top 4, please.
2, 8, 7 and 6 for me.
For George and Mitchell.
2, 8, 6 and 3,
So
Peacock.
this is a party dog, and Mitch has just thrown the greyhound that he named after himself in there for a top 4. I'm with Dundee Rebel as well. I think draws nicely, just needs to let the red go, get the nice run behind the speed, and can run well. 2, 1, 8, 6, my numbers here on race number 7. So we are drawing closer, ever so closer to the shootout, which is race number 9. But now for the next prelude of the Melbourne Cup, Prelude 16, favourite on the drift, Flying Zulu in box 8. Here's Daniel Hibbert for the call.
That here tonight, she gives herself a chance at a decent enough quote as well. Double figures for the other 3. All eyes on the pink for race 7. Green lights turned on. Lures on the roll. Third leg of the quaddie. Set. Racing. Flying Zulu jumped fair. Going to the left was Petzl Bale looking for the rail. Magic Muffin up there. So Spot Fox. Flying Zulu got checked, as did Mortified. As a result, Petzl Bale's been left with a 5-length lead. Spot Fox to second, charging after it. Dundee Rebel was third, then came Quested Bale. Behind them next, Magic Muffin. Flying Zulu with Peacock, last of all Mortified. Up front, Petzl Bale. Here comes Spot Fox. Petzl Bale all out. Spot Fox is coming, but Petzl Bale. Petzl Bale beat Spot Fox, Dundee Rebel and Quested Bale. Magic Muffin was next. Flying Zulu just couldn't get across from the pink. Then Peacock, last in was Mortified. 29.53 the run.
29.53 the run there. Petzl Bale from box number 5. Sam Grenfell, that was a pretty good performance.
Yeah, it was. When he jumped, I didn't think that he would win though.
Last start was a 410-metre race at Horsham. He comes here, Melbourne Cup prelude, and gets the job done. Probably wouldn't have been expected considering it was from box number 5, but it's always nice to get a win on a night like this.
Yeah, it is. Credit to the dog. He just kept going. I thought the red was coming for him, but yeah, he held on. So.
Beautiful. Well done, Sam Grenfell. Well done to the team there behind Petzl Bale, who takes out race number 7 in a great performance there. 29.53 the time, 5.07 early was what won that race.
$25 on the local tote. Petzl Bale makes all in race number 7. The roughies continue to roll in. Up next, race number 8. We're only 15 minutes away. Stick around here on racing.com. Well, the broken record continues. Look at this. Petzl Bale, an outsider for Sam Grenfell, $25 takes it out, winning race number 7, Prelude 16 of the Melbourne Cup. Spot Fox at $1.50, Dundee Rebel around $1.80. The Quinella was $47, right down to the first 4, which has paid $7,200. And so far tonight, punters, the winning boxes from 2 to 6. No win in 1, no win in 7, no win in box number 8, and no win in box number 3, somewhere in between. So an interesting night of greyhound racing. It's been tricky. There has been roughies left, right and centre. I think we're all hoping that maybe Victor Damien in the next can get the ship going in the right direction here,
Well,
George.
yeah, you just got to keep the faith because it happens. Greyhound racing is unpredictable at times, and we've been tipping seconds and thirds, but we can't get the big one. But Petzl Bale, pardon me, against that field, I thought it would be 100 to 1.
Yeah.
It was a massive win.
It's been that night, though, hasn't it? The roughies just keep rolling in. Well, the Chase Your Dream competition continues. Your chance to win $100,000 just for being on track. Let's get up to Kelsey Brown to find out a little bit more.
I'm here at the Sportsbet Marquee. The Chase the Dream promotion. Lucky 8 people have been drawn. I'm going to go down the line, introduce them, see what they want to win. I'm going to start with number 1. What is your name?
Ben.
Ben, and what's your dog?
Victor Damien.
Yep, love that.
Kayla.
Kayla.
Trappeteers.
Trappeteers. We've got Chloe here. Chloe, who's your dog?
Quebec Bale.
Yes, and which prize are you most looking forward to? Hopefully, if you win, drawing out.
Probably the 10K.
I think I would like that as well. And number 4?
Kelly.
And what dog?
Departed.
Number 5, I know your dog. It's our redemption. We were talking about it before. Are you excited?
Yes, I'm excited.
Yeah. Love it. Number 6, what's your name?
My name is Roshni.
Rashni, and what's your dog?
Timsu.
Timsu?
Yeah.
Love that. All right, we've got Teresa here. She's on dog number 7. What's your dog?
Foxloose Bale.
Yeah, we know our dogs down here. You bought a Mitsubishi today, so you're not hoping to win the car.
Well, I will, because I'll return the one I paid for.
We love that. And number 8, who do we have here?
My Nino.
Yeah, my Neo. And what's your name?
Paul.
Paul. So here are our lucky 8 contestants. I cannot wait to see this one be drawn.
I can't wait either. Chances to win up to $100,000 in prizes over the 5 weeks of the Dream Chasers Festival. So looking forward to seeing how it plays out. And I tell you what, if we have anything to go off, the first running of this last week at the Top Gun night, those boys were going boo-na-nas. I was out on the track when it all happened, and I thought, gee, what's going on?
I would too if I get to see LeBron James in the flesh and watching some LA Lakers, and it was fantastic. And he stuck with the 2, and he got the trip to LA. And he'd just been back on his honeymoon from Europe, so he's been to Europe and LA in the space of a couple of months.
Maybe that's fitting because, as we heard, the connections of the 7 here with the Calouse Bale, if it wins, I don't think they're giving away the car tonight as an option, but she was saying that she'd bought a Mitsubishi today.
Yeah.
And then now she's in a competition effectively with a Mitsubishi up for grabs.
2 for 1.
Wouldn't be bad, would it?
I think the one that I would have wanted would have been the holiday to America. To watch the Lakers. I'm a massive NBA fan, so is Georgie, but of all of them, I reckon that would be an experience and a half.
It would be. I'd be happy with anything. Anything for nothing's good, boys. Anything for nothing's good.
Especially at the moment with all these roughies.
Well, that's right. To be honest, if you had a couple of bob on a few of these dogs, you might be able to buy yourself a holiday too.
Multi a couple up.
Oh, it's been tough, but we are hoping that we can straighten things up in this next race, boys, because Victor Damien is the clear favourite. I reckon we might throw it over to you, Mitchie, for a bit of a market. Is he still an odds-on favourite, Victor Damien?
Yeah, he's still short, Victor Damien. They are keen on him into $1.75, touch as low as $1.70. Tim Zoo, $4.20 out to $4.80. Big wraps on this pup. Trapper Tears, probably one of the other Tears dogs that's been forgotten about in a sense, $4.50 out to $5. Departed is the best each way play of the night. In my books, $9 out to $11, and is sporting the Sportsbet Blue. It's been popular tonight. My Neo, $8 out to $12. For Calouse Bale, 26 into 13. Nice little move there at long odds. Quebec Bale is $34. And our redemption, $101. Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call the 1-800 number on screen or visit the Gambling Help online website. But all the rage, Victor Damien.
He is one of the shortest price favourites of the night, George, but I'm not sure he fits the exact profile of a greyhound that you're willing to jump into at a short price.
Well, especially tonight, they seem to be getting rolled. And look, I think, and Mitch alluded to it earlier, I think the 3, the 4, the 5 and the 8 is where the speed lies in this race. We've got Trapper Tears as the speed map leader. I don't think he'll be leading this race, Trapper Tears. I think there's a couple of greyhounds. Departed led and ran a really good split last week at Geelong. But we're going to see a replay of Victor Damien. But because it's so good to see him back. This was a really good race last Sunday. Top quality field. He drew box 6. We'll see the replay soon. He went 5.18 early, which doesn't heap you with a lot of confidence. But in terms of ability, this greyhound is right up there. And I reckon in the hands of Calgrino, this is the replay here. Just stayed out of trouble, James, in the first 50 metres, and that was the key to him, wasn't it?
Jumping from box number 6 in this one, so he's back in the field, having to work through. I'm starting to work out your coding too on your little PDF expert page there, George. The V in a circle means vision, and I'm not sure what this line means. On
Ignore box form.
It just shows how good he is from inside draws.
Okay, that's what we're looking at. Victor Damien. So the advantage going from box 6 to box 1 is obviously something good. And look at that. That will to win, I don't think you can underrate.
Yeah, look, he's a terrific greyhound, Mitch, isn't he? And I reckon he almost started favourite in an Australian Cup. Went off the boil a little bit. Look, there's been some controversy around him now in the hands of Calgrino. Can't wait to see him go.
Yeah, on his day, probably one of the fastest animals on the planet. But has got an awkward box in his racing pattern to overcome. Look, box one looks great on paper, $1.70. But I don't think he likes pressure, this dog, and he doesn't step. So I think they're going to cave in on him, and he's going to have to try and weave through them. I don't know. I think $1.70 for me is a risk.
Is there any chance we could get Sportsbet to frame a market at the first corner? Because I think you'd love to be able to put the hard-earned cash on once they hit that first corner, because I think it was the Australian Cup he had the red and he got through the first corner, pulled to the outside and just went bang.
Yeah. I think the one advantage, I agree with most of what you said there, I think the one advantage is Trappeteers on his outside.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
It just gives him a little bit more room, hopefully, to move. A lot of people that I spoke to thought that he could have even been in the shootout, this greyhound, and he would have been a fantastic shootout runner, I think.
Well, he and Transponder vying for that outside position would have been something. But what's his first split going to be, at a guess? What can he run as the quickest? Because that's what it's going to come down to for me. If he can run 5:10 or 5:15, he's somewhat in the race. But if he goes 5:20s, 5:25s, I'm having him a long way back.
I think at his best, James, would you agree, a 5:15?
Yeah,
I reckon?
maybe slightly quicker if he got it really right. But yeah, look, the one thing I will say with Victor Damien, because he isn't an explosive beginner, he has that experience. So as long as they don't cave in on him too much, like you said, maybe they can, I feel like he's got the class and he's got the winning strike rate to be able to overcome that pressure in the first 100 metres.
He is a winner. You're right.
He is a winner. And we saw that in that replay then.
Justified $1.75 though?
Oh, no, I think the price is unders.
Not tonight, Mitch, the way they're going. The way they're going. But.
No, I do agree the price is unders, but I always sometimes go back and just I think we can often underestimate that will to win.
Yeah.
And he is a greyhound through and through that just says, I want to win.
Yeah.
I want to get through to the Melbourne Cup. Like, he wants to be there on the big stage.
He runs well everywhere he goes. He's run 29.30 at Wentworth Park, which is outstanding. He's gone 29.70s at the Meadows. He's got a great PB here. If this one gets beat, I don't know what else to do. I mean, bets will bail at 25-1. I mean, we're trying our best, but I understand your point. You don't want him trapped too far back, but I think he can still overcome it and be hard to beat.
Yeah. Look, he's a fast dog, but you're not getting me at the $1.75.
No. I love Georgie's quote. We're trying our best. It's been that type of night.
But look, people will sit at home and go, geez, these guys can't tip a winner.
Nah.
But I go up to the toilet in the break and this bloke goes, geez, this is as tough a night as you'll get. And he's like, can you give me something? I'm like, mate, I'm going just as good as you.
No, we gave a lot of winners last week. It just happens. It's just the way of the sport. But look, we've got 5 races to rectify this. It's not over yet, James. So
we will be doing our best. Hey, don't forget the Trace Your Dream competition is on this particular race. 8 lucky punters up there will be cheering wholeheartedly to try and win some of these awesome prizes. So good luck to those contestants with the Chase Your Dream competition. There they are, lining up on the fence. So good to see the passion, the excitement in regards to this. Let's get to Corey Smith. But I know I'm not doing that job, but I like to pose a question to Corey to pose.
Yeah.
You asked me, what do you believe Victor Damien could run to the first mark? Yeah. I'm going to ask, if Corey Smith can ask Jackie Greeno, what does she believe he can run to the first peg?
Well, I can't ask Jackie Greeno, but I will ask Cal Greeno, Jim. Cal, the boys want to know, what sort of first split can he run tonight?
Not very quick, Corey.
I know that's not his forte. He's probably better in the middle of the race and towards the end of the race as well. But he comes through that Sunday race that, let's be honest, it was probably one of the strongest Sunday races you'll see. So he's had a bit of the match fitness now. Can he step up to this sort of stage on a night like tonight and get the job done?
Certainly hoping so. Probably depends, will he get that clear run as he's moving up the track? So hopefully he does.
All right, well, good luck to Cal Greeno there. I might grab Craig Solkin, who he may as well be my co-host tonight, I reckon. May as well be my co-host tonight. But departed, I've already copped messages from one of the owners, Jared Sharp, who's sitting at home, and he'll be thrilled with a name drop. But he says to me, ask about the kennel name because he's named after one of the Sydney Swans players.
Yeah, he's named after Luke Parker, but I'm kind of hoping that he performs a bit better today than Sydney did last year.
I like that. And what are his chances like from box number 4? He's obviously got to get everything right, but he doesn't look out of place in a race like this.
No, he's been going good. Made the South Australian Derby final and stuff like that. So he's been going well, but obviously in these races they're always very hard. It's a real hard race tonight, but as long as he comes off safe and sound, that's the main thing.
That is the main thing, and onwards and upwards to the Melbourne Cup next week, I'd imagine, as long as he gets through.
Yeah, as long as he gets through, that's the main thing. See how we go, and hopefully keep Jared happy a bit.
Well, I don't know if anyone can keep Jared happy, but we'll try our best, and Departed will too. So good luck there. I might just grab Holly Thompson quickly if I can chase her down with Tim Zoo, who's a very, very exciting greyhound. One of the greyhounds that is just absolutely powering along for the Thompson Kennel. Holly, I'll grab you again. Sorry. Tim Zoo, box number 6, probably not ideal, but he's a greyhound that has an enormous motor.
Yeah, he sure does. He was a bit stiff last start with box 8, but I'm hoping he can get a bit more luck this start.
All right, well, good luck. I'll let you go and get ready for the race. But I'll tell you what, this is a tough race. I actually don't mind Departed for Jared Sharp sitting at home on the couch enjoying a couple of frothies. But he's going to have to do absolutely everything right from box number 4. Victor Damien, again, another greyhound that's going to have to do everything right from the box. He does push up a little bit, and I didn't sense a huge amount of confidence from Cal. His grand final will be next week when he tries to get his way through to the Melbourne Cup final. But Tim Zoo and Departed, it's been a tough night. I'm backing both of them.
Smithy sitting on the fence. No surprise there, boys. Hey, market. Victor Damien, you said he was around 170 a moment ago. I reckon off that lack of a push from the Greeno camp, he might even drift.
$1.75, Victor Damien. I am still staggered. I'm absolutely baffled at the price. Tim Zoo, he's drifting as well. 5 out to $5.50. Trappeteers, another drifter. 7 out to $8. Departed's been firm. $9 into $8.50. Great each way play there. For Cluse Bale, big long odds move. $26 it opened into $9.50. My Neo, $8 out to $14. Quebec Bale's $34s and our redemption's $101. But Victor Damien still all the rage. Each way push Departed. Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call the 1-800 number on screen or visit the Gambling Help online website.
Prelude number 17 now with the Melbourne Cup chance. Who are we tipping to win this?
Yeah, I've gone 1, 6, 4 and 8. Certainly want to have a little bit of a dabble on the 4 and the 8. I think they're some nice value. But if Victor Damien gets any luck in running, he's clearly the best dog in the race.
Last prelude of the Melbourne Cup, Mitch. Can you tip us the winner?
4-6-1-3. 4-6-1-3. I'm with Departed to beat Tim Zoo, Victor Damien, Quebec Bale.
I'm going the 1, Victor Damien. I think we're looking into it a little bit too much. I think he's going to hold a place near the inside and class will prevail in the last prelude of the Melbourne Cup, and maybe, just maybe, he does really announce himself as a genuine contender for the Melbourne Cup heats next week. They're about to move in race 8. Victor Damien around the $1.80 quote for Team Greeno. Here's Daniel Hibbert.
4th at Geelong behind Fire Hose as a short price favourite. Won at Bendigo before that in 23.81. $9.50 on the next line of betting for Trappeteers, Departed, and Vaucluse Bales had really good backing. Green light, last leg of the quaddie. Good luck if you're alive. They're set. Racing, Victor Damien last to leave. Best out was Our Redemption, and the Bolter found the front. Leads out by 2. Vaucluse Bale across to 2nd. Quebec Bale through to 3rd. Departed was 4th. Running on was Tim Zoo round the outside. Next was My Neo. Victor Damien's a long way back, and Trappeteers was last. Vaucluse Bale ran to the lead. Quebec Bale trying to go with it. Then came Tim Zoo. Vaucluse Bale's in front, trying Quebec Bale, but Vaucluse Bale's in front, back for a stack and 1. Beat home 2nd, Quebec Bale. Victor Damien's come from the clouds for 3rd. 4th, the photo. Departed maybe just over Tim Zoo. Next in My Neo from Our Redemption, who knocked up. And the last one home was Trappeteers. 29 and 56 the run for Vaucluse Bale.
All right, 29 and 56 the run for Vaucluse Bale. Probably a bit of an upset, Joshy Formosa.
He's drawn to perfection. His only downfall is he sits that 1 or 2 off the fence and lets him underneath, but he just got away down the back and was too good.
It was a good performance, and next week, obviously, he steps up in grade again to the Melbourne Cup heats. Where do you want him drawn? Do you want him drawn out there?
Yeah, 6, 7, 8 is probably ideal. We'd just have to do something similar to that to go close.
All right, well, good luck. You go and give him a pat and say congratulations. Vaucluse Bale gets the job done, and there were some very, very happy people over there, the competition winners, so I can't wait to hear from them.
Yeah, well done to the competition winner with Vaucluse Bale, jumping out fast, tracking the speed of Our Redemption. There was roughies 1st, 2nd and 3rd for the majority of the race, and my panellists here are almost in tears halfway through. We're going to head to a break. I think things are about to straighten up. The shootout's not far away, and the good news is, punters, the outsiders, $6 there. We are in the home straight, climbing up the final part of the mountain toward the Shootout, the feature race of the night, and the lead-up race threw up a bit of an upset once again with the Vaucluse Bale this time winning. Tommy Daly preparing the winner at $10.70, beating Quebec Bale, who was an outsider. Victor Damien, an eye-catching run that was screaming out Melbourne Cup heats next week. And then the 4 throwing a bit of value into the top 4 there, Departed Gents. So another rough result, Vaucluse Bale getting the job done, but there's one happy punter on track with the Chase Your Dream competition, and Kelsey is with that happy punter now. Well done.
She is over the moon. I'm here with Teresa. How are you feeling, Teresa?
Oh, my heart is racing.
You have not stopped cheering, getting around it. Who are you here with tonight?
It's my partner, Keith.
Keith, yes.
Keith, how excited are you? Talk to me.
Absolutely good. So excited for her.
He's speechless, guys. We've lost Keith's speech. Okay, so, Teresa, you went with number 7, or you got given number 7. You've told me that you've won $700 over there. Are you going to stick with lucky number 7, or are you going to go for a different number tonight?
No, I'll stick with the 7.
We're going to go with number 7, guys. Okay, can I get a drum roll, please, everyone? A bit of a drum roll from everyone. We're going to open up number 7. Here we go. I want a 3, 2, 1. Woo! Okay, you've won a fully catered corporate suite at Marvel Stadium.
Oh my goodness.
Do you support the AFL?
I barrack for Hawthorn.
Okay, so we're hoping it's a Hawthorn game. Who's your favourite player?
Connor McDonald.
Connor McDonald. Okay, we love it. So you've got a fully catered corporate suite at Marvel Stadium for a game this year. Who are you going to invite?
Anyone but Collingwood supporters.
You've heard it here first, guys. No Collingwood supporters allowed. Congratulations, Teresa.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thanks, Sportsbet. Thanks, everyone.
Just do us a favour and let her know that I'm a mad Collingwood supporter and who won the premiership this year, gents. Who did win the flag this year, by the way?
We're not going to hear the end of it, are we? Yeah.
Hey?
Not going to hear the end of it.
It's funny because it
I haven't
hurts.
heard you in recent years about football.
No.
Piping up.
It hurts most football supporters to say that Collingwood are doing well and they won the premiership. But on a serious note, well done to Teresa. Fully catered box there, corporate box at the Marvel Stadium. How good is that? And chase your dream. That's what it's all about, the Dream Chasers Festival. Get to the track, enjoy a big night of greyhound racing and go in the draw to win some phenomenal prizes. I might jump off the desk and have a crack next time.
Anything for free, you'll be all over that.
That's right.
But, it's the emotion, the carry on, the cheering. That's the part for me that I love the most. We saw last week the young fella who he won the prize, but his mates were more excited than him. But tonight we got to see the lady. She was going crazy on the fence, and that's what is so good about getting on course here at Sandown Park.
Well, let's talk Shootout, starting with the market, starting with Big Energy. Mitchie, what is the prices doing here? What are they doing?
Yeah, just pulling that up right now. There we go. Alpha Zulu, $2.40 out to $2.45. Big Energy, $3 out to $3.10. Hector Fawley, $4.50 into $4.40, and Transponder $6 into $5.50. This is a fascinating market. $2.45, $3.10, $4.40 and $5.50. George, are you surprised in any sense at the prices there? Because Alpha Zulu is still your favourite. Big Energy hasn't really encroached since that original move from $3.40 to $3.10.
Yeah.
And Hector Fawley and Transpond are still great odds.
Yeah, look, I thought Alpha Zulu and Big Energy would probably be a little bit closer in the market, and it might end up that way. And Hector Fawley's going to get a lot of support, absolutely, because if they do have a little bit of a bumping duel out in front, he is one of those greyhounds that is an absolute stalker. He's a star. We're just seeing them on the screen here. Big Energy's got the fastest PB among these 4 greyhounds at 28.93. That was some months ago, though. That was back in April. Look, not that his form's been bad since. I mean, he's placed in a couple of group finals, so that run to the first corner is all intriguing.
Well, let's go through them runner by runner as we see a beautiful shot of them all on
I was just about to say that. I literally was just about to say that, yes, we're talking about greyhounds running fast times for good prize money, but at the end of the day, how good do those greyhounds look individually? Yeah. Stunning animals, brindles, fawns, blues and a black. Really diverse colours, and yeah, it's fantastic.
It's a beautiful thing to see all 4 of those, and you do make a good point there, Mitchie, because years ago the common occurrence was black greyhounds. There were so many more. We've seen greyhounds with that international bloodline, and Georgie would know plenty about this, being a bit of a breeder of international greyhounds. But
hop breeder.
Yeah, and Fernando Bale's one who springs to mind with that overseas background, and then throwing the whites and the brindles, and we're seeing a lot more colouring in the common occurrence, I suppose, with greyhounds at the moment.
Fernando Bale was the saviour because before that we had a lot of blacks, don't we? We have brindles and blues and all type. I love a nice blue dog.
Yep.
And Hector Fawley, he's just a specimen to look at. I know you're keen on him tonight. I just can't wait for this race. I mean, it's just been such a topsy-turvy night in terms of who leads, and you know, the speed maps have been upside down. Who knows? But I'm sticking with Big Energy too.
We will get to that sports bet speed map in just a moment, but let's go through them runner by runner. Big Energy, 26 starts, 12 wins, 6 placings. We're talking Shootout here. Trained by Jackie Greeno. He's nearly 3 years of age. Has a phenomenal record here at Sandown Park. Adrian Scott, the manager of the club, earlier in the broadcast suggested that he'd been absolutely flying in trials, so we know plenty about him.
Well, I think he thought he's going to win the Melbourne Cup tonight. I know there's still a few weeks away, but Big Energy is absolutely flying. 143,000 in prize money. Some of the times he's run have been absolutely off the charts, and you could argue that he probably should have won the Cranbourne Cup here at Sandown.
Should have.
Yeah. Look, he won't know himself from box 1. His last couple of runs, he's had 7, 3, 8, 6, 3, 4, 8 and 5. So I think when they come up with box 1, they would have been very, very happy for this greyhound just to get some clear air.
And he's a very, very fast dog, and he can run speed early. I think people maybe forget the fact that he can go to the first mark quick. And you rewind the clock back to when he had that match race with Transponder. You reverse the draw and he holds Transponder safely in that match race.
Yeah. I think the thing is that Big Energy, when Adrian said earlier about trial times, we're talking about a dog that probably goes around Sandown in 5:02, 18:55, 18:60 on trial
And
day.
brings it home too.
And brings it home. So, could safely, I think, if the conditions are right tonight, which I don't know if they are very good for running elite times, he could really push the 29-second barrier if untouched.
I still think we're going to see low 29s in this shootout.
Yeah, probably. It's funny, this greyhound early doors was always very, very fast, but I didn't know how he was going to make the step up against the really good company. But I'm sort of sold on him after the Cranbourne Cup and the Adelaide Cup. I thought they were both very, very good runs.
I agree. I think the Cranbourne Cup, as Mitch touched on a moment ago, he was massive in defeat, and he clipped heels coming off the back straight. Alpha Zulu got the fly on him and eventually got the job done. Speaking of Alpha Zulu, you go through his form and it's very hard to pinpoint a bad run. He won the Bendigo Cup. He dominated a 425-metre country cup, which is fabulous in its own right. He then goes to Sandown Park and wins the Cranbourne Cup at Sandown. Again, impressive. Runs third in a Top Gun at just his 21st start. So it's hard to say anything bad about this dog, Alpha Zulu.
Missed the place once in 21 starts. I mean, it's incredible. And look, I just want him to get back to what his best is, and that's hopping the lids and really running elite sectionals. His last couple of starts, he hasn't been as good. He missed the kick in that Cranbourne Cup, didn't he? Then hunted up on the rails. He can't afford to do that in this race.
No, and I reckon the last couple of runs he's missed the kick a little bit. So I don't think they're going to be as forgiving tonight. Big Energy will take that any inch of room on the inside. If he misses the kick, Big Energy's right there, and then Transponder down the outside. But Alpha Zulu, an absolute flying machine, part owned by John O'Brien. I'm sure he'll be watching. He said he's more nervous watching the greyhound go around because he's got zero control than when he was playing in some of the big games out in the MCG.
Just shows how much it means to these owners, and a grade of the AFL world, John O'Brien, to make a comment like that, I find absolutely extraordinary. Let's chat speed maps before we touch on the bottom two, because I feel like Big Energy and Alpha Zulu are the two pace runners, and you look at that speed map thanks to Sportsbet, and that is exactly what we're expecting.
Yeah, probably the 7 ahead of the 5 though, on that first corner, and but yeah. The battle here is between the 1 and the 3 to that first marker. And the hope for Hector Fawley is if they do collide at some stage and he's got the sit.
Well, Hector Fawley, we'll touch on him now. He won that Group 1 Hume Cup last week. He is a phenomenal talent. We're just having a look at a replay.
Yeah, he's off box 8 here, James. This is against Postman.
He should have beat Postman Pat.
He ran second here, didn't he?
He should have beat him.
He ran second. And when if you freeze frame it down the back, you'd think he was going to win the race.
Yeah, he ran in the back of him.
Yeah, but Postman Pat sort of stuck on and run in very, very fast time. It was a terrific race. One of my favourite races of the year, this.
I reckon this was. And you almost would say Hector Fawley's coming into this almost better with the confidence of winning a Group 1 at his last start, and that was Postman Pat at his brilliant best when he's out in front running along. And as you said, Mitchie, maybe that's his go, finding the lead, not having to work around greyhounds like he did with Storm Stroller. But this boy Hector Fawley, look, if you were to say 3, 6, 9 months ago, pick out a greyhound who is going to suit this format, Hector Fawley's the dog. He flies here at Sandown. He is the fastest 600-metre dog in the game. And when you look at his Sandown 600-metre form, it's mind-bogglingly good.
Yeah, 33.60s, thereabouts.
On a regular basis,
absolutely just hums along. He's a flying machine. This suits down to the ground, doesn't it? Tonight's race. He's going to get the camp on him. It's, as I said earlier, it's whether he gets the right run at the right time, because he's a greyhound that relies on momentum and top speed. If they can close him off or negate his run, then it makes it hard for him to pick up speed again and run him down.
Yeah, especially if they're running 29.20s out in front. He's a greyhound that's got sectional records at both city tracks. Unbelievable career. I mentioned on radio, probably the top 10 runs of the year. He's probably got 2 of them.
Yeah.
I mean, that heat run in the Hume Cup was just unbelievable. To go within a length of the track record, and he got turned sideways on the first corner. What a special animal.
He is a special animal. Another special animal is Transponder in box number 7, the Top Gun winner, looking to do the Top Gun shootout double. It's going to be tough, and even though he's well drawn in box 7, you get the feeling he would be better suited where Big Energy is. Let's get down now to Corey Smith, who's catching up with Jackie Greeno and Big Energy, who does have the plum draw here in the shootout, Corey.
Yeah, she's been my co-host tonight so far, Jackie Greeno, and she's going to do another interview with me. Big Energy is a dog, and when we talk about dogs that suit a shootout format, he's probably one of them. He's broken 29 seconds. It was a little while ago, but you could argue that he's going just as well as ever.
Well, he's going very well, but he just hasn't been racing with any luck, so hopefully he can stay out of trouble tonight.
Box number 1, obviously that's a bit of an advantage, particularly when you've got runners out wide that like to stay wide. Can you see him kind of punch up and be a bit closer than he normally is in his races with full fields?
Yeah, definitely. He will punch up, so we can just hope he has a nice, safe run. That's all I can say.
Beautiful. Good luck to Jackie Greeno with Big Energy. These guys are all running off on me again. They're testing out my legs, and I'll tell you what, I'm not going to be troubling the 5-second first split like some of these might in the shootout. Luke Thompson, Alpha Zulu. First of all, who gets to pick who handles who?
Well, at the moment, Holly's had the honours. They've both been going pretty good for her, so she got transponded to get home last week in the Top Gun, so we'll stick with that, and yeah, hopefully we might be able to turn the tables tonight.
I read an article during the week where Jared Guthrie spoke to your old man, and he said if Alpha Zulu steps, he should be the leader in this. Do you agree?
Hopefully, yeah, it looks that on paper. He's the dog with the most genuine speed in the race. Obviously, Hector Frawley's more of a middle distance type. Big Energy is more so of a mustard type, and Transponder, he can get the start wrong and right as well. So he's a dog, if he gets it right, he should be out in front and hopefully for the entire way.
It's been a tough night for punters. If you could steer him into one from the Thompson kennel here, which one are you leaning towards?
Either one of them would be good. So far, it's been a rough night, but hopefully a bit more luck next week when it matters most.
All right, well, good luck, Luke Thompson. I tell you what, Lisa Cockrell, I think, run away from me, so we might get the camera to follow me, and we'll go all the way up the other end. She can't run away. She's just seen that I'm coming towards her. She's put her head up in the air. She spoke to me last week with the Group 1 at Hume Cup with this dog. He's known as a 600-metre dog, but in a shootout over the 500 metres, he's got to have a massive chance. And Lisa, I know... All right, Lisa's leaving me alone, but it's going to be a massive chance is Hector Fawley, and I reckon if he had a drawn inside, I might have been tipping him, but from box number 5 with Transponder drawn outside of him, it's probably not a bad draw, but my selection on top, Big Energy on what's been a really, really tough night, boys.
I think Lisa Cockrell is just wanting to do a post-race interview, not a pre-race by the looks of it.
Looks like a stud dog.
Beautiful animals, these. Absolute superstars of the sport. Let's get our selections away before the market, George. Who are you tipping to win the shootout?
Yeah, I've gone 1, 7, 5 and 3. It's a really, really tough race. Hector Fawley's looking at that drone in the middle. He just says, bring it on.
Yeah, I don't know if you realise, but I think that's why she was trying to run away from Corey. It was the fact that the drone was at this end and he was getting so switched on by that drone and the buzzing that they wanted to go down the other end. So I'm 5, 1, 7, 3 here. This greyhound is ears pricked up. He's ready to rock and roll.
I love the fact that Mitchie's backing in that Hume Cup form with Hector Fawley. I'm 1 on top, Big Energy, and I'm rating him one of my better bets of the night. I think he's just drawn to show what we know he can do. He's got a 28.93 PB, 13 starts here, 7 wins, 2 placings. I think he'll win the shootout. 1-5-3-7. I think Hector Fawley's going to pass Alpha Zulu late, and Transponder stuck out wide. Just quickly before we throw to Dan Hibbard, the market is the favourite still Alpha Zulu just?
Yeah, just Alpha Zulu out to 280, Big Energy 310. Hector Fawley's been absolutely smoked late into $3.60, and as a result, Transponder out to $6. Interesting market, amazing market really when you think of it in the scheme of things. But yeah, Hector Fawley into 360, biggest market mover.
Well, there is clearly no standout in this shootout. Phenomenal race on paper, as Mitchie touched on. Alpha Zulu favourite, but there has been a little bit of a Mitchabeya moosing late for his tip. Hector Fawley from box number 5. It's a race with such an outstanding honour roll, an intriguing race, full of class, full of depth and full of X Factor. It is the 2023 Sports Bet Shootout. Let's head upstairs to our caller, Daniel Hibbard.
Top Gun, they're at the start. A very open race. Alpha Zulu at $2.80 is the favourite. $3.10 for Big Energy, $3.60 Hector Fawley, $5.50 for Transponder. It is a ripping contest. 2 last start Group 1 winners. And Alpha Zulu, who was the favourite in the Top Gun, ran 3rd, and Big Energy ran 5th. They've got some very fast times between them, these dogs. Big Energy 28.93, Alpha Zulu 29.15, Hector Fawley 29.25, Transponder 29.12. The spark's about to fly for the shootout. The green light is turned on and the lure's on the roll. Set to run. 4 of the best, they're set. Racing, flying out was Big Energy. Landed at a length and a half in front of Transponder to second. On the inside, Alpha Zulu, and Hector Fawley's only 3.5 off the lead as they go to the back. Big Energy roared away, went 5.02 and put 5 or 6 lengths on them. He has charged away. Transponder gets to second, brushing Alpha Zulu and Hector Fawley, but this is all over. Big Energy raced away and he bolts in the shootout. What a win. Second, Hector Fawley, he got past Transponder. Alpha Zulu ran last. The time, 28.99. What a run, Big.
I tell you what a run indeed. Big Energy. We spoke pre-race about this sort of format suiting him, but straight to the front in 5.02. He was never going to get caught when he did that.
No, he certainly makes a difference when he draws his box, so hopefully he can do it again next week.
Obviously, there's some big targets ahead with the Melbourne Cup, and you've managed to win a couple of Phoenixes as well, and hopefully all being well, wow, she's fast, heads to a Phoenix as well, but I reckon there might be a few slot holders that might have opened their eyes up and said, this dog could go all right in one of them.
Yep, I think, I'll just say yes.
Well, good luck. What a performance that was. He's broken 29 seconds for the second time, and he's a very good boy, as you said, but box number 1, is that what you want next week?
Yeah, that'll do. Yeah, that'll be nice.
That'll do, says Jackie Greeno. Big Energy wins the shootout. Back-to-back, Team Greeno goes. Wow, she's fast, won it last year. Big Energy wins it this year, and what a performance that was on a night where they're not really running the fastest of times.
Exactly right, Smithy. What a phenomenal performance. 5.02, 18.45, unparalleled speed down the back from Big Energy, and he brought the big Energy to the shootout tonight. 28.98. He's an X Factor greyhound. He won the X Factor race, and now he heads toward the Melbourne Cup. Stick around on racing.com. We're going to pull apart the shootout and see how Big Energy went from start to finish in one of the great races. The 2023 Sports Bet Shootout ran and won, and here is exactly how it played out. Big Energy with the big Energy, George. You've tipped a winner, I've tipped a winner, we're back.
I think the photographer took a photo of us hugging, so I hope that's deleted from everyone's memory. But yeah, well, look, we were really keen on him, mate, and he did a terrific job. I'm a little bit surprised at the gap job, to be honest. I know he's a very, very good dog, but he manhandled some very, very good animals there. And I don't think the track is playing overly fast.
No.
For him to still run 28.98 is incredible.
I think he can bring it home even stronger than he did tonight, which is a scary fact because he went 5.02. He went 18.45 down the back, which is there's sections that scream out a Melbourne Cup victory, and yet he has got the run home that can have him breaking 29 like he did tonight. He is the complete package. He's a beautiful dog, and he loves it here at Sandown Park.
And back-to-back shootouts for Cal and Jackie Greeno. Of course, wow, she's fast. She did it different last year, didn't she? She came from behind to win, and he just blew them away.
I honestly think that race was over when the starter let them go. As soon as he stepped, he held the inside, big energy. It was game, set, match for Jackie Greeno and Cal Greeno. Well done to the team, and well done to the owners back in WA who took the punt on sending the dog to Victoria to start with. $3.20 was the price there, and some decent exotics considering Big Energy was able to get the job done at around that $3.20 quote. Jackie said post-race in the interview with Corey they'd love an inside draw in a Melbourne Cup heat, and I couldn't agree anymore. I think that's his best draw. It brings him out, and he seems to show a lot more early speed.
Yeah, I think he was always a greyhound with ability, but he had to step up against the really good dogs, and I think his last month he's done that with poor box draws, and tonight he's shown what he's done.
Well, he looks like a genuine Melbourne Cup contender, and speaking of a person who knows how to find a Melbourne Cup contender, we rewind the clock back to 2006, Thursday the 30th of November, the Melbourne Cup worth $150,000, and this special guest joining us live on the desk didn't just get the winner, he got the Quinella. Betty's Angel first, Miss Minnie Mouse second. Paul Bartolda, welcome to you. Congrats on the win tonight.
Thank you.
Hey, you know how to find a good one. You've had a lot of fast dogs. As long as I've been involved in the sport, I've seen the Bartolo name with fast dogs time after time. How do you do it?
It's probably been pretty lucky, I'd say.
That's what they all say, but you've always bred and you've always reared, you've always put in the hard yards. And I remember greyhounds like Betty's Angel when I first got involved in the sport, Miss Minnie Mouse. You had a greyhound called Fast Indian, I think, many moons ago, who started, I think, in a breeders at the Meadows. And you've always been able to produce them, educate them well and start them at a young age, and they perform well.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. Educate them at a young age, rear them properly, and the rest is up to them, really.
Paul, I really want to talk about the dam line that you've helped create. You've had so much success with it with Betty's Angel, but now even more recently, even greyhounds that you don't own, like Rejuvenate and Postman Pat and Baby JC, they all come from a dam line from the Leprechaun line, which you have helped become what it is today. Are you proud watching the dam line almost come back to A-grade performance? It's been amazing in the last couple of years.
Yes, we just love watching our breed. Like, we watch Baby JC every time she runs. We watch Postman's Pat because his grandmother's Miss Minnie Mouse. And we follow them.
And it all started with Leprechaun Miss, was that the one?
That's right, yes.
I remember I was still working at the newspaper where you had a litter out of Head Honcho, which was just unbelievable, wasn't it?
That's right.
Jones Jr., Clearwater Boy, you had that litter really set you guys up, didn't it?
Yeah, there was Lanisha Star, which broke the track record at the Meadows.
Yeah.
There was, I can't remember them all. Royal Assassin.
Yeah, who became a stud dog. It was
Kenny, they called it a Magnificent Seven.
It's unbelievable dam line. It really is. It's been incredible, and it hasn't just been 5 years. It's been 25.
Yeah, it's probably more. I think James Jr. He was about 25. Yeah.
I feel like I've just pulled up a bar stool at a pub, and I've got two blokes here just sitting here talking about breeding greyhounds, and I love it. But as you state, George, it's been a long journey in greyhound racing for you, and you've consistently performed well. Now, you're probably being a little bit humble saying it's just good luck. I think it's more than good luck.
Oh,
though.
yeah.
You've done it time and time again.
You've got to do it properly, of course.
How do you do it properly? What is the key to rearing? What is the key to breeding? What do you look for?
To be honest, I just go to the best size at the time. And, size that are breaking track records, they've run against good dogs. I don't go to these size just because they run time, but actually done nothing in the big races because they're not used to pressure.
Yeah.
So you've got to go to pressure dogs, and then you've got to rear properly. Like, we only feed beef and bread. Last 4 years, we've turned to human meat.
Human consumption.
Just no human meat. My dogs get a Scotch fillet every morning for breakfast.
Yeah, and you can tell. Tell us a little bit about the memories of that night with Betty's Angel. From memory, she pinged the lids, didn't she?
Yep,
and gave nothing else a chance.
Yeah.
She was a champion, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was. To us, she was anyway. So, but look, I didn't even really know what happened. Like Ray handled it, and I handled Miss Mint, and I said to Ray, it's surreal.
Yeah.
I just said to Ray, did we win that? He said, yeah.
Win it? Oh, goodness. I think it was daylight third in that race.
Yeah, first and second's an extraordinary result. Can you believe, though, what was that, 2006, so nearly 20 years ago, you look at the way the sport's going right now and the prize money available for greyhounds. To think, like the Phoenix, for example, $1 million to the winner, do you sit there and just find that so hard to believe?
It is, because we got 170,000 for running second.
First and second.
First and second, yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
So, but then the next leader was Talks Cheap, which made the Melbourne Cup the following year. So, yeah, that was a good leader too.
And incredibly, if you see, there was a stage there where if you've seen a Vic Breeders Maiden series, I don't know how many trophies he would have at home.
I think I got 11.
11.
City ones. Yes.
I've got a greyhound now that's soon to start. We've given a few away on this show tonight, but I'm setting him up for the Hillsville Vic Breeders.
Yep.
Hopefully Bartolo style.
Well, if he's there, watch out.
Oh, no, stay away.
No, I don't go
Stay away.
far. My GPS don't go that far.
You've done an amazing job over the years. You won with Storm Stroller tonight. You must be thrilled. We heard in the pre-race interview that you suggested tonight was a run to drop back in class.
That's right.
It didn't quite work that way.
No, he's a bread and butter dog. And I just said before to die, now we've got to run about 4 routes.
And he goes on now to a Melbourne Cup heat. Do you dare to dream that maybe he could do what Betty's Angel and Miss Minnie Mouse did for you?
No, I don't think he could. No, because he's an early race dog. He plays up. Look, if he didn't play up in the kennels, he would be a group dog. But he's shocking in the kennels. So, but I think Make No Promise and Miss Magic Muffin have got a chance if we draw inside.
Her run last week was huge, wasn't it? She just got beat by Archie Bale, but they ran quicker than what they did in the Top Gun.
That's right. So she ran 74 herself, 29.74, but she needs it. I don't know why all our dogs need the inside. So,
well, they're all going along beautifully, mate. 3-pronged attack coming into the Melbourne Cup heats next week, and
next week
you might get the trifecta in a couple of weeks' time. So, good luck with everything moving forward.
Thank you, and I hope we got Piper. So I hope Piper.
In the Bold Trees.
Bold Trees. So
yeah, absolutely.
She trialled brilliant yesterday. So.
Well, there you go. There's some more inside info for us.
Magic touch.
Trifecta in the Melbourne Cup, winner of the Bold Trees. Good on you, Paul.
Wish. Thank you.
There he is, Paul Bartolo, off a fresh, nice little win tonight with Storm Stroller. Well, let's rewind the clock back about 15 minutes or so and have a look at this replay again of the shootout. And let's talk through it, Georgie. Jump beautifully, Big Energy. I said as soon as the lid's open, they will not run him down. I think Hector Fawley was the biggest of the beaten brigade.
Oh, he was, because he had he didn't have an unimpeded run, did he? He got checked a few times, and Transponder was often gone for second. But have a look at this margin. This is just incredible, and nearly broke his PB. And I think if the night was just a little bit better, he probably would have.
Definitely not a track conducive to quick times. We're getting hassled here by two very, very impressive greyhound racing people. Neil Brown from the Neil Brown Museum. We almost could have had a quick chat to Neilo. I don't know if we can slide back here, and no, we might have a chat to Neilo another time. But he is the encyclopedia of greyhound racing. I did say that a moment ago, but Adrian Scott, he did say Big Energy, and that's why he's giving us a bit of grief, ruining our broadcast. But he's pretty pumped up about this dog heading toward the Melbourne Cup.
As I said, I just hope that photo is deleted of us hugging, mate, because that
a bit of love, George.
It wasn't great. Well, we've been doing it tough because it's been one of those nights, hasn't it, Mitch?
It has. I'm actually just dragging up the market now for the Melbourne Cup. Big Energy's $15 into 8.
To be honest, I'm going to play devil's advocate right now to Big Energy, right? X Factor dog doesn't always go 5.02, definitely doesn't always go 18.45. So, yes, tonight he had box 1. Yes, he dominated in a 4-dog field that wasn't filled with explosive early speed. The Postman Pats, the Starline Express. I feel like in a Melbourne Cup heat it could be different for him, and therefore I don't think he warrants such a dramatic market move all in for the Melbourne Cup based on that run tonight. It's a little bit of false form.
The only thing I'll say about that, though, is I thought he was really good in the Cranbourne Cup off a wide.
He was.
Yeah. And he sort of got skittled a little bit on that first corner because... So I just think he's matured now. He's probably at the perfect age to kick on. So,
well, to be honest, George, I don't know why I'm playing devil's advocate because I gambled responsibly and I was very, very confident. I did say to the punters, one of my better bets of the night, Big Energy. So nice to see him get home. This is almost the shootout for the stayers. Only 5 in it, the next one, Mitchie. Take it away with the market for race 10.
I want to mention one thing after this as well, Jimmy. So let's get to this market, and then I've got a talking point. Pearly Tears is your favourite. $1.65, slightly out the gate to $1.80. Big Susie was a good run here last week. 340 into 320. Rhino Bale, can he run a strong 700 metres? Some might think so. 650 into $6. Stellar Girl is the overs in the race for me. $9.50 into $8 into $7.50 as we speak. And Chance Take It. I thought it was a really good run at sale last time out. Can it go here around Sandown? $21 into 20. And the popular same race multi. Well, they might rename this the JVDM multi. I know how much he loves it, but see what bets are trending with punters and get on board with ease. Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call the 1-800 number on screen or visit the Gambling Help Online website.
You do worry me a little bit, Mitchie, when you say you've got a talking point that you want to bring up that's not on the rundown, but what is your talking point?
Big Energy.
Yep.
Phoenix. Opinion. I want your opinions.
Well, if you check the power rankings for the Phoenix that I do on the Green Light On Racing and Sport podcast with the Meadows, he's in my power rankings.
Right. Where does he go to now? Because
he'll be locked away by the end of the week.
By the end of the week. There we go. Hello.
So, yep.
Probably because of that 29.60 PB as well. But, yeah, again, box draws are going to play a part and... He's just shaping up that Phoenix, isn't it?
The real plus for the Phoenix is when they get drawn out for the box draw, they get to select where they want to be. So if he gets drawn out in the first 5, he draws inside 5 for mine. If maybe a transponder ends up getting a run into Phoenix, he's going to want out wide. So I feel that's the big plus with him. You know, if he draws inside, he's going to be really, really hard to beat.
Yeah. If he draws inside Postman Pat?
Postman Pat won't go around him. So... Yeah, I think if he draws 1 and Pat 2, Big Energy just absolutely brains
Start
him.
favourite.
Yep, would start favourite. But I'd be keen on Big Energy going into the Phoenix, and I reckon there's a few that might want to take it.
Well, here we go. Speed map now. Selecting Stellar Girl to lead. I probably disagree and think Pearly Tears might just go straight to the front here. We're going to get up a replay, though, of Big Susie, who is elevating through the classes very, very quickly. For Jimmy Shaw, another Kiwi who's taken on full-time training in Australia and doing it well.
Yeah, for Jim Bob. And look, I'll tell you what, this run here, her runs at Shepparton were really good, but her run here was behind a greyhound called Icy Eyes, Mitch, who raced at the Meadows yesterday and ran 42.34. So the form line reads really well around that Queenslander, who'll be prominent in next week's Bold Trees, obviously, but she's just gone from strength to strength, Big Susie, hasn't she, James?
She has, progressive type, and as you say, that form with Icy Eyes, very, very good indeed. Let's get to Corey Smith to catch up with a few of the trainers in a small field.
I'm here with Clint Capuano with Stellar Girl from box number 2. Clint, this is a girl that's strong as the day is long, but we probably haven't seen the best of her yet.
No, she seems to get too far back in these 700s and winds up towards the end, but always too late. So,
drawn down near the inside, is that preferable for her, or do you think you'd rather her drawn off the track?
Yeah, she likes box 8, just likes going around dogs, but she's got a mind of her own, so yeah, if she gets a run, she might be there.
Good luck with Stellar Girl. I might try and grab Peter Riley. Pete, this girl, she just seems to be absolutely on the up. She's from arguably the best staying dam line that there is. Can she go straight to the front, or do you think she'll have to come from off the speed?
I'm hoping that she jumps and gives them something to chase.
Obviously, as I touched on with the dam line, there's plenty of dogs that have had some pretty special performances for you and Team Britain here. Can she be up to that sort of level, or is she still got a little bit to find?
Oh, she's got a little bit to find, but she's one of these ones. She's going to make plenty of finals, and she's got the ability, she'll sneak one every now and again.
Beautiful. Good luck to Peter Riley. I might try and catch up to James Shaw as well with Big Susie if I can. James, I know you're a keen form judge. She went 41.85 odd last start. Can she repeat that and get the job done?
I think she'd need to get on the bunny a bit sooner to be able to repeat that time after last week.
Obviously, a pretty tough race. There's some good calibre 700 metre dogs in this one. Box number 7, is that suitable, or would you prefer her drawn down into their inside?
I think you always prefer the inside, yeah.
All right, well, good luck to James Shaw. Good luck to all the connections in this race. The only one that's from a different distance tonight, the 700 metres, race number 10. Line on top selection, Pearly Tears, is very, very hard to go past. Her whole damn line have been phenomenal at Sandown Park over the years, and I think she's another special one.
Well, there you go, Corey Smith. I don't think he's tipped a winner tonight, but he keeps giving his late mail, and I trust in Corey Smith. Who did he tip in the shootout? Can you boys remember? I probably should have jotted that one down.
Alpha Zulu, I think, wasn't he?
He might have been. I'm probably being a little bit harsh to him. I'm sure he'll let us know if I have been a little bit harsh. But these runners about to head box bound for the 7:15-metre race. Let's get our tips away nice and early because I'm in a little bit of form. George has hit form and Mitchy's battling over there. So take it away, Mitchy. You go first, mate. Let's change the order.
I'm with 2 Stellar Girl on top. I think, 2, 7, 4 and 8 are my numbers. Big Susie was a big run last time out, but I think Stellar Girl is the beneficiary of a small field here. I think she can run time. Probably goes a little bit better at the Meadows than Sandown, but if Pearly Tears doesn't lead, I think Stellar Girl gets a nice run to that first turn.
Yeah, my numbers are 4, 7, 8 and 5. I think that's the key to Pearly Tears. When she did lead here, she's run 41.55 and 41.75, which, as you know, guys, is good enough time to win here. Big Susie, I think her form line reads beautifully around Icy Eyes, who's a greyhound who would be one of the leading contenders for the Bold Trees. And then I've gone 8 and 5, so 4, 7, 8, 5.
Yeah, look, I'm in agreement with you, George. I think Pearly Tears, she does her best racing when she can find a soft lead. I think she finds that soft lead here. I think she'll maintain the inside running, cross Stellar Girl early. I do rate Stellar Girl as a massive overs chance. I think the price is a little bit maybe elevated than what it should be, so I'm happy to put her in for second. Big Susie's just a greyhound racing really, really consistently, and Rhino Bale's going to put himself into the race mid-race. 4, 2, 7, 8 my numbers. Mitchy, market-wise, Pearly Tears, we expect she'll be short, but has there been any support there?
No, on the drift out to $1.80, Jim, from that $1.65 quote. Big Susie, $3.40 out to $3.50. Rhino Bale, $6 out to $7.50. Stellar Girl, $7.50 out to $8.50, and Chance Take It, 20 out to 21. It's an interesting market. Nothing's really been supported and nothing's been backed off the map. So Stellar Girl still for me the overs. Pearly Tears getting out to a backable price considering form.
Well, let's say you like Pearly Tears. Myself and George do. $1.80. Is that a doable price, or is she a little bit too short?
Yeah, she's probably a little bit short, but I mean, I think it's based on the fact that her PB is quicker than anyone else's. But as I said, there's certainly a watch on Big Susie and what she's going to do in the next 3 to 6 months. I think she's going places.
Small field, then. How do we make $1 on the race if we're not just backing one of them, one out? Mitchy, you like Stellar Girl. We like Pearly Tears. Do we base it maybe around a Quinella and then maybe throw in a Big Susie to run third?
247 boxed exacta, that'll do me.
247 boxed exacta. I reckon we go the Quinella. 2 and 4, 2 and 4. And then we can throw in a little trifecta added with the 7 in for third placing. That's all right, isn't it?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Hugging after the race again, George? Is that the plan?
I think so. Yeah, we've got the shootout trophy in front of us again.
Just starting to sense that we might have a Greeno representative here after a very, very impressive win in the shootout, with Big Energy making their way over for a little bit of a post-match interview after a phenomenal performance. And what a time to perform at the peak of their powers, hey lads. Phenomenal performance, but to do it a week before the Melbourne Cup heats, I think it just shows the class of the Greeno operation.
Absolutely. It gives you some confidence going in, doesn't it?
Sure does. These runners at the start now for race number 10, not too far away. Third last race tonight. Don't forget, the Dream Chasers Festival rolls on next week for heats of the Melbourne Cup. Will be on racing.com again next week, again the following week for the Melbourne Cup, and that all culminates with the Phoenix in the middle part of December over at the Meadows. So a massive month or so ahead for greyhound racing. Let's get to Daniel Hibbert for the call of race 10 for the stayers.
This is the mix 4 and 5 over the 7:15. Field of 5, but an intriguing contest. Pearly Tears is the odds-on favourite at 185. Getting set. Second elect is Big Susie at $3.10. $6 Rhino Bale. Set to run. Race 10. Racing, beginning well was Stellar Girl initially. Pearly Tears is out after the lead though, and the favourite rolls away by about 3 lengths on Stellar Girl, and on the outside Rhino Bale. Next was Big Susie very deep, and last was Chance Take It. The favourite leads by 5 with a circuit to go. Pearly Tears clear on Rhino Bale. Up to third was Stellar Girl. On its back was Big Susie. 2 lengths away was Chance Take It. Down the back, Pearly Tears. The margin's been abbreviated to about 3.5, but it still travels well. well. Rhino Bale trying hard. Stella Girl in third. Big Susie fourth. Leader coming back to them, but it's still Pearly Tears. 2.5 lengths in front, holding on, and Pearly Tears will make all by 2.5 over Rhino Bale, Stella Girl, and Big Susie. They found that order pretty much a lap to go, and that's the way they finished. Chance Take It was at the rear. 41 and 92 is the run.
All right, Peter Riley, we said about pre-race how this damn line just keeps winning races at Sandown Park, and she's managed to do it as well.
Oh, absolutely. She got a good clean start, and then just her natural ability took her all the way.
Would it be fair to say that she'll be back next week?
Oh, absolutely.
Just before I let you go as well, another greyhound from this line, Like Wildfire. How's he pulled up from the Top Gun? Will we see him next week?
It's 50-50 at this stage. He copped a pretty bad tear in his in a foot, so hopefully, but he'll be ended and we'll hopefully get him there.
All right, fingers crossed. Good luck and well done. Pearly Tears gets the job done in the staying feature for the night, and a very, very good performance. I'll tell you what, you can't go wrong backing the Tears Dam line over 700 metres at Sandown.
I thought we were going beautifully at this point, lads, as Corey Smith crosses back on racing.com. I thought we were home with Pearly Tears, but I thought Stella Girl was going to run second. I shook your hand, Georgie. I shook Mitchie's hand. I said, I reckon we've got the Quinella.
Oh, the early crow for the Moz.
Rhino Bale was good in second.
He was.
He was gutsy, but look, we tipped the winner at least, mate. When she jumps on the bunny, she's a different grade.
Well, I reckon, no disrespect to her running 41.92, but I think when you look at that, she is a genuine 41.50-60 dog. So what does that mean for Big Energy?
It just keeps getting better that time, doesn't it?
Phenomenal performance from Big Energy in the shootout. Let's throw to a break. I can sense a greeno not too far away after claiming the 2023 shootout. Well, there we go, Pearly Tears, as we welcome you back, saluting in race number 10 here on the Dream Chasers night number 2. And I'll tell you what, the tails are up a little bit here on track as well. Myself and George, I think, going back to back.
We're warming up late. We copped it a little bit early with some real roughies, but no, when she jumped in front, she was going to be tough to beat.
$1.80, $1.40 for the winner, $2.60 for Rhino Bale, no third Stella Girl. The Quinella got you back 5, Exacta 8.40, Trifecta 23, first 4.34, and the running double at $6.20. We were, fair to say, very, very cold to start the night. So when we say things are warming up, they're only at about 15 degrees, but they are heading in the right direction. But a trainer who is definitely heading in the right direction, and he's a lot warmer than 15 degrees. Cal Greeno, on the back of winning back-to-back shootouts, if you don't mind, with Big Energy, has joined the panel. Well done, Cal. Another big race win, and what a way to do it.
Yeah, thanks, James. Took full advantage of the good box and got a clear run and away went.
I reckon a little bit more than that, George. I know the box helped, but to go 1840s on a track that I don't think is conducive to quick times, it's a little bit cold out here tonight. Scary performance. That good.
Yeah, look, he's generally his first section is a little bit slower than that, so the fact that he's run his best first section is really good. We know he can run a back split. Most of the time he's sort of trying to get through a field, so yeah, it was nice to see him get clear air.
Cal, has the riding been on the wall with him? Because I think there's been a couple of runs where there have been eye-catching. The Adelaide Cup, I thought the head-on in the Cranbourne Cup showed that he just got turned sideways when he began okay from a wide draw. Could you just feel that there was a run like that in him?
Yeah, absolutely, George. Yeah, probably unlucky in both races and probably lost more than the margin that he lost by. So, yeah, look, it's just dog racing's a bit funny, as you know, and you get a clear run and everything's great. You don't get a clear run. I mean, his box draws being drawn on the outside of transponders has been his nightmare, and tonight was a different story. He's drawn on the inside of him.
I'm just absolutely thrilled, Cal, because before we jumped on air, you said off air that you listened to my podcast and you agreed that I thought Big Energy was the run of the Top Gun, even though he ran 5th. He had no luck at all, and then he goes to box number 1 and he shows what he can do.
Absolutely, James. You're a great judge, man.
It's exactly what I was after, Cal, but if only I could train them like you do, mate. But back-to-back, that must be special as well in a race like the Shootout, which is, I think, fair to say, one of the hardest races to win because you need a certain greyhound.
Yeah, absolutely. Always watch the Shootout. Every year I've watched it and been a very great race. So, yeah, the fact is he's got that clear air and never got touched. So he's not a big dog and he can't take a big push and shove. He's only 29 kilos. So that's probably why when he gets bumped sometimes it looks worse than it does. But, you know, he's got clear air and off he's gone. So
Kelly's always been a fast greyhound, there's no doubt about that. And I said on radio a few times that I think earlier in his career, even though he was fast, he might have struggled against the real good greyhounds. Has he matured now into a dog where you can go in to a series like the Melbourne Cup with a bit of confidence?
I think so. I think he's matured with racing and got better and learned how to race. In Perth, he'd only had a handful of starts and got knocked around a couple of times there as well. So the fact is he's learning on the job, and I think when he went to Adelaide, he really learnt a lot and grew up a fair bit, and I find that with quite a few dogs. They mature after a trip away, and he had 4 weeks in a row. So he got used to all that and become a better dog.
A lot of trainers do say that a trip interstate, whether it be successful or not, can really mature a greyhound. And like you say, he's come back and he just looks like he's more of a complete package. And I'm tipping you'd be pretty content with the fact the Melbourne Cup is here at Sandown Park because he just seems to love it here. He goes even better here than anywhere.
Yeah, look, he does like the place, and I've done most of the education here early with him, so he's seen the track back to front, and he knows every inch of the ground. So, you know, he's learnt along the way, and he's probably adapted really well.
He's probably played second fiddle to another greyhound, which everyone knows, and wow, she's fast. I suppose everyone wants to hear an update. How is she? How did she pull up after the Top Gun?
Yeah, she pulled up a little bit sore here and there. Had to do a little bit of work on her. I gave her a trial here yesterday. I don't think the track was anywhere near as quick as it is tonight. And she ran 18.6 up the back, 18.60. So
wow.
she's not far off.
Yeah.
She's
not
pretty
far
close.
off. She's back because there were some rumours going around, and I've been told they were only just rumours. Can you clear that up? That wow, she's fast is retired. Definitely not true.
No, look, whoever made up those rumours, I've got no idea who you are, but you didn't talk to me.
No, well, we didn't hear from you, but I can say I didn't start the rumours, but I did touch on those rumours. But you must be pretty thrilled with not only wow, she's fast, having that time off, coming back, and as you say, trialling well, prepping for a Melbourne Cup. And I said to George a moment ago, to get Big Energy doing what he did tonight, a week before the Melbourne Cup heats, ultimate timing.
Yeah, look, I think greyhound racing's a bit like that. You've got to try and time your runs for the big races and have them peaking. And I go through all the rigmarole of getting bloods done and make sure everything's done perfectly. So the dog hasn't got any more improvement. If it has, then I'm not doing my job properly.
Well, you're doing it beautifully. If we have to pick one now who can go all of the way in the Melbourne Cup between Wow She's Fast and Big Energy, I know that would be a tough question to answer, but the punters out there on racing.com who are tuning in, who might want to have an all-in play, who would you push them down the path of?
I would never speak badly about Wow She's Fast because...
Been good to you.
but gee, she'd really struggle to beat him at the moment, I think. Yeah. I think she's probably in about 29.10 form, so he's gone just under 29 tonight. So I don't think there's that much between them, but hopefully she finds a little bit more.
Well, you've been involved in greyhound racing for a long time. Superstar footballer Jackie Greeno once told me as well, but we won't touch on that now. But what I do want to touch on is that time Big Energy ran tonight, 28.98. Now, I mentioned a moment ago the track not conducive to quick times. He gets, let's say, a 30-degree day that develops into a nice warm night. On his run tonight and what you've seen him do at home, what can he run, Big Energy, if he gets it right?
Look, it's anyone's guess. I'm not going to, firstly, you need a red box and a clear run again. I don't know if that'll happen. So, I don't like to speculate and get carried away. It's just a bit hard to work out.
Well, Cal, congratulations, mate. Back-to-back shootouts, phenomenal performance. And I guess we have to thank him as well because we haven't really had a winner all night and we were all cheering for Big Energy.
Getting lynched out there.
That's great. I see the lynch mob out there too. So
they were out there, and I think the production team might have been in more trouble because they were going to sack us, I think, for no winners. But congrats, wonderful performance, and he's going to play a big part in the Melbourne Cup. So good luck.
Thanks very much.
Well, there we go. Cal Greeno on the back of absolutely smashing them in the shootout. Mitchie Abay is taking a look now at the Warragul to Sandown final with the market. 6 minutes away, Mitchie. How's Play the Victim looking price-wise? Because Scotty Brandon gave him a decent push.
Yeah, Scotty Brandon did give him a good push, and your market at the moment, Flying Pie is your favourite. 280 out to 310, slightly on the drift, top speed gear. Try spinning that one out, Jim. $5 into $4.50, back out to $5. Iron Atlas, $4.40 out to $5. Play the Victim, here it is, $6. And Fur Makina Crusader, $7.50 out to $8. Shine on Lily, $10 into $9. El Crimpador, $9 out to $10. And Sir Nathan, if you like him, $21 out to $26. But Flying Pie is your favourite. probably all the rage, to be honest, and your likely leader in the race. Chances are you are about to lose. For free and confidential support, call the number on screen or visit the Gambling Help online website.
Oh, beautifully done, Mitchell, as always, in there from the Neil Brown Museum. And I tell you what, I just having a bit of a look through the museum on the ad breaks, and it's phenomenal here at Sandown Park. Something that if you're a greyhound racing fan, I think you need to come and have a look at.
I've spotted a photo of probably one of my favourite greyhounds when I first was getting into it, and that's Flying Amy, who was a champion from Queensland just to my left here. So, yeah, I'd suggest that anyone that comes to Sandown have a look through this marvellous little museum.
How nice is it too to be broadcasting on the steps, the entrance to the Neil Brown Museum as we count down to the Melbourne Cup, just a fortnight away. But let's take a look now at the speed map for this upcoming race. And interesting because we've got the Warrigal to Sandown form, so they've all come through heats down at Warrigal over the 460 metres. And the Sportsbet speed map based on average kilometre per hour speed to the first mark has the red. Here comes Blue leading.
Yeah, it's an interesting little speed map here. Even greyhounds drawn out wide. The greyhound in the 8 can show a little bit of speed, but we're going to concentrate on the greyhound in box 4, Flying Pie, and we've got a video of it winning at Sandown off box 5 here. Jumped really nicely, looking towards the fence, James, but I liked its speed here. And there's one thing I just wanted to point out because I just think it's a bit of a drop in class for it. It's raced against, more recently, Exalted, Big Energy, 7 lengths behind Big Energy, got beaten by Mapunga Ollie, then raced against Morton and Akina Crusader. So yeah. I think the form line reads well around Flying Pie.
It is a good form line. I did mention the red was Here Comes Blue, but I was elevating to the last race because I'm getting a little bit cold and I was ready to wrap things up, Georgie. But the red is Akina Crusader for the Rowley Kennel. And I think we've got Corey Smith just about ready to go. Not just yet, but he's going to have Akina Crusader's connection. So currently at $7.50, drawn nicely. We spoke to the Brandon Kennel just a moment ago. Scotty Brandon here on the coverage tonight. Mitchie Abaya back with us. Drawn box number 3. I've got a funny feeling he's going to run a really big race. I think he's going to be up on speed, really testing Flying Pie through that first corner. And on that replay you just showed, George, Flying Pie can sort of use a little bit of the track through that first corner, which could give Play the Victim room.
Yeah, I agree. Flying Pie doesn't crash down towards the inside. It'll run middle of the track. So Play the Victim can get a run at them. It's amazing how many times you have a chat to someone pre-race, they come out and win on the night. It happens all the time. But really even market. I'm with Flying Pie. I just think I want to be on the greyhound that's going to be out in front and leading. And is Akina Crusader really speed map to lead?
There's been a couple that have been a little bit sus, but Georgie's bringing up the form, consistently beginning solid. But,
but I don't know if it's...
No. Let's get down to Corey, who has got Akina Crusader's handler in just a moment. Here he is, Smithy. Can the red lead? That's what the speed map's saying.
Well, how about I ask that to Sarah, who's handling Akina Crusader. The team obviously got a winner earlier on in the night, race number 1. You've got box 1 here now in race number 11. Do you think you can lead?
Hopefully. We'll see how it goes. If he starts well, he should do okay.
On the way here, did you think this boy would be the better bet, or do you think Akina Jack earlier on was the preferred one?
Jack's definitely the preferred one, but Barney goes all right when he wants to.
All right, Barney goes all right when he wants to. I like to hear that as well. I might see who I can grab. I might grab Jeff Collins. Jeff comes in with the reserve rug. You're no stranger to winning a few big races here at Sandown. On a nice night like tonight, it'd be good to get another winner.
It's been a while though, so just hope for the best, get a little bit of luck, get a run. So he's got to begin though if he's going to do any good. So, yeah.
Drawn out wide, is that the secret to it? He's just got to begin and hopefully get across?
He hasn't had a lot of starts, so still working himself out a bit. I think he used to run wide early, now he's starting to rail a bit, so we'll find a bit more tonight, So.
All right, well, we'll figure it out around the 2 turns at Sandown tonight. This, of course, the Warrigal to Sandown final here in race number 11. I might try and grab Graham Jost just quickly. Graham, Shine on Lily, box number 6. Is that going to be a tough ask?
Yeah, it is going to be a tough ask, but if she can get a bit of luck early, yeah, she'll go pretty well.
So you say she needs a little bit of luck early. How does that play out? Can she lead or is she going to lob top 3? Is that the sort of recipe that you need to be winning this race?
Yeah, definitely need to lob in the top 3 and have a clear run going in the first corner. And, yeah, very, very winnable race.
All right, well, good luck in the Warragul to Sandown. This is obviously a tougher race because the form lines are very different. They're coming from Warragul on what's been a tough night. I'm going to be with Flying Pie, the 4 for Brad Sands. I reckon he'll be better suited to the 2 turns here at Sandown rather than the horseshoe track at Warragul that they raced at to qualify for this race.
Beautifully done, Corey. Catching up with Connections live on track ahead of race number 11 on the program. Selections here, I'm going for Flying Pie on top. I agree with everybody just about on the panel who think he can just about find the front and be hard to beat. 4-1-3-9, my numbers here, George.
Yeah, my numbers are 4-8-7-5. I just think it's a little bit of a drop in class for him. He's got nice form here. How about the reserve, Mitch? It's run 25.41 at Geelong.
Flying.
If you don't mind. So there might be a little bit of value in the reserve.
Yep.
That's a very fast
He's a very fast dog, Mitchie.
And I'm with you with Flying Pie, so it is a 3-way party pup, 4, 8, 6 and 1, my numbers.
You make a good point about that greyhound. As we head to Mitchie just quickly for the market, Flying Pie, is he still the favourite in this race?
He is still favourite, $3.10 as we speak. Iron Atlas, 420 out to 440. Top Speed, Gear 550. Play the Victim, 650. Akina Crusader, 750. Shine on Lily, 10s. El Crimpidor, $13. And Sir Nathan, $27. Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call 1-800-858-858 or visit the Gambling Help online website.
You made a very good point, George, just a moment ago about that greyhound Iron Atlas. I think he beat Chief Dribble on that occasion, who has immense ability when he gets it right.
Yeah, it's a fantastic. He's probably the fastest greyhound in it with a bit of luck.
Gets a run, 9 into box 7. They're moving in. Let's get to Daniel Hibbert for the call of the Warragul to Sandown final.
Getting set. Race number 11 on the card. The Warragul to Sandown Grade 5 final. Favourite, Where's the Blue? And that is Flying Pie. Set to go. Green light. Lure rolls. They're set. Racing. Flying Pie jumped very well. He's going to push forward here to find the front over Akina Crusader, who's trying to keep it out. And they're battling hard in that first turn. Up to third, Play the Victim. Hat 4 steep there was Top Speed Gear. Next in the field was Sir Nathan. Well back in the field was Shine on Lily, Iron Atlas, and long last El Crimpidor. They're bunching up front. Akina Crusader got the inside run. Flying Pie's after it. They get clear. Flying Pie after it. Akina Crusader. Oh, no. Akina Crusader, I think, just held on to beat Flying Pie. Third across the line was even closer between Top Speed Gear and Sir Nathan. There's nothing in that one. Next in was Play the Victim from Shine on Lily, El Crimpidor and Iron Atlas. It's 29.81.
Well, Eddie Leishout says that you said before the race that he couldn't get beat. I reckon he was tailing a little furphy there, but it is nice to get a nice double on a night like that.
Yeah, it's lovely. We're really, really happy. Nan and Pa will be stoked at home. They'll probably be screaming or either crying at the camera, so it'll be good.
Well, say something to them. If they're sitting there watching the wonderfulracing.com coverage tonight, is there something you'd like to say to them?
Woohoo!
There we go, a nice amount of pride with the Akina Crusader, Akina Jack double. Well done, Sarah. It's awesome to see you guys win a double on a night like tonight.
Well, there he is, Corey Smith, and I'm starting to read into this a little bit. That the people that he is interviewing prior to the race seem to be winning the races, boys. Double for the Akinas. They've had a good night tonight.
It's a nice night to get a double on, and geez, that was a ding-dong battle up the home straight. I thought Flying Pie was going to do enough in that last 50, but he just couldn't get there.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. He kept charging home, but fancy rocking up here tonight with 2 dogs and walking away with 2 winners. That's a fair old night of racing, and at a nice price too. Another double-figure winner. It is being it's been a hard night.
Oh, it's a night. I think you just have to concede defeat, go home and start again and gamble responsibly, of course. Well done to Philip Rowley, the Rowleys from Denison in Gippsland, Victoria, with a training double tonight. 2 runners, as Mitchie said, for 2 winners. 1 to go here on the racing.com coverage. Stick around for the lucky last due at 10:22. We enter the home straight, passing the clock tower, the whip fully unwinding here at Flemington as we count down to the winning post on a tricky night at Sandown Park, I think it's fair to say, for the punters. Another double-figure price winner, if you don't mind. Double for Philip Rowley, and it was Akina Crusader this time winning at $10.30. Downing Flying Pie, Top Speed Gear, a bit of an eye-catcher, third. And fourth went to number 2. That Quinella was $11.50. The Exacta got you back 33. Trifecta 153. You know it's been a rough night for punters when nearly every first four has paid in excess of $1,000. There was another one, lads, at around the $1,200 for the first four. So not a friendly night for those having a punt.
No, not really. Friendly night for the Akina Greyhounds and Phil Rowley, who's done a terrific job. He just lost a little bit of momentum Flying Pie down the back, didn't he? And it cost him the race. He nearly got there, but well done to the red.
Well done to the Rowleys, as we said, training double. Let's head out to Kelsey Brown from Sportsbet, who is on track, catching up with a bit of the colour here at Sandown Park tonight.
Yes, so I'm here with some newbies to Sandown Park, new to the Greyhounds as well. I'm here with Nick, David and Oscar. David, you're a bit of a veteran though. I want to hear who you're on for the next race.
I see really good value for money in Xylus Bale. It's going around about 50 to 1 from box 7. Yeah, I just think it's over the odds. It could swoop over the top of them.
You might lose your job, Mitchie. Nick, you are a big Greyhound fan. No, you're not. No, you're not. But I want to ask, who did you get on in the Melbourne Cup last year?
Oh, yeah, there's a little bit of story to it. Last year, we were up in Byron Bay for schoolies, me and Oscar, and we got on Yachi Bale. And we were pretty happy. It cashed a pretty good price, and winner's piss, really.
Yeah, you've heard it here first. And Oscar, it's your first time here. You actually stalked the exit here. I want to see a photo that you've got. You caught up with Cal Greeno. Huge fan. How have you enjoyed your first night here?
Oh, it's been great tonight. Yeah, we just came down. We saw Yachi Bales racing, so we thought we'd get down and give it a look, and it's just been great. Yeah.
You've heard it here first. Yachi Bales, biggest fans. I think they're looking to support him next week in the heats.
Beautifully done, as always. And how about the bloke in the middle? I reckon he's fresh off 19 holes at Pebble Beach, I reckon.
18? Adam Sandler.
He seemed like a pretty keen golfer. He had the ping hat on and he was ready to go. Let's turn our attention to the last.
I'm looking for a new job. I might have to call old mate over there to come and read the odds out here.
They knew what they were doing, didn't they? Hey, let's get to race number 12, the last race on a big night of greyhound racing here at Sandown Park. We'll start with the market. Here comes Blue, a bit of a drifter, box 1 here, Mitch.
Yeah, this is a very open market. Here comes Blue, is the drifter, $2.30 out to $3.60. Ike Bale been in some really good form, $3.20 out to $3.60. Royal Gypsy has got some early toes, $6 into $4.80. Keisha, well drawn out wide, $5.50 into $4.80. Here comes Artie, a relative, I think, of Here Comes Blue at 13s into $6.50. So been absolutely belted. Did touch as low as $5.50. My on top selection here, the other Des Doubt runner, Tiger Geordie, 14 out to 15. I'm going rough. It's been a rough night all night. Zylan Bale, old mate out in the middles, the golfers selection, $21 out to $41, and Big Bravehearts at 71s. Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call the 1-800 number on screen or visit the Gambling Help online website.
The old golfer bloke out there, eh, Georgie?
Oh, I forgot his name, mate.
I know, he does look like a guy. He's ready to go. He's ready to go 18. Night golf.
That's it. This is the 19th hole, isn't it? You could go. What a beautiful way to spend a day, though. Like Saturday afternoon, have a couple of punts on the horses, have racing.com, the app up.
Yep.
Enjoy that through the day. Hit 18 holes of golf, snag a couple of birdies, maybe an eagle, and then make this the 19th hole on a Saturday night. We're here for the next few weeks.
Yes, we are.
Not if you're hitting them well, Mitchie.
No,
but
right.
We're here next week, Melbourne Cup heats. Arguably the greatest night of greyhound racing for the year. There'll be Bold Trees heats as well. So huge night of greyhound racing. I can't push hard enough for the viewers on racing.com to say, come out and enjoy one of the great nights of greyhound racing next week. Following week, the Melbourne Cup. If you're not here, I'm not too sure what you're doing. You have to get here for the Melbourne Cup. And then we sort of disappear for a couple of weeks before heading to the Phoenix, which is on the 16th this year of December. So it's just it's a massive carnival. I love the Dream Chasers Festival now because it sort of pulled everything together. The Silver Chief now is on Phoenix night as well, and that builds the support card for that. So for a 6-week block of racing, it is just enormous. So much class.
What a support card, the Silver Chief. A race like the Silver Chief. Incredible. If you're not here, if you're here for the dogs, absolutely, because there's champions next week. But the prizes, Mitch, one guy's won a trip to America to watch the NBA, and then the lady today...
she has to put herself watching through Hawthorn at in a box at Marvel.
So I'm not going to mention the Bombers supporter here. Mate, and she's...
You know what you'd rather,
Oh, absolutely. Look,
I had to give you that one.
I know. Look, winning a whole box, a corporate box, it's a great experience at the footy.
And
It's
there's
fantastic.
plenty of ripping prizes too. That's the Chase Your Dream competition here, which does run for the next 3 nights as well. So make sure you get right around that. Speed map time for the last. Something that's a little bit more imminent is finding a winner in the last race. Speed map could help us. Not sure it has helped us tonight, but I agree with this one. I reckon Royal Gypsy is a really big chance of spearing the leads crossing, leading from box 6 and running a bit of a race. Is that the way you see it, George?
Yeah, I look at, and there's a lot of speed in 1 and 2 as well, so she's going to have to navigate through that. But you're right, a couple of her runs recently have been very good. She went 5:02 last start and got tired behind a very good greyhound in Mortified. So this is a bit of a drop in class. But the replay we're going to watch is of Here Comes Blue, greyhound that comes from a very good litter. We've already seen a winner out of it today out of Brugalino. This is him out of box 6, just speared to the front impressively. This was his first start at Sandown Park. He went 5:13, 29.62 overall. It was on the back of breaking 30 seconds at the Meadows, which, guys, is a really good run for a young pup. Can he do it again? I think he can off the inside, Mitch, but Tiger Geordie might make it interesting for him.
Yeah, I think Tiger Geordie can put a bit of pepper on early and make it a contest. So I think the price of Tiger Geordie is overs, but Here Comes Blue is a definite pup on the up. 6 starts for 3 wins in its career, broken 30 at the Meadows, 29.60 at Sandown Park. It's actually a pretty good race to finish the card off, to be honest.
Yeah.
You made a really good point a moment ago, George, about the form line of Royal Gypsy racing with Mortified. There'd be a lot of thoroughbred punters, I feel, who have sat around on racing.com after a big day at Caulfield and have tuned into the greyhound racing coverage. Maybe not for the first time, but they might be newbies to it. In the thoroughbreds, I think a great tool that punters seem to use is following the form lines of horses from that race.
Yep.
If you've got a form line that let's say you've ran into Animo somewhere and Animo comes out and wins the Cox Plate, the form line's strong.
Yep.
You mentioned with Mortified running down Royal Gypsy. How much do you use that as a tool when you're doing the form in greyhound racing?
Oh, a lot, especially when there's a drop in class. I look for drops in class all the time because I think there are certain trainers who are very crafty at doing it very, very well when it comes to putting a greyhound back to a class where they think they can win. And we heard it with Paul Bartolo today with Storm Stroller, but his plan's not working. He wanted to drop him back to a grade 5, and now he's in the heat of the Melbourne Cup. But some trainers are very, very good at dropping them back, and obviously Team Daly are probably the best at it.
Even the breeding aspect of what Paul Bartolo was saying, that he'll go to greyhounds that have raced at very good company opposed to dogs that have just run fast time and might be, say, one-hit wonders in a sense, or race with no pressure. So, I think it's a tool that's definitely looked into.
And it's interesting, they mentioned to the Bartolos that is something they look for, that handling the pressure, and it's amazing that could possibly throw through to the progeny. But when you get involved in greyhound racing breeding, you realise how many different traits can get thrown through to the pups that the mum or the dad might have.
Absolutely, and sometimes a greyhound off the track is totally different to a greyhound on the track. Well, we've had greyhounds, we've all had greyhounds that are a little bit shy at home.
Yep.
Then you put them on a racetrack and they are just fanatical chasers, and probably vice versa.
Vice versa, yeah, it happens all the time.
I've got a pup at home who is an absolute nutcase. He jumps around, he's learnt to sit and lay.
I've seen this dog on some socials.
He's a crazy little bugger,
boy.
and as soon as you get him to the racetrack, it's like, bang. You click a button, he gets all serious, he looks around, he focuses. It's just extraordinary to see the difference. And I suppose it'd be the same in the thoroughbred game. There'd be certain horses that get to Caulfield and just go to a different level.
Yeah. Oh, no doubt about it. And as George said, probably the other way as well. You have them Fruit Loops at home, all confident in their own backyard, bravo, and they come here and they, deer in the headlights sort of stuff. They look around, take everything in, and some of them don't handle it. Some definitely do not handle it.
What about you, Mitchie? What do you like at home?
I'm a menace.
I can only just imagine.
Yeah.
Lucky there as a child too.
Yeah, you're right. Lucky there's walls. Lucky there's walls in the house because I bounce off them. But I don't know where I'd end up if it wasn't.
Hey, the viewers at home have seen a little bit of Mitchie Abaya over the last couple of episodes. So they know exactly what we're getting at. Let's get to Corey Smith, who's catching up with Desi Douch on what has already been a pretty good night for D Douch.
It has been a good night for the Douch Kennel, and Des, you're handling the 1. You've also got the 2 and the 4. Can we take any sort of indication that this is the one you're most confident with?
They're all racing well, but this bloke's an up-and-comer and he's going in the right direction, I think. So, yeah, I'll grab him.
Box number 1, going to suit?
Yeah, no, he'll come out, go straight, but then he'll go to the fence, so it should suit him. But the other two going well as well.
All right, good luck. Hopefully you can end up with a double tonight. You've got 3 big chances in this race as well. I'll let my co-host for the night, Craig Solkin, go past. I might try and grab Lee Moore with box number 8 if I can. Lee, you've had a fantastic run with this litter. It's been quite an enjoyable ride. This girl, 23.59 last start at Bendigo, which is absolutely humming along. Can she bring that sort of form to Sandown?
Oh, we can only hope so. The track was very good at Bendigo that night. Like on the horseshoe, she loves the 8, but it's very hard to get across from the 8 from here. So just hope for the best and see what she does first go here.
Do you think at her best she leads this sort of race and can kind of hold on, or do you think she can come from back in the field and punch up?
Oh, she's probably more of it, like any dog, she's more of a chance she leads, but she's hit and miss a bit early. She's got good pace if she jumps, but we just got to hope that we can position up somewhere in the first 2 or 3 in that first bend and hope for the best from there.
Well, good luck to Lee Moore and connections there with Keisha from box number 8. This is a tough race. It's been a tough night, fellas, and I think it's going to be really tough to try and find the winner here. But I liked a little bit of confidence that Desi Dausch had with the inside runner. Here Comes Blue. Beautiful dog. Box number 1 should suit. He might use a little bit of the track, so hopefully he can punch up on the inside and get the job done.
I've read a little bit into the fact that Desi Dausch is handling the 1. I think he didn't give away too much, but I feel like he is clearly the best of the 3-pronged attack from Des Dausch's kennel in this race. Boys, selections on the last, and then we'll take a look at the market.
Yeah, look, he started $1.50 on debut, the red here. Here Comes Blue. He must have always had ability. I've got him on top. 1 to beat, 6, 8 and 2. I really like Keisha from a wide draw. Her run at Bendigo last start was brilliant, but 1, 6, 8 and 2 for me.
I'm with the 2 here. I'm with Tiger Geordie, 2, 6, 4 and 1. I think Tiger Geordie could cause a bit of a boil over here. On its toes, we just saw it run behind us and, really bouncing around. So 2, 6, 4, 1 for me. Double figure winner in the last.
Yeah, I'm going with the red on top. I just noticed how quickly Des was exiting the parade yard to get behind the boxes. I think he almost can't wait to get this job done with because I'm sensing a little bit of confidence from the kennel. So I'm 1 on top ahead of 2, 5 and 6. Market, well, it's not going with the red, Mitchie.
No, it's not.
Disagreeing.
On the drift at the 350, Ike Bale, $4. Talk about a drop in class. Ike Bale's probably one of those. Royal Gypsy into $4. $6 into $4 being smacked. Here Comes Artie is 13s into $6.50, and Keisha gets out to a nice price now of $7. Tiger Geordie, 14 into 9 in the last 5 minutes. Talk about a move. So 14 into 9, Tiger Geordie. Zylan Bale and Big Braveheart, 23 and 71. Chance they're about to lose. Free and confidential support. Call the 1-800 number on screen or visit the Gambling Help online website.
Could be a Mitchibaya Moosing, number 2. He's with it on top, Tiger Geordie. I'm going with the red. Georgie also with box number 1. This is the last race on Shootout night. What a night of greyhound racing it's been. There's been upsets aplenty. Who will win the last? Here's Daniel Hibbert for the call.
Getting set for the last of 12. Favourite in the red box. Here Comes Blue at $3.70 last look at the board. Green light's on. We're back here for the best night of racing next week, the heats of the Melbourne Cup. Set for the 12th and they're away. Here Comes Blue with a touch slow, tries to muster. Speed out from Ike Bale. Going forward was Royal Gypsy. Getting a bump there was Zylan Bale and it got checked further back, Big Braveheart. Taking stock, it's Ike Bale in front. On the outside was Royal Gypsy. Keisha gets to thirds, 4 off the lead. Next Here Comes Blue recovering. Further back to Here Comes Artie. Trying to run on then was Tiger Geordie. Turning for home, Ike Bale, Royal Gypsy. Nose for nose, Keisha roaring home. Royal Gypsy and, I think Ike Bale kicked hard and might have won this. Ike Bale and Royal Gypsy have hit it together. There's not much in it. Third in Keisha. Fourth across the line was close. We had Here Comes Blue underneath of Here Comes Artie, then Zylan Bale, further back to Tiger Geordie, and last in Big Braveheart, 29 and 68 the time, and Ike Bale has fought back to win.
Well, there you go. That was a tight go. It was the whole way around, Sam, that it was getting a little bit nervous, and there was a little bit of celebration here, but I think it was more just a relief that it got the job done.
The 6 was going good and I thought she was going to beat him, but yeah, he did the job, so.
Box number 5, he managed to overcome that. Next week, I'd imagine maybe coming back, or are you looking elsewhere?
I don't know. He goes good here, but he's not as strong as some, so I don't know. I'll leave it up to Corey, I reckon.
All right, well, we'll leave it up to Corey Grenfell, but well done to you, Sam. Thank you for your time. 5, 6, 8 and 1 the numbers in the last race, 29.68 the time in what was a cracking battle.
Beautifully done, as always, tonight. Corey Smith tearing it apart. A narrow victory there for Ike Bale, just staving off Royal Gypsy, who I feel was pretty tough in defeat. Kept on going, but only just goes down. Ike Bale around the $5 mark takes out the last, boys.
Yeah, and the greyhound off box one just missed the start.
You did.
You can't do that in these type of fields. And Keisha, every time you see her with the pink rug on, she always puts in. She's fantastic.
Well, there are the results. Ike Bale winning 5.10, 120 down in Royal Gypsy in a photo finish, 170. Keisha, a good run third, $2.70, made up good ground. Forgive run for Here Comes Blue, home for fourth. The Quinella, $8.90, Exacta, $17.80, Trifecta, $87. First four, $321 in the double. It paid around $50.20. Just before we wrap in the last 4 or 5 minutes, boys, let's just quickly go through the winners tonight, starting with race number 1, won by Akina Jack, first of 2 winners for the Rowley Kennel of Denison. And this was a pretty good run too.
It was a good run, and the double would be worth anything if they had multed them together, but this thing was strong.
It was, and it was the start of what we've seen of a night full of upsets at $24.90.
Second one was Aston Costello at $11.50 from box number 4, got the job done. And another greyhound who was strong. There were a couple of hard luck stories in the race. Fred Rose was a bit of an eye catcher, but good win from Aston Costello.
Yeah, and probably one of those greyhounds all night that not blistering early, but just found a nice spot off a sticky draw. So, 29.57 as well, or was it 29.62 in the run? I think Glennie Rounds will be pretty happy with that.
I think so. Just quickly, Webleg Wolf getting home at 20-1. Race number 4 was won by Here Comes Millie at 4.30 for Des Douch. We will quickly recap a few of those in a moment, but I think we're going to head down to Corey Smith, who we must say thank you to. I don't think he tipped a lot of winners, but he brought plenty of inside info, plenty of fun to the coverage tonight.
Are his shoes
Smithy,
still on?
thanks for your help, mate. In fact, it's not just Smithy, it's Smithy and Kels. Thanks, guys. You've done a wonderful job.
No worries, guys. We're happy to be here. We're trackside. We've had a great night. I want to hear about your highlight.
Yeah, I think Big Energy in the shootout was phenomenal. To run that time on a night that probably wasn't conducive to really fast times. There was a lot of boilovers, but I tell you what, my shoes are still on and I have not complained once. So I don't know what Jim carries on about, Kat.
And it's the same time next week. What are you most looking forward to there?
Yeah, next week, obviously, the Melbourne Cup heats. We've also got the staying heats as well, so it's going to be an absolute cracker. One of the best racing nights of the year for a greyhound nuffy like myself. Speaking of greyhound nuffies, though, I reckon we might have to be able to convert you by now. Have you enjoyed your night? First crack out at Sandown?
I have absolutely loved it. It is my first night. I don't think I backed a single winner, but that's okay. I feel like I'm amongst good company there. We've got the Chase Your Dream competition running again next week. We've seen the AFL corporate box go tonight to Teresa. Last week we saw the Los Angeles trip go. It's been incredible. We've got the car still up for grabs and the 10K in cold hard cash. So make sure you come down to Sandown next week. I have loved my time here. I cannot recommend it enough.
Well, there you go. Kelsey Brown and also our man Corey Smith. And I tell you, I reckon Kelsey might have tipped more winners than Corey, and she didn't even tip in any races. So it doesn't say much about our man Smithy, does it?
Well, she's called for my axing as well, so I might not be here next week. I might be looking for something else to do.
It was a good result, though. Great result on track. And the Chase Your Dream promotion, the competition, we just saw the excitement tonight about how good it can be. And there was some pictures on track of the guy with number 8, My Neo, and they're about to move in. He was biting the nails, and you could just feel the excitement on track because of that competition. And that does run for the next 3 big nights. So the team sitting at home who are sitting there watching this, the punters, they have to get out and enjoy these nights of racing firsthand.
It's a great initiative. Sportsbet have been fantastic, but on-course entertainment, there's heaps here. There's absolutely heaps. But these giveaways, if you're not here, you must have something pretty bloody good to do because it's a good place to be. Next week is the Melbourne Cup heats. For anyone that doesn't know about greyhound racing, if you're tuning in for the first time, it's probably the best night of racing on the calendar. So if you've got nothing to do next week, get down here. There is $10,000 cash or a car or anything else that they're giving away to be won. Jimmy, you'll be all amongst that.
Yeah, there's plenty going on, mate, and we all love a good giveaway. We won't recap every race, but we will quickly recap the shootout before we finish up. How good was Big Energy?
A really, really dominant display against some very, very good greyhounds. As Corey alluded to, breaking 29 seconds on a night where it's a little bit chilly. They were only running around 29.40, 29.50s, and he's come out and broke 29. It was massive.
It was a phenomenal performance. Do you agree, Mitchie? Big Energy brought the big energy tonight.
He did, and according to you, will be snapped up this week for a Phoenix slot. So Stay tuned.
Heard it here first.
No, I honestly believe he could be a Phoenix contender now,
Oh, he
especially
should
on
be.
tonight's run. I think the whole, I guess, Dream Chasers Festival ends, culminates in the Phoenix, and he could be the greyhound that takes that by the scruff of the neck. Well, the night delivered what it was expected to. The Melbourne Cup heats next week. Until then, safe travelling and happy punting from Sandown.